Taco, though, doesn't peek out enough for Rubino to be able to catch a glimpse of him. Does obviously see the bullet pinging off the side of that one, but now catching him, no dice, however. And we'll just wait this one out. However, that has drawn the attention of more of his teammates. They're going to regroup back over here, making this into more of a B hit.
Yeah, Magisboy's going to be probing down drop, and he's got to be careful. That's an AK-47. I mean, if he dies, it can't really get recovered, but you still got to be a little bit careful with it. And now comes that B hit. Fur and FNX are pretty far away. Fallen is going to be taken down out in drop zone, and it's just Cold's air. Although Rubino, did he just burn?
It looks like it.
It's not bad.
Fortunately taking himself down, but after that one, cleaning things up pretty nicely. FNX now already becomes the last man up and running. Managed to lurk himself around back over here to the broken wall approach, but highly doubt he's going to be able to do anything with this position. They've already got players watching out for this flank, and I imagine they'll check it here. Config was a bit late on actually positioning himself to watch for this sort of flank. Regardless, they'll hold on to the site. This will obviously be the third round for Dignitas. So getting the clean start, they didn't get upset in the second round, and obviously not dealing with too many losses either. Dropping 2 in the last one, and unless FNX can get some more kills, only 1 more here. So building up that nice economy to start things off.
This is actually not good. Config's all alone. He has an AK-47, so FNX takes him down, and there's no one nearby to punish that. He's going to get away with an AK-47. A blunder from Dignitas. That is a little bit confusing why Config decided to do that. I mean, they're going to buy in the next round anyway, so it's not like they're giving away anything too crazy. But still, I mean, that's going to help a lot with the economy. Obviously, Magis is going to have a very good buy in terms of his utility. So that's a mistake that Dignitas moving forward, you're going to want to clean that up, because that is the kind of mistake that you don't think about, but can definitely impact the way the game plays at a later time.
Yeah, absolutely. But they do get that strong start there, too, and the loss of Config, as you mentioned previously, is not going to be the biggest deal in the world. It is odd, too, because he walks back out there, and it seems like he had full awareness that there was someone working around a flank, but just a lapse of judgment there and doesn't end up checking around the corner.
I will say the one thing, because we did just see this pause come in, which everyone's a huge fan of pauses these days. But this is actually a technical pause. It's not a tactical pause. And the pause was called by Config because he says his keyboard is broken. So maybe just getting distracted by some kind of issue with the hardware caused that little bit of a mental error there at the end of the round. But yeah, we're gonna get this one figured out. Fans of pauses be like.
Around the world. But again, here now for SK, their first chance to really put up a good defense effort after the pistol round here. Their first chance to really put up a good defense effort after the pistol round here will come up as this first gun round. We can already see the investments for them. They're buying up. Problem being, though, is that utility maybe a little bit light on some of these players. Like Fur already buying up with 550 left. He's going to have that Molotov, but not really much beyond that one. And it'll be the same story for some of these other guys, too, especially Fallen, who's gone for the full-up investment with armor and is just to belay the utility until they can buy again 2 rounds later, assuming they lose this first one.
We saw this as well on Dust 2 against Cloud9. SK in that 4th round, they just busted out a double-op setup and just depleted it, and they just said, screw it, we're going to go for it right off the bat. We're going to bring out the heavy weaponry. So, I mean, there's obviously a lot of confidence in Fallen's ability, and rightfully so. He's going to be a little bit light on you, so I think he had one flashbang that he purchased with it, but still, he'll be able to manage.
Yeah, Absolutely. After Team Dignitas themselves, of course, the choice in front of them to save some of these SMGs, which I imagine they'll probably do if they just work this into a B hit. They could still have some usefulness with those across the map.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to keep two SMGs, especially the UMP, I mean, the UMPs obviously aren't bad. We know that with the armor penetration, you can still utilize them in the 4th round. But if you're going to have the SMGs, use them as a front line. Have them be aggressive. Have them be fast-paced. Use that mobility advantage, especially considering, for the most part on these 4th rounds, this is when the CT sides still haven't built up, enough of money in the bank to have the kind of utility. Now, the interesting thing is, you guys will see when we get back into the game eventually, is that coldzera has actually decided to go for a FAMAS instead of an M4. So he's actually going to have a Molotov, he's going to have a smoke, he's going to have 2 flashbangs. So that might be a little bit unexpected. The AK-47 that FNX was managed to save and pick up at the end of the last round, he has full utility: Molotov, smoke, nade, flash. So it's really just going to be for Fallen and Taco who are missing things. So there are some tools that SK can use, and probably surprise Dignitas with thinking that they might not have those.
Yeah, a few options for Dignitas, of course, with the SMGs going for early drop control. They could use the guns very easily in there. But not only that, too, but the possibility to really dive down through Broken Wall itself and then move around the corner to get control of the outside area just behind like the tree boost up and whatnot. Can also be very useful from there. Going over towards A could prove to be a little bit riskier. Obviously, they can use it to get areas like A-long control and whatnot, but then getting out into the site where the battles are going to be a little bit more longer ranged. Obviously, now that SK will have rifles across the board, that is where they're going to, for the most part, find themselves outmatched, which may lead this into a somewhat straightforward B hit from Team Dignitas.
I mean, we'll keep a watch on this throughout the whole game. I mean, let's just keep it in the back of our head to keep track of the Magus Boy versus coldzera. I mean, look at Magus Boy is 6-1, coldzera 0-3. So it is just the first 3 rounds, obviously. But just during the downtime, kicking things off with a nice little monitoring of fragging.
Yeah,
I guess we'll call it. Yeah, still pause. Just to keep you guys updated. Still, I believe, fixing that issue. And still, I mean, it looks like, I don't know if maybe they're kind of waiting for this to get fixed before they buy it, but still on the screen, MSL and Cajun still have the UMPs. So we should be good to go any minute.
Yeah, they just sat back down. I believe we got the message, so should be getting unpaused at any second here to get back into this game. And then we get right into the action to see who's going to take this. The group stage continues. Both of these teams still vying as well to make sure and see if they can get... Interesting note, too, which I don't think has been brought up a lot too far among the analyst desk and even among the casters, too, is if you can topple a group, then you get tomorrow off. You have that day to practice and relax for yourself. Could kind of go both ways depending on the type of team you are, but you're not going to have to worry about any games tomorrow. You go directly forward to the semifinals.
Yeah, well, I mean, that would be nice because at this point, I mean, especially with a lot of these teams having come straight from Russia, obviously the extra day of rest, but also, I mean, just being able, you've been playing so much Counter-Strike recently because there's a big stretch of CS to be played here right at the end of the year, so you're going to be playing a lot, but just the ability to sit down and relax in the hotel and watch some demos is going to be a big boon because with all the Counter-Strike coming up, these players should be warmed up and at their level, and as I say this, the pause is about to end, so rejoice, Twitch chat. Here we go, live into the 4th round.
Back into the game we go, and let's take a look at what Dignitas has to offer us now that they're going to have to go up a much greater force from the SK side of things. Already pushing themselves, and it does look like it is going to turn itself into a B hit. Nobody even thinking about currently heading towards drop. However, all 5 of them line up to push over towards the broken wall. coldzera, he is going to hide himself back over here in the cubby. Rubino, however, ready to go for a strike, and he's one of the players with the SMGs, as you mentioned before. MSL is a little bit further behind. coldzera strikes first, however. He's going to pick up that first kill, looking for some more. MSL responds as just Magix Boy. A nice kill from him. Somewhat heavy cost, however. MSL, Magix Boy, config, all heavily lit, and they haven't really gotten a lot of progress, but they've got the smoke wall set up, so they are safe to proceed a little bit here. Magix Boy's still going to have to be very, very careful of moving out from the statue position, but it doesn't really seem like SK are doing a lot in terms of getting themselves out into the open and taking risks with those smokes still set up.
Yeah, that is a sick play from coldzera. He's put his team at such a big advantage, and here comes the retake. There's one kid on FNX, no utility left, but they have such an advantage, and there's Fallen from range. He knows Magix Boy's going to have to peek down into a 4-on-2 as they continue to just take over this site. They've got to clear out Chicken Coop, and there it is. MSL falls, and all that's left is config. He's got no HP to do anything. Fallen takes him out, but it's coldzera who's the hero of the round. I mentioned we were going to keep track of that Magis versus coldzera kill count. That round might just be 3 kills to coldzera because he buys so much time. He gets the opening kill. He causes a TK. He does massive damage to the remaining 3 players. I mean, even in a 3-on-4, Dignitas gets into that site, but so many players are just damaged so much that you just don't feel there's any confidence in them actually being able to turn that round in their favor.
causing the chaos of that one there too. So Dignitas going to fall down, but of course, saving the SMGs and whatnot, they're not going to have any problems at all going back into the next round with a rebuy for themselves. Cage and B picking up the op, the rest going for the AKs. We're right back into the action for them, and SK, of course, back into full utility for everyone on the team this time. But now, Dignitas are going to go back to the split here. That's actually a nice Molotov thrown over top. Delays them a little bit here. Not going to have huge implications, but at the very least knocks off 30 HP from Cajun.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty cool Molotov if you wanted to get aggressive on B platform as well. Obviously, you don't know if it's going to split them like that for every single time, but Rubino was very much isolated. Now it comes into a little bit of pressure over towards the A site. Config, he's going to get into a battle with Fur, and he forces the commit from Fur. That's a really nice play, and Magis as well. There it is, the 2 stars, the 2 opening kills of the round, and this defense is split. 1 in drop, 1 at A and 1 at B. This is going to be so difficult for SK to recover.
coldzera trying to hunt for some players over here in drop. Magic's boy has already moved himself into the site connector and is looking to hunt some of these players back out at A. The first battle goes his way, knocks down coldzera, and now it's just Taco standing in the way. Up on top of the box, very smart about this one to try and watch for Magic's boy too, but not going to be able to spot him. His first shot is going to come out from the smoke. He grabs the first kill, but they're stacked heavily, so MSL will be immediately in a position to trade. They'll find this plant, and while Fallen is rotating, he's going to try to line up a kill against Cajun. Finds the opportunity. The first couple shots connect. Leaping forward. Stays on the pistol. Finds that kill. But unfortunately, nothing else to be gained off of this one. They know where he is. That's going to be Config wrapping around the corner to try and box him in and prevent him from falling back to save.
Yeah, but if he can somehow get out of this, he's got the off out. Oh, there it is. The Config just ends it, and it seems like we had the bullets POV in that one. Yeah, I mean, Fallen, at least he gets the off down. If he can go on from there and still get a couple kills and keep the off away from Dignitas, that would have been awesome. But either way, good opening from Dignitas. 1 towards drop, 1 towards danger. That fight Config versus Fur that we saw on the danger stairs, that was huge because you could see Config, he doesn't commit to the fight. He's just passing over the doorway back and forth. And once Fur kind of really commits and starts spraying and he gets the recoils all messed up, that's when Config comes back out. So comes back out to take that fight. So a little bit of an outplay there on Fur.
SK, though, immediately going into the save. But let's see, this one, however, is they actually had still quite a nice amount of cash. A couple of them are still a bit low, but I do believe they'll have enough to scrape together another buy as they head into the 7th round. This time, though, Dignitas, I imagine, will still play things very slowly, considering they know they have the reset, they know he's still looking for a little bit of the CT side economy, and Config himself still hunting for a couple of shots through the door at the beginning of this round. None of them are going to connect, but Fallen still remains in his position, waiting to shut them down.
What is that flashbang? Bounced off the slanted door like back at Config.
Unlucky.
I guess so. Well, yeah, he's again going to be the one who looks like leading the way through these doors eventually if they decide to go. Being very cautious. There's a minute left on the clock before they move, and there's Fallen. Nice shot from him. Oh, and he digs Config as well. That's the bomb. This is a little bit dangerous. Now, I mean, SK only has 2 members here, so they can't really commit to defending and holding this bomb, but I mean, Config's brought down so low. 1 more kill. This gets super dangerous. There's Fur. He goes for it with the deagle with the pop flash, but Cajun doesn't get fooled, and he's going to come back. Watch for the flank. He's prepared for it, but another dink comes out. Still not out of the woods just yet for Dignitas.
Everybody from SK has obviously stacked themselves on the A-bomb side, and probably because of that one, because of how obvious their intentions have been made. Dignitas are going to wrap over towards B, but even there, FNX is waiting, and look what he's got in his hands. A nice little Zeus there to possibly add some some action to the equation. We'll see. He's sitting right over here by Broken Wall, and it seems like he's going to have many, many options to choose from as they push forward. They're holding close up, but the timing works out great for the guys on Dignitas. Max Boy strikes first. It spots that Broken Wall position so that the guys on Dignitas don't really have to worry about it. Really well played there, ensuring they don't have to suffer through any more losses here, and they do get control of the site.
He can hear those footsteps, and he's just salivating the whole time. It's the worst feeling to then just get taken out from behind. So a little bit of a bummer, but I mean, smart play as well, because I think it was Rubino leading the way there, and if FNX gets that Zeus kill and the 100 HP player goes out to the pistol, he's got Cajun and Config coming up next, so that very easily could have swung in the favor of SK, almost making a huge play. But for now, again, it's just the mission of trying to get guns, and coldzera's blind and can't land up the shot. It's another round for Dignitas.
Let's hit 1 or 2 of them there. So again, the numbers go down very, very low on the health pools of Dignitas, but they do manage to still hold control of things. However, right back into the fray now goes SK as they buy up here again. However, as mentioned previously, the money was still a little bit low for some of these guys, so the buys themselves are not going to look too great for players like Taco, FNX. Fallen gets the outbuy, but again, utility's rather limited, and for Taco and FNX themselves, they managed to get rifles in a single SMG in Taco's case, but basically no utility sitting behind it besides the smokes and the basics.
Yeah, double op setup though, which is going to be nice. coldzera's going to go to his home. We're in the chicken coop, so we know he loves to play this, how experienced he is in this kind of a position, and every style of execute, whether it's Molotov, he'll take a shot, and if he, I mean, whatever happens after that, he usually just drops a smoke either to preemptively extinguish a Molotov or to work his way around it and be a little tricky. Usually to great success. Config now, he's going to try and enter solo. Fur's got the angle. So Config gets caught off guard. A 5-on-4 advantage for SK. Chance from the crowd in the distance as Magisboy and Cajun B work to take over drop zone.
Dignitas now, however, are going to start their push down into the bomb site here, and FNX waits outside. They're playing the more passive route on defending the drop zone. They're going to let them get control of this one. Cajun B starts to slowly move forward here. He hasn't found anything yet. There's going to be Fur striking. FNX still waiting, not going back in to try and shut down the remaining players in drop itself. The bomb is still way back over there at the mid connector. That's a nice peek from Cajun, though. Nobody's actually watching the outside of this area immediately, so he's on to just wrap himself outside. Unfortunately, he's not watching his own corners here. FNX walks right up, shuts down Cajun B, and now they've got full control of the site again. It's all on the Magisboy, but there's only one player sitting on the site, so he's able to move in. He takes down Fur, and it's a 1v3. He's able to isolate this quite nicely, but the cross is going to be the problem. FNX is there. He's able to watch for it and shut it down. So SK, they'll pick up their second.
Yeah, they've also picked up a third op, so I mean, they don't have the money to really drop that and rebuy. That, I mean, that might be a little bit risky for their economy, I think. So I wonder if they're just going to go with it for this round and try and swap. You know, Taco's going to go back to an AK-47 if they can bring one out of the hands of Team Dignitas. But that round, Dignitas gets a little bit more individualistic. They try and make some plays with Config, try and make some plays all alone, and they get slapped down. So perhaps going back to a little bit more of the style where they attempt to trade here. But a good idea to just switch things up. It just doesn't pan out that first time. And actually, I mean, Taco goes for the UMP at the moment instead of that third off.
Fallen waiting, however, in his home back over here at the long A position. They're trying to see if he can catch any of the players pushing in. Throwing back a bit early, but look at Fur grabbing those 2 kills and suicide. And now Fallen trying to support. Misses his first shot, though, and that's going to cause the loss of his teammate and himself when he goes for the repeat there. That's so huge for Dignitas after losing those first 2 players back at suicide. Now they have a chance, and not only this, too. Look at Rubino. He's gotten full control of drop. If he can take down Coldzera unbeknownst, that's going to be an even bigger benefit to these guys.
I'm so amazed that Rubino wasn't more aggressive with that. He heard the footsteps the whole way, so he's got so much information, but now Coldzera's got himself in perfect position to stop this. A little bit disappointed Rubino didn't take any of those fights. Obviously, can't know that that Cold's running with his knife out, but I mean, you try and punish that, why not? Because you could see what Coldzera is able to do now that he has position, and now he can see drop, he can see the long hallway. There's really nowhere for Dignitas to go here. It's a nice shot from Cajun, brings him, digs through the box, and there's the win. There's finally Rubino making his move. Down into a 2-on-2. Still a chance here, and Cajun is going to be easily crossing into the site with that smoke.
But they do have to use another smoke in order to accomplish that, and now Rubino has the only one left here, so they are going to be limited in what they can do for the post plan itself, but final 2 from SK have arrived. They're already moving in to start the retake. Rubino is going to be first up to bat here, hiding around the corner in a very overexposed position, trying for the quick flick there. Taco does not succeed, but FNX catches the trade. Goes down to the 1v1, and Cajun's very low. He peeks out, procs about a quarter of the HP off of FNX, but he also reveals himself in the process. Cajun B is going to be destroyed by FNX. An amazing flick from him, and he'll have the 5-second defuse easily for the SK roster. There's their third, and they're well on their way to a comeback.
Yeah, well, the question becomes that now for Dignitas, how much do they want to invest into this round? Because they're all sitting just over $3,000, and yeah, this is going to be a timeout. This is a good call from MSL, because this is where you do really want to figure out how much you're going to devote. You know the economy for SK is low. They don't know how low, but they know that it's very, very close to a breaking point, and it certainly is. Coming down to just one player, a lot of rebuys coming out. So this is where Dignitas has to decide if they want to fully devote themselves to this round and just fully invest in it, or if they want to do a smaller buy and just do the Tech 9 armor, Deagle's armor, maybe one AK-47 somewhere, but just see if you can do 3-4 more kills in this next round. Keep that economy as low as possible to always keep SK on the edge of being reset.
Yep, and they are at the edge of that right now. If we could see a shutdown in their force buy here, everybody on SK sitting at most around 150. I think the most at the moment is Fallen, sitting at $550. So if they can shut this down, they immediately put them onto an eco. Dignitas here to see what they decide to do. No buys yet, but again, the unpause, I should say, hasn't come in just as of yet. They are doing it right now, though, so we will get that decision in just a second as to whether they want to play this aggressively or just do a half buy here, which seems to be the route they're going on.
Yeah, and I like it. It's a little bit early to be investing. That's investing a lot of your economic stability for the next few rounds if you fully buy into the next one, especially considering they wouldn't have had like any full armored AKs. It would have been all light armor AKs or Galils or even pistols with full utility. So I think they're making the smart call here, but it comes down to how much damage they can do into this round, because that's the goal. 3 kills, 2 kills in a plant, anything will do. Rubino trying to throw a little bit of a distraction. And the game is actually live, so we're going to do a little bit of radio broadcast. Fallen and Fur, they just combined for 4 kills in mid. They come streaming out, and it gets destroyed. So it's just Rubino left. You guys didn't miss much, as no one falls from the SK side, so the half-buy investment doesn't pan out. It's a good idea, but SK is able to build up some money.
Yep, they get a little bit close there to it, but ultimately no one ends up going down. And now across the board here, SK sitting at an average of 2,500 to 3,700 on all of their players. Dignitas, though, buy back into this one. It is going to be a full buy 5 AKs for all 5 of their players. Full armor sitting behind it as well, and good utilities you can now see as we go back into the game.
SK did look good while they were doing that, though.
This cross spray over there up on the ramp position there, completely shutting down Dignitas. Gave them no room to maneuver at all. It was actually quite nice.
So, smokes in the choke points. Now SK has everything built up to where they want. Interestingly enough, I mean, maybe it's just because they don't have they don't feel comfortable with the amount of money they have, but they haven't gone back to that double op setup that they seem to want to employ. So Rubino over towards the B site, Magus and Cajun B over here as well. Config and MSL, they're working together, and again, it's Config who's pretty much all alone. Last time he did this, he got that kill on Fur in drop zone, and he's going to sneak his way in. The timing for Fallen is going to be critical, and he's actually staring right for this, and there it is. That's the punish. Config getting nothing done, solo towards the A site. No more map control for Dignitas on that side. They've got to go back towards B, and FNX is going to be challenged, and he gets dropped.
Dirty shot indeed from Fallen up first, but now we're going to see coldzera moving in for just as an aggressive of a kill against Magic's Boy, and they've got KGB at 7 HP. 2 of them are going to push just to make it safe. Rubino responds. Because of all this attention that's drawn over towards drop, it actually did open up the broken wall and platform approach, but MSL maybe a little bit too greedy. coldzera, he's waiting for it. Rubino with the trade, but he looks away, and Fallen dips in for a second kill on the round and to close it out, now tying this matchup at 5 rounds to all.
Yeah, SK is starting to get a little confident, perhaps the crowd helping him out, because you can see how aggressive they are in these rotations and helping out their teammates. They're swarming the point of action. Both players from SK that time, Cold gets helped out by a teammate coming into drop zone to make sure they eliminate that half of the attack, and it's so smart. And you see sometimes teams don't quite do that, but a team like SK is so confident in how they're able to retake bomb sites, so confident they'll have success doing that, they're willing to give up platform control, bomb site control in order to eliminate one portion of an attack.
Now, however, Dignitas are setting up very quickly to go back into this B bomb site. They're not going to waste any time with it at all. Smoke's already moving to set up, but look at this, they're bailing back out. They're going to change their direction all of a sudden, shifting themselves over here towards drop. FNX has got a big job to do. He's ready for it though. First kill going his way, second as well. KGB trades it out, but now the cavalry's arrived. Fur leaping in from the window. Taco stopping the hit back over by the broken wall, and KGB is going to be the last hope here. Not looking too great, missing his first volley of shots, and as he dives back into the smoke, Taco will promptly shut it down.
Well, now they've grabbed the lead, 6-5. Dignitas, how do they respond? And another pause from MSL, so the second one of this half. Second of the 4.
That you can use at any time.
At any time.
As we earlier clarified.
I mean, this also, I think this also shows just that Dignitas, they want more rounds on the T side. Obviously, you always want more rounds, but I think it just shows how much importance they put on them not being happy with 5. They want to get up towards, that 7, 8, 9. They don't want to just be stuck here for the rest of this half. So the importance of this round, especially their first buy round, I mean, they've lost 5 straight, so something obviously has not been working in these past 5 rounds. I think a lot of it comes down. I want to see if they're gonna keep sending Config over towards the A side. He's had success occasionally, but you send someone with him to trade those kills out, to try and return that kill onto Fallen, to try and return that kill onto Fur, because it does seem like they've kind of switched things up where Fallen is the one with the AWP watching for that drop, or that danger stare play.
Whatever was previously discussed in the last pause too seemed to have negligible effect, in fact, possibly negative effect onto these guys, because as we're looking at now, they were having some very close rounds even when they were losing it, really just 1 or 2 players being left alive from SK. The most part, it's now gone in the exact opposite direction. There's a very consistent 4 or 5 being left alive, so SK is kind of getting to a bit of a dangerous broiling point with their economy and quite a few of their players, with everybody except for FNX, who's still sitting down at 1,400. The rest can easily afford full rebuys for the most part. Yeah,
and this is now switch. I mean, here's the change of tactics. Here's what the pause is for. Heavy towards the A bomb site. Just Rubino over at B, and he's actually in drop. He's just chilling. It looks like he's going to be a little bit more of a lurk. He's going to be held off by that smoke. Still only 2 players at this A site, but it's been cleared out. There's Fallen, the late peek in. That is a sick shot. He's even going to be able to get away. No one wants to run in any kind of a crossfire. They don't want to run into the support of Fallen, and even Fur boosted up. This is going to be so dangerous. I think that 1 kill might have just... I mean, I know it seems crazy to say, but almost sealed it in the sense that SK has such a tactical advantage in the positioning of their defenders.
Spotting that second player there too now, Fallen. This is the second time in 2 rounds straight, I think, that he's gotten these crazy dip kills. The last one was back over there over on A long, but he swoops in, finds a frag, and immediately gets back out without taking too much damage in response to that. So really good stuff from him. And now, of course, there's plenty more players waiting for this one. And Molotov is going to shift the position of FNX a little bit, but still just jumps right outside the window, and he'll be safe. What this did allow, though, is Rubino to get inside, but he's not really going to have much effect since coldzera is way back up over here in platform. platform, and he doesn't see anything at all to sway some of these CT defenders. Now they push in Coldzera and MagicBoy, finding a couple trades for themselves there. The T side finding its stride a little bit, but the final two have yet to clear out the bomb site. So Taco, hiding back around the corner on the platform, grabs the first kill, and MagicBoy with 4 HP, unfortunately cannot hope to accomplish much. 9 seconds left. He finally is shut out by Taco, and SK have a strong lead going in their favor now, and it does not show any signs of slowing anytime soon here.
Yeah, that first kill from Fallen, I mean, it brought over the reinforcements. They had a third player at that A bomb site, so at that point, Dignitas, they're on the back foot now. This is a really rough-looking match from them. Obviously, that pause, they wanted to do a little bit more with it, but they have the full losing bonus, so another half investment, a couple deagles, Tech 9, some utility, 2 smokes, and a flashbang. But SK Gaming, they're rolling right now. This is the SK that is going to be scary for any team to play against. And Fallen again, this is when he's at his best, this kind of aggression. The Molotov comes out, he gets a second one as well. Smoke drops to protect his fallback, but MSL's too close. He's got to use the pistol, but no, he lets Fur come take it. That's beautiful teamwork, a double for Fur. Him and Fallen have done so well at this A bomb site, and even though he falls at the end, it's a beautiful round overall.
Great tag team play there from Fur, moving in to save Fallen's life. As you mentioned, he still goes down towards the end of the round, but keeps him up for and rolling for a little bit longer. And the two very impressive kills from Fallen. Again, same type of style to that one that we were seeing in the 2 rounds before that one, where he moves in, very, very aggressive, but still very accurate, and that he gets that kill and immediately just gets the heck out of there. It's almost like it is just muscle memory at that point, and he's able to line these up round after round again, and it's constantly shutting Dignitas out, regardless of if it's an eco round like that last one or full gun rounds. Just going back 2 ago. Dignitas, however, are tired of playing it patiently. They're not going to roll right through the mid connector, and they're already pushing themselves up ramp 2, not even trying to fake this one out. Nobody being set to the B-bomb site. Everybody taking this route. Fur is hit by a flashbang, and although he does get some damage onto Rubino here, still ends up getting pushed back. Patience, however, from the rest of SK, just holding into their positions, making sure they don't lose their numbers early on, keeping this to an even 5-on-5. The bomb goes down, and now they have to start gaining some ground back. That smoke in the way, though, stops them from moving into suicide, and it's going to be tough to figure out what exactly is positioned on this site here from the Dignitas roster. Despite the fact that they have players sitting over in long A. The 3 others from the B-bomb site also moving back over here to the main doors as well as the balcony too, but it's time to start falling up first the bat. He goes down to MSL though, and now we're also looking for a second one, but gotta be careful because MagicBoy could work his way back up suicide, and in fact he is. That shut out both the players today along the time. Already getting so low, they might have to save this one. Taco grabs one more kill. Coldzera finds a second, but they even get stuck trying to work their way out. They're gonna have to try to escape this one now. It's most certainly going to be a round for Dignitas, but thankfully no one's even close now. Taco, look at him, he's even getting dirty, moving in there, but no, it fails. Config takes him down, and that's another gun loss to the SK side of things.
Yeah, I mean, last round of the half, they're going to be okay. Taco just going to try and do some economic damage of himself. I mean, SK built up plenty of money in that 7-round win streak to be able to handle that loss of the M4 with no problem, but I mean, what an awkward round. It seemed like Dignitas. There's always the joke, right? When you run out of ideas, you just say rush B. Well, I mean, Dignitas just runs out and they say rush A, and they get up mid and with Fallen and Fur still stuck over towards the A halls, towards danger stairs. Just so very awkward. And Fallen, oh, it almost looked like he was going to get that shot off, but MagicBoy finds him through the smoke. He does get legged. It's a little bit unfortunate for Fallen, but that's a big piece. It's an effective piece for SK that is taken out of this round. So 1 op is still on Coldzera. But Dignitas with a big advantage.
Rubino's starting to creep up here too to get some momentum onto the B-bomb site, but SK are falling back. They're a bit scared of the pressure that could broil up here into the A-bomb site at any moment, so a full commitment is going to come in from Coldzera as he moves away. The only op they still have left in check, so all the defense as well on this B-bomb site is primarily focused, 100% focused on the drop zone here. It's Taco along with FNX that are going to be working towards it here. They do start to move back out here just as the platform push comes in here from the rest of the T's, and look at this, they shut it down. FNX with 2 quick kills. Taco finds a third. MagicBoy and Rubino are able to trade it out, but it's even, and of course there's plenty of time with how slowly Dignitas are trying to go for this cross. For the other 2 on the CT side to rotate back in. Flashbang timing and all that allows Config up to the site, but oh no, the Molotov is going to knock even more damage off him. He goes down to 54 HP. Coldzera's still holding on here a little bit too, and MagicBoy definitely not going to give himself away, but at 8 HP, he's got to be careful of Fur, who rocks back around. The big flank from him is going to take down MagicBoy, and now Config has to pull up a miracle with only 54 HP. Coldzera and Fur both trying to move in, and they're both going to peek from the same time here, but he does have an advantage. Config with a headshot, but no! Shut down by Fur, and the guys from SK are going to steal away this last round on the half.
Yeah, nice round from SK, but it's FNX and Taco working together. I mean, you mentioned they both went into drop zone to see what they could find there. Absolutely nothing, so together they go back out towards platform. Great teamwork between and 2-man groups for SK throughout this defensive half. They have the lead 9-6.
All right, guys, we're going to have the second half for you guys coming up in just a moment here. Stick around. We'll be returning with it when we continue the action here at the ESL Pro League Finals. It's been another close match here at the ESL Pro League Finals. SK versus Team Dignitas. Now at a 9-6 scoreline with SK, the home team, leading the field currently. And Team Dignitas, now they will switch sides. And the ultimate question for SK, can they bring something else to their T side? Can they innovate beyond just these constant B hits that we tend to see from the Brazilian squads? And of course, even if they do stick to that, will Team Dignitas have the power to be able to stop that? That's a laptop being brought to broadcast matches. I've never seen that before, Moses.
Why not? I like it.
Normally it's like a tablet or a piece of paper. He brought his whole damn laptop.
Why not? Yeah, whatever works, huh? Whatever gets the job done. Bill Belichick understands. Well, SK with the lead. I mean, that was a great half because it looked like for a while there in the first half. I mean, the first 6 rounds are all Dignitas, right? I mean, it's 5-1 at the end of those, and then SK just comes roaring back. So really, really nicely done from them. Now going to fall back from a little bit of pressure. They've spotted 3 players. The question is, I mean, this seems very aggressive from SK, so they're just going to clear out these dangerous players. I want to know how much of a presence they're actually going to make on this A bomb site, because even just with them being spotted, they've already pulled Cajun B over towards the A bomb site. Hasn't committed to it. He's up on the balcony, but I mean, that's a lot of manpower over there. So when do they decide to rotate back? Because it's only cold here, and he has the utility, so this is going to be a fake. He's going to throw this utility to imitate an A hit. It's going to block off the double doors. That'll keep Cajun at the A bomb site for just those extra seconds needed to really explode onto this B site. And from there, it's all config. He's the only one on the B platform.
No flashbang support for him to come anytime soon either. They have nothing invested from this Dignitas side, so it all comes down to that pistol power that he would have to be able to wield against these players. Now, though, SK getting ready to push for it. Config tested first. He does have an easy battle against Fallen, but no, he takes too long, and he gets overwhelmed. Fallen grabs that kill, and now drop pressure moving in. No, Rubino, nothing you can do to stop that there. They get absolutely pummeled. Fur even moving back into drop to take down another player. MSL getting destroyed there. Magic's boy at least responds, but it's 5 and 6 HP, and now the flank rolls in. Tactical round from SK that just goes 100% their way, and they take control to keep their lead as they move into the second half. Yeah,
that is a sick round. That is such a well-executed pistol round from SK Gaming. Dignitas is entirely fooled. Even config, even someone as skilled as him, that we've been talking him up of how good he's been playing. You could see some of those shots. I mean, it almost seemed like he should have hit a couple more, but he just feels so uncomfortable in that kind of situation because he's not expecting that hit to come in whatsoever. So really, really good job of SK masking exactly what they were going to do.
Participants of all ages here in the arena today, as well as you saw there just a moment ago. But now we get back into it, of course, into the action once more. Dignitas just upgrading into their pistols for this round. Nothing too fantastic as a second round buy for them. And SK, as part of the course, going to take it slow. It's a big stack from Dignitas. They've gone for the 5-man gamble over here onto the A-bomb site. So if SK do decide to slowly creep in, they will find themselves in an open site. FNX may have a little bit of trouble staying alive here, but so long as he's able to handle the pressure, things should go pretty smoothly for SK. Is now coming in though, so maybe able to put up a little bit more of a fight since there wasn't an immediate push from the SK roster into that A site. Dignitas shift away from the 5-man hold there because of it. But FNX struck first. Has already picked up his first kill here, looking for more, but of course taking their time with it.
Should be very patient. I mean, applying a lot of pressure, and there goes FNX. Towards the A-bomb site. So with that being said, Fallen's just going to fall away from it. It was the only 2 of them were over there at the A-bomb site, and it looks like Dignitas has a good read on this. Config's going to fall back into the A site just to be safe, but Magis is already rotating over towards the B site, so it's Cajun in the smoke. Smoke just disappears, and Cajun gets caught out. So now the execute comes in. This is where SK decides to make their move. MSL close up, does good damage, but Fur does more. And it's just Magis and Config left, and they can't really do too much. Maybe get another kill towards the end of this round, but definitely no real chance of winning.
SK looking to hold here, but Taco nicely done. Clotheslining Config to close it out there. They go 11-6 against Dignitas after starting a little bit more behind the pack here. They have come back in huge strides.
Yeah, and let's just we'll update the Magis Boy versus Colds there. Magis Boy's at 16 and 13, Colds at 9 and 10. But unfortunately for Magis Boy and Team Dignitas, the rest of SK has shown up 12, 14, 15, and 16 kills. It's a very, very good team effort out of the SK side. And Cold really doesn't have to do a whole lot of work. Fur's having a phenomenal game. Taco as well, quietly, is having a lot of impact.
I think it was you that mentioned with Fur, too, who can sort of hit the switch. And now we're going to see FNX having a little bit of a switch of his own there. Moves in, finds 2 quick kills. Cold Sarah, that is so fast.
Yeah, by the way, all SMGs get those kills. So that's a lot of bonus money that just builds up in this T-side economy that's already at a very, very good place. They've got another buy built up behind this 5 AK purchase from them. And if they continue forward, I mean, this is now Dignitas. They have to get started quick. They have a shotgun on Rubino. They don't have an AWP. They just have M4s around that shotgun. But down 6-12 at this stage, this 4th round is critical for Team Dignitas.
Now the guys from SK, they're going to be sort of splitting themselves up here. Very forward with getting themselves over here just towards the staging area, back over towards the broken wall. But beyond that, they're holding up, and again, they're playing the default here. Fallen going to make some noise back over towards Long, along with Fur. Fur himself moving over here towards the mid connector to pop into it a little bit here. Good flashbang, but it doesn't blind MSL. However, the jumping shot from Fur as he moves in there is able to readjust and take down MSL, but a trade does come in from Magic's boy sitting outside there, hiding in the corner. Now, however, the SK roster, they're going to move into this B-bomb site where they will be challenged by Config. Not for very long, though. Taco is going to make quick work of taking him down. The site's under their control. They do still have Rubino here, but unfortunately, he's only got a shotgun and drop control. Not a whole lot that he can do in the current situation. Has to wait for the rest of his teammates to move back in. They won't have any hope of retaking this. Good damage goes on FNX, and also Taco too. He drops down very, very low here. Molotov tossed out, and that's FNX finding a great kill against Cajun B. More and more damage being done to the SK players here, but Dignitas just cannot make this happen with Rubino still on that shotgun. They're going to have to fall away, and they're going to save, so SK will get their 13th.
Yeah, as if there's just one more little insult there at the end. Magis with that nade, it bounces off the chicken coop, so it doesn't even kill Taco, but this is that precision execution style of SK that we've come to love, because, I mean, even when they bring out of the B bomb site, Config eats that flashbang perfectly, and that makes him such an easy target as Taco enters in. He just wraps around and he finds that kill. The pop flash works out so well. Look at Cold and Fallen, even hunting down Rubino at the end. Even if Cold doesn't get that, Fallen's in the stairs to trade it off immediately. So Dignitas now, I said that was a critical round, and this is starting to get ugly, and now we're going to have SK. This is interesting, because Fallen and SK have called for the tactical timeout.
And that is going to be unpaused immediately after that, however, so no delay at all. We go right back into that. Very quick tactical pause, Moses.
He's letting him listen to the crowd, giving him a chance to enjoy the stage here in Brazil.
Bit of a momentum breaker.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Nice little 3-second timeout, so, yeah, not quite sure why it's used. Maybe just a quick word. Maybe he just tipped over his water bottle.
Clearly with the lead, though, they can sort of afford to use one of... I think they have all 4, right? They haven't used a single one.
I think they used one in the first half. I could be wrong. I think they used one when they were down 5-1, but I could be wrong. That was a whole 20 minutes ago, so it's been a long time. Flashbang over the top of this B wall, and here they come streaming out against these pistols. Cajun gets the first one. Looks like it could be a little bit dangerous. Cajun gets another one. That M4 is boosted up. Magisk on the flank. He's going to turn this around, so yeah, the pause stops the momentum, but it stops SK's momentum, and Rubino, he gets Dignitas their 7th with that final kill, but it's Cajun B who opens things up with 2.
Clearly it doesn't work, and with that, SK now all of a sudden are going to find themselves on the back end of a lost round, but plenty of cash left in reserves here, so no problems whatsoever going for the rebuy into it. Fallen actually debating if he wants to go for the op there, as you can see, a bit delayed on his buy. Does end up going through with it, however, so pickup from him is going to run his money dry, and with both him and Fur sitting down very, very low, could have some bad consequences to really allow Dignitas to get back into this match should they find themselves on a hot streak here too. They've struck them down once, and it was off of a round where they really had no business doing so, so now the question is, can they do it with full arsenal in hand here? All of them have invested. Cajun B picking up the op to work with 2, but SK lining up rather quickly. They're already sitting on the cusp. Taco has already leaped in, but he's been found out. Config is going to take him down, and no one else seems to want to move forward as of yet to find the trade.
Well, here's Cold Zero jumping out in Taco's absence. He's going to lead the way, and they're going to swarm into the site. There's Fallen protecting, just watching the left side of the statue, and Fur, he wraps around Cajun. This site has been lost, but still Rubino's here, and Fallen has more to say. That perch on platform is so important for an Alper, but he finally gets taken down. MSL with the nade slows down in the 2-on-2 until Fur just executes Magis. Not even clear in that corner, and MSL on a 1-on-2, the last one left, and he can do nothing. SK responds immediately, and that's the hard reset late in the second half, late in the match. And Dignitas, that might just be it.
There is no money left at all here for this Team Dignitas roster. A couple players that have managed to stay alive a little bit more have money to go for rifle buys here. Beyond that, Cajun and MSL, they're relying on whatever is donated by their teammates.
It helps that the round that they just won was with pistols, was basically a save from them. So, I mean, that gives them a little bit more money to get those four M4s. But you can see, I mean, look at the utility. Running out of nades already. There's no kits on board, so not a whole lot of options open to Dignitas other than just straight up winning their fights.
And we will see here now from SK2, keeping it in the high octane now as they already try to move in, using a lot of their nades early on here, gaining some ground, and Alden already starting to push himself over here, back over towards long A. Magic's Boy will resist that from inside of the suicide area, but it's going to be a little bit hard to play double duty here, as he also only has MSL to resist, and that's a little bit further back. Can't really help him out there if he gets pushed from both angles.
This is a patient SK. They've got to have an indication. I mean, just falling inside of his head, doing the math between rounds, has got to know that the economy is going to be low. So with light economy, the options for the CT side dwindles a little bit, so they can just be cautious of some kind of setup, some kind of aggression. They just want to be very careful of it, but they're going to take over these A-halls. MSL's at an off angle. The question is, Magisk is just in danger stairs, and if they walk down, MSL can't see this. This is miscommunication. This is actually just going to be... Oh, Taco doesn't check it. I would have thought he did, and now Magisk has the tall task. He's got to really be gambling and pick his angles wisely, and he gets the first kill, but now he's trapped. Cold trades him off.
There had been a second player standing up there at the doorway. That could have been a huge play, but it does not end up working out for Magic's boy. And now SK roll directly into the site here. Full control maintained, and Dignitas got the signal way too late, so they're going to be slow to rotate. Rubino with the shotgun. He's got no choice but to try and just get into the site and get as good of a position as he could get. He goes down, however. FNX, Taco executing everything here, and KJB falls directly after that. SK just shutting out Dignitas at this point, and now they sit up at match point.
Yeah, it is clinical right now for SK. They are just running right through this Dignitas defense. It's a little bit of a bummer that Rubino's the one on rotating duty. First over to that A site when it starts getting taken over with that shotgun. They just don't have a whole lot of options. There's not a whole lot of good fights you can take with that weapon. He's got it back in his hands again, but you know, it's 5-7s, it's 2 of them, it's 2 deagles as well for Dignitas. This is looking like the one last desperation buy, whatever they can get. That reset happened just 2 short rounds ago, so the losing bonus isn't built up enough to offer them any real arsenal, even running out of nades already.
And SK just going to be sitting back here waiting this one out, firing so many bullets back over into the mid connector to see if they can find anyone there, but it will not be the case. Dignitas are held back a little bit more than that. A bit more proactive in trying to maintain a position in the mid connector, but not the case on this round. Still just an even split. Haven't gone for the gamble stack despite just how little their arsenal has grown down to in this one. And MSL, instead of Magic's boy, will take up the mantle here inside of the suicide steps, looking for anything that he can find, but it's fallen and finds him. Takes down MSL, more on the way. They're walking up to this A-bomb, so it is certainly not looking good at all for Team Dignitas. Magic's boy and Config, however, they do find 2 kills, so things are not done yet, but the real task is getting out onto this site. No one checks down below the balcony, and FNX just shuts both of them down. Config now, he picks up an AK, but he's got such a huge task ahead of him. No utility to make this happen either. Stuck on the ramp, being pummeled by grenades, and as he pushes forward, he is going to meet himself against one of the members of SK in a moment. One of them peeking over the shed, and he doesn't even check it, so FNX shuts it down. That's going to be the end of it. SK take control. They win their first match here in the Brazilian arena. 16-7 is going to be the final score, and they dominate after a little bit of a rough start there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a small rough start, but you have to think it was 5-1 at one point. So what is it, a 15-2 run to close that out? That is extremely impressive from SK. As soon as they got a hold of this match, they never looked back, and that's the scary SK in front of the home crowd as well. I mean, that's the thing you can't quantify. We can't possibly know unless, I mean, we can ask the Dignitas players if they felt affected by that crowd, but just a straight steamroll from SK there by the end.
Yeah, and I mean, every single player on that roster was looking good. The one thing I think you mentioned as we were kind of filling there at the beginning that 100% came through is that Colin may have not been there 100% at the beginning of the match, but it was easily first stepping up. You said he had that switch, and he 100% flicked that in for this match.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably one of the hardest roles you can have as a player, too, is stepping up in the shoes of your star player when he's having a quiet game. So obviously still, I mean, we sing a lot of accolades about Fur. Might as well just continue doing it because that's always very impressive. But it wasn't just him. I mean, the rest of the team followed. You could see he was in the groove. He was being that aggressive style of opera, going for that first pick on the defense, going for the picks on the T side. So Taco and FX as well had their impact.
All right, guys. Well, looks like the analyst desk is waiting to break down this game a little bit more. Let's send it over to them to take a look at this match.
Things looked competitive for a long time. SK, however, did run away with it into the second half. A 9-6 half, and then SK end that one with Dignitas having just one extra round after that second half started. Danes falling short this time, and SK looking good on a map that did kind of baffle the analysts. We're going to brighten things up here at some point, I'm sure.
SK already look much cooler with this lighting, Alex, I have to say.
Yeah,
it's good mood lighting.
Mood
the less lighting, the better we look. Fancy that.
It's a horrible truth.
A really dominant performance from SK. We were questioning the cobblestone pick because it is Dignitas' best map. They had other choices that maybe would have been more beneficial for them, but the score tells otherwise, right? Even considering Dignitas was up 5-1 and the map ended 16-7 in favor of SK.
Whoa, it's
Whoa.
great. I got a lot of stuff on my shirt as well. Bloody hell.
Yeah, so you basically went hoodie hunting.
Yeah, I got a hoodie, and because it's brand new now, I have a lot of threads all over.
It's an Amazon mistake, man, when you go
Not
hoodie
all
shopping.
free stuff is good, Chad.
That's true.
No,
You
it's
can ask
true.
Matt about that one.
Oh, you beat me to it. Either way, there were a couple of free rounds given to SK as well. Dignitas tripping up on that second half. It's strange to see Dignitas not being able to make an impact on their defensive side, Chad. I mean, this is something we usually kind of praise them for.
But they're on the back foot the whole game, in my opinion.
Okay.
You know, Fer was making so many impact frags in that CT half. I thought that he was doing a really good job at A, and we actually saw a lot more cohesion between him and Fallen. In the past, it looked like they were doing super individual stuff. It looked like this time they had a better understanding of if Fer was going to be aggressive on his own. Fallen had to be further enough back that he wasn't going to get caught off guard, relay the information and delay for his team. And then when you switched over to the T side, Fer once again getting a lot of impact frags, helped on that one round where they threw that connector smoke. He went out mid, got the kill for the fake, and that was, you know, a really cool round, I thought.
I mean, there was a lot of cool gameplay all around. Fallen, it's at 19 frags for him, and he's actually standing by on the stage with Bia to go ahead and hear his side of the story before we dissect this further.
We are here with Falling and the flags. Falling, we started losing against NiP, and then you had 3 great victories. What do you think was the important thing to have this improvement?
I think the improvement came from preparation. We are trying a different approach when we're going to play other opponents. In the past, we have just been playing our game. It has been enough to beat off them, and right now we're suffering a little, playing just our game, so we're doing a little more things, and it's paying off.
And you choose to play on Dig's favorite map. Wasn't it too risky?
Life is risky. I don't fear them.
Great answer. And people believe we are living the SK era. Do you think we are playing at the same level?
I think we still have to win more tournaments. We have to get this third major, and then we can talk about an SK era. I think we have done a lot of great things already, but we are hungry, we want more, we want to be the best team in the world for a long time.
Now I ask you to talk to the Brazilian audience in Portuguese.
Galera, obrigado pela torcida, vocês são os demais. Um orgulho pra gente estar jogando aqui com vocês. A gente sabe o quanto vocês acompanham a gente quando a gente está lá fora. Muitos criticam, muitos torcem, outros choram, muitos comemoram com a gente. Então, não tem emoção maior do que estar aqui e ver vocês aqui torcendo pela gente. Valeu mesmo, obrigado. E hoje é aniversário do meu irmão Marcelo, meu irmão mais velho. Foi quem me ajudou a começar a jogar Counter-Strike. Se eu tô aqui hoje é por causa dele. Então, um abraço, Celão. Meu sogro também é aniversário dele. Um abraço e um beijo pra vocês.
Thanks, Fallen. Everybody's here supporting SK Gaming and Fallen. Alex, this is how Brazilians cheer.
Yeah, we're certainly learning a lot about that one, Bia. In fact, this arena has done nothing but enlighten us to the power and the passion that Brazilian fans do possess, especially for the SK Gaming side, who have finally seemed to have found their form. It was something we've been kind of hoping to see for a while, but now 3 consecutive wins, they are looking much better. This is what we were hoping to see for the ESL Pro League finals, and defending Pro League champions, of course, from Season 3. That cobblestone, though, Fallen said life is risky. They suggested that they had done some additional preparation. Was that evident? Was it clear that there was some sort of reading and understanding of how Dignitas approached the map?
Honestly, to me, it wasn't that much evident. Maybe a bit towards that A-bomb. Said that Fallen was playing a bit closer to Fer, but look at what happened in the first gun round. Dignitas goes for that A control towards mid. They just get the kill on Fer. Afterwards, they get the second kill and win the round. 2 rounds after that, they go for the same thing, but Fer gets a double kill. That's the only difference. Fer gets the kills instead of immediately dying. I think after that initial gun round, when they went towards A, couple of next following rounds, I think Dignitas just did a bad job at trading. Fer was able to get multi-kills, or Fallen if they went towards that A holds area. And at that point, you lose too many people to be able to close out the round.
SK are going to be sitting now at 3-1. Top of their group currently. Dignitas now falling to 2 wins, 2 losses. Chad, is this a good sign of things to come? Do you think Dignitas still have an opportunity to make an impact in this tournament? It was rather underwhelming that second half.
Oh, I think Dignitas definitely still, have a chance to make it to the playoffs and have an impact, and they're one of the better teams here. I think this is just a SK that's looking revitalized, right? They're in front of the home crowd. They're playing a better brand of Counter-Strike, and it looks like whatever issues they've had, they're healing them, and that's what you want to see. If they can get back to the SK that we know that have such good fundamentals of teamwork, as well as the individual side of things, they're an unstoppable force, and we all know that.
And if you talk about individual side of things for a second, it is still worth highlighting. I know that this guy's name has come up an awful lot on desks. But again, Magic Boy, despite conceding, his team losing by such a margin, top of the scoreboard on the server alongside the Brazilians.
Definitely just on fire recently with his individual performance, getting the job done for his team. And I don't think the score actually tells the truth of the game. I think it was much closer. There were a couple of clutch rounds as well. The FNX versus KJB early on in the first half. You had the config 1v2 that he could have possibly won as well. All of those rounds went SK's way. You could see how pumped up they are to play before the home crowd, that they're really on point and focused individually. So I really hope these two teams get to meet again in a best of 3 and really go at it.
Really duke it out. It has been a real kind of taster of what could be to come, of course, in the next 2 days. The weekend of Counter-Strike in this arena, with this crowd, with SK like that, it's going to be awesome. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind. And the next game is in a similar vein, because it is going to be time to see the Ninjas on stage, a team that no doubt are going to be looking to show us what they are made of, as if we do dive into that one, of course, going up against Cloud9. A roster that have been looking great so far, conceded their first loss yesterday. Let's see if they can keep it that way, as we're going to be delving into that match after our break.
Counter-Strike is sharing incredible moments with us and will return to a memorable place. Get your tickets now at proleague.com/Dallas.
Sao Paulo is also home to some of the tallest buildings in South America, and you'll feel it when your neck is craned trying to see above the skyline from street level. But the most spectacular view of all is from the top of such structures, where you can see the sprawl of Sao Paulo unfold before your eyes.
Hello, thank you so much for your patience. Technical problems have plagued us here to try and get NiP and C9 running, but we still have got the passion of C9? CS.
Well, we know where your prediction's
rushing
going, Alex.
in your heart. Indeed. Cloud9 through and through, boys. But if you have just joined us, the likelihood is that you've sat there and wondered, what on earth have these guys got to talk about? C9, NiP, we have talked about the entirety of the matchup for well over 40 minutes, but we'll do so again. I'm your host, Alex Machine Richardson. It does seem, you know what, just as they thought they had it up and running. I'm not joking. There seems to be another issue.
Is it with the same computer?
Yep.
The PC got a tater.
Shroudy.
Yeah.
And his PC.
He's getting rowdy.
It's getting rowdy. Yeah. Truly is. We are still... So, right.
Is he trying to stream... He knows that we do the streaming here, right?
Yeah, he's actually sitting there with OBS open right now.
That's a big issue.
He's doing his stream graphics.
Can we just tell him that we'll give him a portion of the revenue, like of ad revenue, and
we'll hook him up?
I think he gets a decent share from Twitch. I don't know if we can.
Moving swiftly on, of course, YNK and Chad Birchall hanging out. Oh, hang on. He looks like he's in game. I was told that his PC was...
I can see Counter-Strike.
I've
played it for many years, and that's what it looks like.
It is? Can you tell me what map he's on right now?
Maybe this is a replay, boys. Let's not get carried away.
No, hold up. Jordan is... No, it's live.
Oh, okay. It does sound like he is going to be ready to go in just a moment's time. I thought I heard that he has, again, been plagued by issues, but it does seem like he's just configuring his settings because...
Fantastic.
Config is the correct word. It was actually down to him and the magical letters in his config that were getting things
This
going.
is the thing, and it is an issue, right? The CSGO config, sometimes they can get randomly corrupt. I had it in the past.
Is that true?
It gave me really low frames. Gomez was like, change your config. Didn't want to do it. I was stubborn. Just lived with 100 FPS for a while. It was good times.
I mean, how much is actually going into your CS config that's actually like unique to you?
A lot.
Key bindings?
Yeah, a lot.
Key bindings and your graphic settings.
Yeah, but you got to put like the little thing at the top where it's like Sponge's config 2016, and then your launch option.
I think the binds are the most important.
Oh yeah,
like
lol,
I had
lol,
one.
lol.
Yanko and communication bring the W.
Is that really what you had? And you'd press that every time?
I pressed that, it would just go away.
That's really good.
I also had one of my aliases was Scorpion's original name.
Yeah.
And so I had a bind that would just be get over here and like lines which would be like his.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh god, yes.
That's else they had. There was a lot of them.
There was a lot of them.
Pretty cool.
That's a whole other side to CS.
At least when you're getting wrecked, you can also have a laugh.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
Chad knows how it is.
Getting wrecked.
Yeah, and having a laugh.
Yeah, and having a laugh. I used to do both. I used to have a bind that just simply said clever boy, and every time I got a kill on the same person, I'd choose one, and I'd just be like clever boy.
You've seen like one of the guys that has that bind, you really need to win those.
No,
when someone loses a clutch.
Do you know what mine is? When someone calls me a noob, I press a button, it just says, who needs aim? When you've got swag, and then a smiley face, and it gets them so angry every time. They're like, shh, and then just comment on my profile, just that I'm a horrible human being and that I don't deserve to be breathing and various other things. We love the internet community. All right, let's start talking about the game for a little bit because it does seem like we're going to be almost ready for predictions. And casters, God, I haven't heard from them in a while. We'll be seeing them in just shortly, but back on track.
Can we do the veto again?
We could actually bring it up if you'd like to. Would you?
I don't remember what map they're playing.
It's Dust 2. Do you just
it is Dust 2, or we can talk about the veto if you'd like.
I mean, it's been such a long time ago, maybe people don't remember it.
Yeah, it's a good point. Okay. Oh, apparently they can actually start the knife round.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
We'll
I haven't. That's the first time I've been told that, so that's cool. Dust 2 though is the map, and that is going to be going down between C9 and NiP. So quickly predictions then before we do jump on into game. Chad, between NiP and C9, we've been waiting on the edge of our seat for oh so long. What are you saying here?
I'm going to go with NiP. Yeah. For no reason at all.
Okay, no reason at all.
I think NiP looks less miserable from such a long break, so I'll go with NiP. It's like the Swedes, like the Nordic people, they get less affected, not as much emotion.
Okay, cool. Right, well, with all of that said and done, let's get out of this one and into the game. It's been a long time coming, but Dust 2 between NiP and C9 is about to go down. Let's
the memes.
Get down to business.
C9 starting it here at any moment. The knife round is already going. Moses, your initial thoughts before we jump into this matchup now?
It's late.
Yes, that's very true.
So
been waiting a long time for this.
There is something to be said about teams that like there are players that get thrown off by actually having way too much time to warm up. Like if you're just in a server, just like because you sit down. I mean, you got to imagine these guys sat down like an hour and a half ago and started like really focused, warming up and everything like that. Now that all this time has gone by, I mean, definitely there are players who get affected by the fact that the mental edge gets lost because they've just been so focused for a while, thinking maybe it's going to be fixed in 10 minutes, maybe 15, and definitely this long can have that. I've had that happen to me at tournaments in the past, so. Will be kind of interesting, especially for someone like Shroud who had to deal with like the actual frustrations of trying to fix everything. It's his PC, it's his config that he's got to redo and everything, and paranoid if he's gotten all the settings correct. So will be interesting to see how that all plays out. If we're going to notice anyone doing making bad decisions or missing shots.
Yeah. But it is going to go over to Dust 2, so hopefully from the team perspective of things, not a whole lot that can get messed up there. A lot of that coming down, as we know on this map. Some of the individual duels and whatnot. What are some of those specific ones that you're going to be looking forward to see on this match now, like the big players to watch out and who's going to go up against each other?
I mean, obviously with Cloud9, you want to say, there's two players I would say you watch out for the most part, and for completely different reasons. One is going to be someone like Stewie, who's a big powerful force for Cloud9, obviously, and how they initiate their fights, and obviously the endgame leader. Especially on this map, I mean, we saw even yesterday against SK, they had that strat where they basically rushed mid, rushed B, and Stewie rushed catwalk all alone, essentially, which is a very aggressive that you don't see too often. Many times we've seen Cloud9, one of their favorites is, a timing push into B tunnels with no nades. We've seen Stewie rush down mid and just basically get out mid as fast as possible and try and catch someone off guard. So all these things that he's willing to do fast and aggressive, NiP's going to have to watch out for. And the other one on Cloud9 for the completely different reason is obviously, I mean, it's Skidoodle, and it sucks that we have to keep bringing up, how poorly he's been playing, but we say it because we've seen him at a level that's so incredible at times, and you still see flashes of it, like every few rounds, like once or twice per map, which just isn't enough out of him. So you obviously want to see if he's going to come into this and be back at that level.
All right, guys. Well, it's time to get into it now. The pistol round beginning with NiP, starting off on the CT side, and Cloud9 jumping onto the T side. Very fast, actually. The Ninjas Makalele specifically is going to push himself through the mid door here to try and see if he can spot anything back over at the bot tunnels. And, well, that's Horn. He may be able to do that. Makalele, though, bailing out pretty quickly after spotting some of his opponents there. And now just waiting to see if he can catch some of the action moving through. Pushback twice now from positions, but it will just hold Cloud9 here in the normal spot that the T's hold off from the staging area, you could say, and we'll see where they move from here.
Yeah, but it did look like they wanted to get out mid, and yeah, finally now they're going to do it, and they hit Makalele right in the face, so he's brought down to 1. He cannot be aggressive through that smoke, so it's all on this B defense. Exist and Forrest, they're going to have a lot of pressure all through the window. There goes Exist. Forrest, the next man up, one of the best pistol players in the world. He can only get 1. And quickly, the defense from NiP, it's crumbling in this pistol round. It's down into a 2-on-3. It's going to have to be a retake.
And now they're going to move themselves up towards it, too, wasting no time with that retake itself. Freiberg ready to move himself inside, but instantly just dacked by Stewie, taking him down. It all falls to Get Right, and he made no progress, unfortunately, in terms of getting into this site. But there's getting the first pick up from him, looking for the second player down below, but Automatic is going to be able to handle it from behind those boxes there. Finishes the job for the Cloud9 roster, and they're going to pick up the pistol round.
Yeah, that's really, really nice from Cloud9, because they had 2 players with full utility, and the purpose of those pop flashes that Stewie throws at top mid, that's to get them out of mid and actually try and get a mid B split going, which is exactly what they did, but it looked like they were going to get stalled out for a moment. But with the extra utility that, who was the other player that had it? I almost want to say it was Stewie. They were able to get out anyways. And double scout purchase here for NiP. They've done early damage. Stewie and Automatic tagged up, but equally Forrest and Freiberg are brought down low as well.
It's Skidoodle hunting for some players back over here through the mid doors. Nothing to be spotted initially, but there are some of the members of NiP within the general area of that one. Just trying to hunt really for the perfect opportunity to find someone who may be hiding in the perfect spot behind the door there. Pre-fire orb will actually be peeking, but they seem to be held back. However, 3 of them have taken early damage. That's Freiberg, Forrest, and Get Right, who have all been hit early on here, down to various amounts of HP. But same story back over on the Cloud9 side as well. Damage has been traded on the Stewie and Automatic, so they're also taking things a little bit slowly, I should say. But for good reason with this one, as Skidoodle, with that slower pace, is going to be able to find the first kill here. Knocking out Get Right and following that up with a second one as well. A headshot onto Makalele, eliminating him, and that will clear out the A site for the most part. The cross is probably the main thing you're going to have to worry about.
It seems pretty clinical after, taking this pretty patiently, taking some damage from the scouts. After that, it's all Cloud9 as they just march their way into the site. So just exists. Not a whole lot of damage dealt, or actually no damage dealt with that investment into the second round from NiP. So a little bit of a bummer for them as those two scouts, the Deagles, are gonna chip away. You did notice Michael, as we often see the Alpers on the CT sides especially, not really investing in anything too, usually at all. He's at 3,400, so he'll be able to have an AWP in that fourth round.
And of course, this one should be even more straightforward without having to worry about the heavier scout buys we were seeing from the NiP roster. Quite a few of them waiting around the mid doors, however, so an opportunity for them to try and get aggressive. But unless Cloud9 do oblige that with their own aggressive push out of the doors, I don't think we're going to see a lot of that come into fruition this time.
It's the idea. I mean, you can see there's one flash and exists, so they were hoping that there was going to be some kind of mid control for Cloud9 where they would be grouped up around the doors, and that one flash could be able to catch a couple off. But it's a sound idea. It's not a bad attempt, but nothing comes from it, obviously, because Cloud9 with a Molotov in those double doors, they avoid it entirely and even prevent any kind of quick flank from coming in. Now, I mean, we do see, this is the map that Cloud9 played SK on yesterday, and we did see Cloud9 jump out to a pretty, no, they actually, I have that backwards. They started out pretty slow on that map, didn't they?
I think they lost like first 3, they won the first gun round, and they dropped like the next 4 or 5, if I remember correctly.
I was going to make a cool point, but I was incorrect, so I'm not going to make that point. But either way, this is the first gun round coming in, and we have a scout on a Skadoodle. Doesn't feel like investing, feels like the scout is going to be able to do the damage. The op on Michael, so there's a clear advantage in terms of the arsenal between the two teams at the moment, but I mean, even the utility, Get Right and Force have absolutely no nades. Michael Ailey's only got a smoke, so this is going to be tough for NiP. You've got to hope that Michael Ailey with this AWP can find some kind of a pick. And he's out towards cars right now, so he's going to be nowhere near the initial action in this round.
Smoke setups are good for Cloud9 too. The nice Xbox smoke should allow them to get all the way up onto Cat and prime themselves for the execute should they choose to go for it, but obviously still plenty of time left on the clock if they want to try and do something different here. For now, the remaining grouped up, and the resistance will come mainly from the normal spots you would expect it to. Makalele's sitting back over by the car, smoked off for the second time, and he's not peeked out enough to spot on the close corner there. Is hugging the angle to stop them on the approach now, and they will start to move up to make progress here. Makalele blind, can't catch them, and won't even take the timing shot, not going to give himself away. Just yields that ground over to the Cloud9 roster. Get Right, though, has snuck himself into the bomb site. He's going to be able to pick up a first kill and a second one on Automatic and Skadoodle. Both of them getting knocked back out here, and all of a sudden, although they take the site, things are not looking too great. Nothing trying to equalize the odds, but it's not going to work out. It falls to Shroud now in a 1 versus 3. The last man up and running on the site. He's firing off shots all over the place. An instant headshot. Looks like he's locking on Freiburg there. Takes him down, now into a 1v2, but finally, Makalele chooses to strike back in, and that patience pays off. This is a big surprise to find the final kill on Shroud.
Yeah, and this was, I mean, that's a beautiful execute from Cloud9, to be honest with you. To get into that bomb site, the amount of flashes that they strung together were so effective, one after another. Makalele completely blind during that execution, couldn't even get a clean shot off. So he gives it up, which is smart, makes an impact at the end. I will say, if that scout is upgraded to an AWP, to an AK-47, basically anything except for a scout, Get Right is traded in a 1-for-1, because those 2 kills Get Right got saves that round for NiP, so huge performance from him. And if he gets traded off there, I mean, Cloud9 has a much easier time holding that bomb site.
Now, let's take a look here now. Skadoodle obviously will reinvest into that one, just saving it from some of the previous rounds there. I get into suicide here early on, even watching for a fast cap maneuver from the CT side. Won't be finding it. The Ninjas have just spread themselves out pretty much evenly across the map right now. Only playing to 1 in the B bomb site, but 3 back over watching for a long A push. Again, Cloud9, as far as their T side strats have been concerned, they have not been playing it really aggressively here, with maybe 1 or 2 rounds being an exception here. So they're just holding it back and going for the usual group up back over here at bottom mid.
Yeah, gotta string them together though. Still, I mean, not very much money on the CT side, so another important round. Cloud9 again making their way up catwalk. Still plenty of utility. All 5 smokes. We've got 4 flashbangs, 4 Molotovs to work with as well, so big advantage. It looks like they want to go right back. They saw how effective chain of those flashbangs was against Michael Ailey. They want to do it again and play that post plant because they had to have felt comfortable getting into the site. It's everything that happened afterwards that was really awkward. So here come the flashbangs behind the cover of the smoke, and nothing. An aggressive lurk. He comes out and drops Forrest. That's a big kill. Traded off immediately by Get Right, but he's away from the A bomb site. Cannot support. And again, flashbangs prevent Michael Ailey from doing anything effective until just now. He grabs Stewie on the cross. Can he get more? He does. That's Shroud stuck in the open, and no one's been able to make their way into the bomb site. Finally, he misses a shot. And there's Skadoodle responding with one of his own, and Automatic's going to get the bomb planted.
Smokes aren't set up even close to as well as they were in the last round, so Makalele is able to find the shots, nor is there enough pressure to really force him back in. We saw Automatic trying to get a little bit sneaky there by self-boosting himself up onto the box itself, but it does not play out, and now Skadoodle stuck in the site, still blind when Exists wraps out onto the ramp, so it's easy pickings for him to close out the round, and NiP do pick up 2 together here. find their second round and get within arm's reach of tying this up against Cloud9.
Yeah, 3 kills for Michael this round. Huge performance from him there, managing those flashbangs. This time, instead of falling all the way back towards long, he actually had the long defender come back and meet with him, and actually they played pretty aggressively right around those cars, peering into that site, so that's why he's able to be confident with that angle. Big round from NiP. We should say there's actually one additional wrinkle to this match in terms of the competitive of why they'd want to win. Both of these teams playing one more match tonight. Oh, there's a good fight. Forrest wins it. He does get tagged up right through the door, but both of these teams playing a later match tonight, one more after this, and I believe the rules, it's some old school stuff. It's like flag football, or it's like ultimate frisbee. It's loser walks, so losers got to go set up elsewhere. Winner plays on the stage again.
So Cloud9 now, they will be pushing themselves back over towards that usual mid setup, but with Amarty losing Skadoodle, prospects don't look good. I think as well in terms of the records here, both of them are still tied currently. I think they're both sitting at the 2-1 mark right now, so important match here to be able to try and edge out a higher record, get better seeding as we move into the playoff stage.
Yeah, double op setup now as well. Mike Laley on catwalk right above the bricks. Forrest with his AWP over in the B site. He's been tagged up, so he can transition if he feels like it. If he ever feels the need to allow Exist to rotate out of B, he can get back over to that headshot angle. And there's a flashbang, and Mike Laley wins anyways. So clearly the opper having the most impact at the moment is on NiP.
Shroud is going to push himself forward here now to start things off with pushing them into the A-bomb site, but there's still a lot of defenses here. And NiP have gotten used to these A hits, so obviously the defenses are going to remain the same as they have been here. Relying on Makalele to stop some of the initial pressure, but Get Right can shift in from CT spawn if needed, and obviously Freiburg can wrap back up. They haven't really been putting any pressure on Long at all, so obviously Freiburg's going to do this again. Now Get Right begins to wait for it too. He's fully committed. There's Makalele finding 1 kill. Shroud does take down Get Right before he can do any damage, and Automatic as well is going to knock out Freiburg. Makalele is the last one left in this site, but he does not want to take any further risk. He falls back, and he's going to wait for Exist and Forrest to get in a better position before he reinitiates back from down on Long.
Yeah, this actually might seem a little bit dangerous considering the HP, but that's a 6 shot from Automatic, and that's the one rifle. It's a double op setup, so the HP really doesn't matter for these Cloud9 players unless it's a close-up situation with the pistols, but Forrest trying to come up this ramp, seeing if he can spot anything, and that's nice from Shroud. Precision. Mike Laley's been so effective these past couple rounds, and somehow Cloud9, despite losing 2 players early on, it looks like they're going to have the advantage, and Automatic cleans it out. Huge round from him with 3 kills, but Shroud as well showing up with 2 of his own.
Great round from Automatic there, really showing up, and some good movement from him as well, being able to pick up those shots on it. Time's notice there, so NiP will drop that one, and money's not really looking too great for them. 1,500, 1,800, 1,700 for Forrest, Makalele, and Freiburg, so I was going to say they were about to save, but it looks like they do decide to force up into it here too, considering the money's still rather low for the T side, hoping they can upset in this round, but with only that FAMAS and a scout, this will be a miracle if they can pull it off here.
This with the only rifle, he's going to be playing in the B bomb site, and because he has, I mean, it's not a great in terms of firepower, but because he has a rifle over all the other pistols, he'll pretty much be alone there. It's Forrest and Freiburg. They're in middle. Forrest close to the doors. Freiburg now rotating back towards B, so Forrest is pretty much all on his own at the moment. Freiburg going to have to make a decision of where he wants to go. This looks like a round that's either going to be a mid to B split ending up, but there's 2 quick kills. The response from the scout, nice shot from Freiburg. Can he get anything else? He's dueling with it. Can't find any more tags, but this does look like it was going to be a mid to B split, but for now with those 2 kills, Cloud9 pretty much has the whole map available to him.
Freiburg's still hunting for that last kill back over here by the mid doors, and nothing. Certainly playing with him to keep him in the zone. But the rest of the NiP roster split across the map, as we do see Exist starting to get a little bit curious in terms of what's in the tunnels. They've all evacuated outside of there. He's going to spot it, and this should allow for the early rotation to move in, as Cloud9, while they're not moving for a count it, they're still leaning on A so often here. This time it's just going to exit out towards Long. And still the pressure will be on the Makalele, but this time he's positioned himself on the site. Won't be exposed back over by the car angle, but he will need to perform very quickly, as will Freiburg in a moment as they start to push up. And they're going to hear him too. Automatic wasting no time, going full speed up the alleyway here to get himself to the site. Automatic finds Makalele, but Freiburg sneaks in from around the backside. 2 quick kills. Skadoodle, at the very least, is able to get outside a pit, but now Exist has the setup here. He's creeping in. Automatic, however, I think he's just spotted him. Now he's playing it slowly. Exist, he'll hunt for the headshot here, but he can't find it. But there's only 20 seconds left on the clock. The bomb's been able to cross, but Automatic does not feel secure on his lone. So it's all fear, and Skadoodle as well is not really going to be too keen to peek out against that here. Exist trying to play this back as carefully as possible. Even going to throw the pistol out there.
Oh, that Molotov might have just saved this round because you can see how scared Automatic was. Exist with full armor from the last round as well, so this AK, it's basically a full buy. He's got no kit. And Skadoodle does have the AWP, so we can just hold this angle and help support Automatic. Automatic doesn't even have to peek, he just has to play contact off Skadoodle's shot. That's the question. Can Exist actually make it? And he snaps over. There's the fire. There's Automatic's peek. Trying to buy time. Skadoodle misses one. That allows Exist to get a little bit closer. Now it's dicey. Now he can make this a one-on-one, but Automatic wins it anyways. Exist does everything right, but just too much going against him. And Cloud9 get their 5th round, and they survive a scare, but that buy, I mean, it's effective. It does take a lot of guns away from Cloud9, but now it's got to be a full save for NiP.
Impressive stuff from Freiburg there, too, using the smoke to the best of his ability.
That was sick.
Sneaking out there, and 2 really quick kills as much pressure as he was under. If Skadoodle wasn't there, that pretty much closes out the round. But thankfully, he holds back in pit for a little bit longer, and that's really what keeps Cloud9 alive. That and the slow pace play from Automatic there, not taking this duel back over on the site.
Yeah, that Molotov that Skadoodle throws is huge. And nothing walking backwards into the wall. So Freiburg is going to miss a couple shots, so nothing maybe getting away with one there, but I think maybe he was expecting some kind of a flash from his teammate, I would assume. Either right, Get Right's going to be over towards the cars, and Cloud9, knowing they took a lot of economic damage last round, they're going to take this one very slow and methodical. Skadoodle's still in T-spawn, spotting down mid. He just now left. He was just back there trying to gain information, see if any CTs are going to be crossing back and forth to stack a bomb site. It's Stewie with the MAC-10 going on an information gathering mission and a money mission. He gets 1 kill. So now Cloud9 knows there's 2 players at this A site, or at least away from B, and they get 1 kill on the Get Right.
MAC-10 goes into exist here. I doubt we're really going to see it appear in the rest of this round unless they go hunting, but again, MAC-10 sneaking into the smoke, or at least we think he does, but Automatic is able to spot that this time, and no sneaky business like we saw from Freiburg back on the 7th round. They dispatch him before he's able to do anything, and as mentioned previously, exist with this MAC-10 will fall back and around here. May position himself for an exit or 2, but for the most part, this one's over. It's going to be Cloud9 taking their 6th.
Good start to this half, for this match, actually, for Cloud9. And look at Automatic, 13-2. Boy, has he emerged as a solid pickup. And this is the crazy thing when you think about Cloud9 as a team. And you think back to the beginning of the year, the Stewie pickup that was so criticized at the time, and perhaps rightfully so, just because of his previous lack of experience as a professional. And then the Automatic pickup, who he was supposed to come in as a role player. You have to wonder, like, how fortunate has Cloud9 gotten if those 2 players don't pan out for whatever reason, if Stewie doesn't become the player that he has, if he's not willing to take over the leadership mantle, if Automatic isn't this emerging, apparently some kind of star player that no one knew about, then this Cloud9 team is in a very bad spot. So they've gotten very, very fortunate with their 2 newest recruits.
Team Stewie, again, already had that relationship going with Automatic as well, so a bit of a confidence pickup with him being brought in there too, as those 2 had a good relationship forming even before he was brought onto the roster there.
Well, now Cloud9, 4-3 in lower B, Shroud at the top mid, Skadoodle just watching for an upper B push. Looks like they want to apply a little bit of pressure on mid. Get Right's going to be the biggest challenge there, and CT spawn if they do end up coming out, but this is looking like it's going to be a mid to B split. In which case, there's no AWP, there's no real counter flashes. I mean, Get Right only has 1 flashbang, Exist has nothing, Forest has nothing, and that's the entire utility over at this side of the map.
Get Right was hoping for them to fully commit to that one, but they are held back for a couple of extra seconds here. Get Right actually has to dive into the smoke for a moment. He's going to push out. They don't expect this at all. 1-2 kills from him. Forest chimes in for the second, but they do maintain the situation. Nothing in Shroud are able to trade that back out. It goes into a 3-on-3, but they don't check the platform. Exist. Look at those 2 quick kills. Skadoodle nothing. Just bow down to the ground. Shroud again is keeping this under control for C9 to a certain degree, but now he's been isolated. He's alone in a 1v2, and he has no utility left. The 2 remaining ninjas are going to wrap themselves back around into the tunnel. Nobody pushing back into the wall, but Shroud doesn't know this. He's going to have to try and figure this one out all on his own with no additional utility support. He's not even checking it right now. He walks out, though, slowly, and he handles Macalay, but now he's looking for the other one for the wall. He doesn't see it on the drop down. Freiburg knocks Shroud out of the sky and is going to be able to clutch this out for NiP.
Nice little bait there from Freiburg. A smart situation to bait, and obviously because Shroud has no idea. You can see he's thinking he's going to come through window or door. He's thinking it's going to be, you know, a little bit from 2 directions, a pinch, but it isn't. So nice teamwork from NiP to get their next round. But this is that dangerous scenario where they get their win, but they lose. again, it's going to be struggled by, and Cloud9 is going to have pretty much the whole playbook. Smart play from GetRight, though. That Molotov goes down behind the smoke and CT spawn, so more than likely Cloud9's thinking they have him neutralized entirely. But because of the lack of flashbangs, him and Forrest probably already made the call that they would pinch on that mid to B split, that they would both fight for it if that was the strategy that happened. So GetRight just runs through the flames, throws caution to the wind to support his teammate. They get a couple kills off it.
Now the rest of Cloud9 grouping up again to shift down slowly into the mid-staging area here. Doing the same thing and watching out for more of that aggression out from long here, but it hasn't been a theme at all from the NiP side on this half, and it doesn't look like it's going to become one on this round. Just positioning Freiburg there to watch out any of the T's that may be pushing out from there, and Makalele at his usual spot here. Nothing out of the ordinary, but Cloud9 very quickly posturing up once again to start their push out. The smoke thrown out from over top of the doorway. Going to block off GetRight's view, and it doesn't look like he's going to be challenging it here. Just throwing out one of his own flashbangs to hold them back for a couple of extra seconds, but he will fall back to the A side just to make sure there isn't a player going for the drop. Now Forrest moving out in the open with the SMG, finds one kill, can't transition it onto a second. They're already working on setting up Molotovs too. They hadn't even killed that second player yet, but they're working on setting utility again to this site. Makalele is able to hold, he picks up one kill, but then Automatic chimes in again for another pickup for the T side. At the end of the day, it's even still, 3-on-3, but Cloud9 holds full control of the B bomb site.
NiP's got utility. They've got 2 defuse kits as well. Freiburg on the flank is going to be critical. You can see him coming in, and Skiddle just gives up that angle right at the last moment. This is going to be a little bit dangerous. He just wanted to re-smoke the double doors, but that's going to allow Freiburg to have that angle when that push eventually does come in. It's a very important shot for Skiddle to hit if he can. GetRight lining up a flashbang through the smoke. Is Skidoodle going to turn around? Is he going to be distracted? Automatic with the first kill. No one's watching the flank. Here comes Freiburg. Oh, nice flick from Skidoodle. He recovers in time, and Makalele with the op. He can't win this. He's got to try and save it, but Automatic is out of the window. Makalele doing what ninjas do. 100 HP. Oh, he's going to miss that shot. This is not good. And he can't even get the pistol. He blows up with the bomb. That's a little bit unfortunate, but Cloud9 respond, and there's the hard reset. You could see the money on Cloud9 exist. Freiburg 1,500. This is going to be a double save scenario.
Now, for NiP, there's probably not going to be any investment at all, too. The money's not even really that great. Just a P250 at the moment it'll exist, and we may see 1 or 2 more of those coming out of the Forest or Makalele, but that will be the end of the buy, and Cloud9 will once again have an easy round in front of them. There's been so many of this from NiP because of that more aggressive buy they made 5 or 6 rounds ago. Their money has been very, very weak for the entire half, and Cloud9 have had at least 3 or 4 of these rounds so far to work off of here and really gain their huge advantage here. But there's the boost up, but it does not work at all. Oh, wait, I might get them at least 1 kill. Stewie sticks around, tries to combo the spray into the second pickup on the GetRight. Doesn't really work out too well. He's dropped down to 20 HP, and Makalele's been allowed to walk right out here on the cat. No shots are connecting, however, and when GetRight tries to move in here, he's shut out. Makalele, oh, he actually does snipe at least 1 headshot there on Automatic, but beyond that, of course, the aggression has failed, and he is now the last man standing.
Yeah, it seemed like some of those shots in lower B. Maybe it was Makalele's SSD that wasn't working. Maybe they fixed the wrong PC. Did seem like he was in line, but yeah, there's not going to be anything here for NiP, and this is now a really difficult spot for them. This is going to put Cloud9 up toward 8. There's going to be 1 more save round after this for NiP. They just don't have the money. Actually, they could buy here. Now that I say that and hold tab, they could force buy if they wanted to. It all depends on how much pressure they're feeling because of the gap in the scoreline. But they're going to do it conservative. They're going to save 1 more. Upgraded pistols, some utilities going to be bought out. Would have been mostly FAMAS's. I think it would have been able to have like pretty much 1 M4 with armor and then mostly FAMAS's. So I think this next round, that just kind of tells you they definitely want to have those AWPs. They want to have more utility than they have been in the last few gun rounds.
Stewie knows it's going to be an eco round too. He's picked up the Mac 10, so he's going to roll right into the B bomb site, leads the charge in an instant shot on a Forest. He does actually get taken down by Makalele, but the rest are on the way. GetRight finding a second one too, so some decent damage being done here. Round's essentially already over though. Freiburg's way over on the A bomb site, and Cloud9's got full control of B.
Yeah, the change in pace, especially on the anti-eco, throws NiP a little bit off, so good calling from Cloud9. And they are having themselves a very, very good half. Even the 3 rounds that NiP have run have all been retakes, have all been defuses, so Cloud9 having a lot of success on these rounds of getting into the site and forcing retakes, doing damage to the economy of NiP, and they just haven't felt comfortable with the money whatsoever. And yeah, this is the buy they wanted to have. Double op setup comes out after that double save, so Forrest going to have his over towards the B bomb site side of the map. Makalele going to have his out towards long.
Cloud9 again moving themselves into the upper tunnels and following up on the cat here, but we do see Stewie Dropped down a little bit there, hit down to 38 HP, and Shroud 2 dropped down by quite a bit. Makalele, however, misses the drop from Stewie. Get right. Quick on the dime, though. Moves in there to punish him before he can get any further. Automatic finding a trade, however, that's far it's going down, and now, look at Exist. He's completely surrounded, but remains steady. He gets 2 kills before being picked off by Automatic. Just 2 left alive here. Get right moving in, despite the smoke, still manages to finish off Automatic. It's left to Skadil. He's going to prioritize the plant here now, just to make sure his team gets the extra bonus money. He's looking for the 1v3, of course, but I don't think he's realized that Get Right has already gone through the window. It's going to be an easy closeout for him with Skadil remaining scoped in, and that will be the 4th for the Ninjas.
There was that round though that I mentioned that Cloud9 did against SK to great effect. The pretty much a mid-rush, a B-rush, and then the Stewie coming off catwalk to try and just get that one player. And that's the scary part, because when they did it against SK, Stewie's able to find Fallen. They weren't planning on having an initial. They obviously, with that fast of a tactic, you don't have time to set up that mid to B smoke and allow it to bounce around and allow it to plume in CT spawn. So it's all about Stewie getting that kill that prevents them from really punishing the B split. So you could see he doesn't find anyone, he gets taken out, and Mike Lely had a chance to pick someone off in mid. So the strat not nearly as effective against NiP as it was against SK. Still Cloud9 get a plant, so they have another strong buy, but NiP are going to be very, very happy to be able to bring a lot of guns into the next round.
Yeah, but it's early round setups here have remained pretty much the same from Cloud9, and they're doing that again in this round.
Exist, by the way, we should mention, has been phenomenal in this B bomb site in this half on defense. He has been getting double kills consistently under high pressure situations. So really, really good work from him. Just not enough right now for NiP at 4 rounds playing against 9.
Right, also remaining rather strong too with his role back over here to hold things in the mid split itself. At the very least, always able to trade out 1 for 1, and if he's not picking up kills, he's getting the early intel. He's allowing his team to find the time to prepare for these hits that Cloud9 continuously throws them. And although the scoreline isn't that great, we are still seeing them battle back a little bit here as we go into the last couple of rounds of the half. It's
kind of cool. We're seeing NiP. I mean, it hasn't happened on Dust 2 so much recently where teams just don't feel like defending middle, but we're seeing NiP challenge it a couple times now. Forrest took that peek, delayed up towards catwalk, and actually hit Stewie through the door. Here comes the execution. Down into CT spawn goes Stewie, and he gets taken out. Get right spinning around, knowing what's coming, but he can't win the fight. Exist is up here on the boxes. He gets 1. Can he get another double kill? He can't. And the B bomb set is exposed as Forrest falls as well. And even Automatic going to stick around in mid to cut off rotations and be a little bit of a nuisance. And he spots 1 in T-spawn. That's a good find. That's phenomenal information. You can see Freiburg, he wants to fall away now. He can't take that fight. And this might have to be a save call for NiP at this point.
Money's really not still in a great position here too, and they still got 1 round to play out. So making it into the next round with at least 2 of these buys still being preserved, of course, and the yacht more importantly, as we just saw Makalele pick that back up.
Yeah, and these are crucial because this is now 2. I mean, all 4 rounds that NiP have won have been EnVyUs, which is crazy. But the last 2 rounds that they've won have immediately been responded by Cloud9 winning. So that's obviously going to throw the economy into disarray. With that AWP pickup, Mike Lely will have that. He'll also be able to drop an M4 over to a teammate. So this can be a pretty solid buy in terms of having at least 2 M4s and AWP. The rest of them could just have pistols. Exist might be able to grab a FAMAS. It depends on if he wants the utility or not. So there's some options available to NiP here.
And we are going to see the pause come in as well from NiP, using it for this last round to see what exactly they can do. But your point goes very, very strongly here too as we look at what exactly the 3 players who did not save will have in their bank. 2250 for Fars, 2700 for Get Right, and 3350 for Exist. It's not going to lead into really any great buys at all. Exist is really the only player that can get anything of significance in terms of like a rifle with some armor sitting behind it.
Yeah, this is going to be a really tough call for how NiP wants to play this one. And it is kind of silly to even think about because it is the last round. They're going to have to buy whatever they can anyways. But in terms of where they want to go, Exist is going to have the UMP, Forrest with the 5.7. Get Right.
What is this buy from Cloud9?
This is, I mean, since it's the last round, they just spent all their money.
They're gonna mess with them a little bit, though.
Well, they just want to go for the cross. They want to get there's some damage done. They want to get a pick, and essentially what it looks like is Nothing has an AK-47. So what's going to happen here is they're going to spam, and I assume Nothing is just going to book it over towards the B bomb set. If they get a kill, Nothing's entire job is just to rush in and have that one-on-one and see what he can find. But they get damage, but they don't find the kill that they wanted, and Automatic misses the long pitch.
Trying to make sure there's been no fast cap maneuver too, as they have not had the greatest device on that one. So that falls to Automatic's job after he fails to find the opening pick on the long cross from the CTs. And of course now they trade back out to the AKs, and it just goes back down to the double up setup with Stewie and Skadoodle wielding them. Makalele though still sticking himself around here. Normally it's Get Right holding this position, and Makalele back over by the card angle, but since the D splits have been so common of a theme, maybe they want to change it up a little bit since the defense has not remained as strong Forest exists, however, still remain your B-side players, and beyond that, the positions are going to stay the same too. And they will go for the switch since everything has gone away. It's a bit of a weird opening there from Cloud9 to try and catch those players on the cross. And we go back to the usual setup for NiP2 as Get Ready goes back to holding the mid area, and Makalele becomes your main A holder against Cat Hits.
Cloud9 going back to some of these executions towards Catwalk. Mid-control right now, nothing contesting again, and he's going to win that fight with Get Right. That's sick, but look at Freiberg. This is a huge play on the flank. Oh, he misses the initial shot. He's been spotted out. It takes so long to get that, an immediate dink, but he can't get the kill. Just took far too long for him to drop nothing, and here comes that hit onto the A bomb site. No one dropping down. Michael Ailey's going to be in the site, and he misses his opening shot, and there he is. He falls to Shroud. Forrest can do nothing. Can't even fall back because of the Molotov. This is a nice execution from Cloud9.
And there's nothing for Exist to do here, too. Stuck behind the flames. Cloud9 has full control of this one. It would take an absolute miracle for Exist to be able to do this. He's trying to keep himself quiet, but already spotted by Skadoodle here. And also, no guns to really trade out here. There's no rifles sitting down below that he can really pick up. Actually dives into the smoke unnoticed. Tries to leap out, but Shroud is paying attention to that one. So Cloud9 will close it out. It's a dominating half from them. 11-4 in their favor.
A dominating half from Automatic. 23-5 just to bring up his scoreline. That is absolutely monstrous. And Shroud second in the line at 15-8.
All right, guys, so that's going to close out the first half. Be sure to stick with us for more action once again here at the ESL Pro League Finals in Brazil. Second half is coming up in just a bit. Automatic has showed up in big strides here now in this first half with a dominating scoreline of 23-5. He leads the charge for Cloud9, who also have the lead against NiP here in this group stage match here at the ESL Pro League Season 4 Finals at Sao Paulo, Brazil. The Ninjas now will jump onto their T side here of Dust 2, and they are working on recovering from this scoreline. Moses now going into this now. What are going to be the big keys for them to have any chance to get back into this game and prevent Cloud9 from just utterly shutting them down here?
This is where they can dictate a little bit more of the action. Obviously, on a map like Dust 2, you're going to want your Alpers. Michael Ailey definitely. Forrest, if they decide to go into double op setup to come alive, you're going to want Get Right as a lurker to be effective because there's so many different ways you can do it. But I think, there's a nice spray.
That's the first one I've seen all tournament.
The 1.6 players are happy about that one. But for someone like Forrest on a map like Dust 2, one of the great all-time aimers, this is where you want him to shine because he had a quiet first half. He's only sitting at 5 kills, and you can't even really think about too much impact yet. He actually died every single round in the first half. He didn't survive a single one. So you're going to want to see a little bit more from him, and Stewie's already going to spot out this play towards the B bomb site. Oh, that's a nice headshot from Automatic, and he continues his tear. 2-3 kills for him.
Oh
this pistol round is insane for Cloud9, and Automatic, he's already won on the round.
Automatic is going to look for the likely. Oh, Stewie swiping in a steal, and it's just Get Right. He's also playing to the mid doors, but this time from the T perspective, and now obviously it will be boxed in. No reason for Automatic and Stewie to not move in and take full control of the situation, and they absolutely have. Get Right would take mountains to move for him to be able to pick up this pistol round. Still, he's trying to take it slow, but now he's been revealed. Now he's pushed himself back over here, and actually everybody from mid on the Cloud9 side has rotated back away. But obviously, bomb on the ground, Get Right has no choice. They've all just stacked up on top of it in the event that Get Right somehow does get his way through both Stewie and Automatic, but it won't be happening because unless he checks, he's actually going to check it there. So, a bit of tuition on his part, but still Stewie pushes back in to finish the job against Get Right, and Cloud9 do close out the pistol in the second half.
That is so disgusting. Automatic is just a beast right now. Yeah, this is just one of those matches where a player has these once in a while where you just feel like you can do no wrong, where everything's going the right way for you. And that pistol round is just incredible to hold off the entire NiP team from a B hit like that. Good stuff, and he continues it into the second half. 26-5 now after that performance, and a tactical pause out of Exist, because that pistol round was important, obviously, and they lost it, but this next round is going to be, if they want any chance in it, they really need to win this one, because otherwise the save comes in and then Cloud9's already up to 14 before you can really even get started into the gun rounds.
And that is going to be the second pause, I do believe, from NiP. Now, actually, second or third, because I think they took one...
I think it's 3.
Yeah. So I think they took one like around rounds 5 or 6 too, and Cloud9 started to bounce back a bit there. So, with that said, it will be a rather quick one, as is the standard now. So we jump directly back into the game now, and for NiP, of course, without a plant to their name in that first round, they do go with a force buy here into the second round. Tech 9 armor for most. We do see a Deagle pickup from Makalele and Exist going down to the P250. Very light on the utility side of things. They prioritize armor. Over top of it, it is just going to be a single smoke, which has already been used on the 2 flashbangs which sit on Get Right and Exist.
Well, they are going to work their way up catwalk, and this is, thankfully, obviously second round, there's no op-out, but so, I mean, the lack of smoke for NiP is gonna suck, but not as much as it could suck. Forrest leading the way, all 5 members of NiP gonna be here, and these 2 flashes better be god tier. No one actually defending the A bomb site itself, and we've seen this in the past from Cloud9. This is a little bit worrying of just not defending the site whatsoever, not even having eyes on it, not even a chance to pick anyone off. So this is basically a free plant. And those are nice nades. Forrest down to 5 HP. Molotov's going to rain out as well. Freiberg pushed into the open, but nothing can't capitalize on it. But they at least have the information of where he is for the time being.
Freiberg as well, not even peeking back out amongst that. Ninjas are trying to go back out over to mid, and in the meantime, they've left the A-bomb site open, and now they're completely smoked out of it. Freiberg, along with Forrest, have both been knocked out, and any attempts they make to try to get back into this site are going to be with their own deaths here. Just down at Get Right now, and it's an easy retake for Cloud9. Get Right now just trying to run away, so at least they keep some gun power going into the third round.
Yeah, I mean, it's always, it works this time. We've seen it in the past, Cloud9's been punished by it, but I mean, obviously that retake is much better than I've seen it before. Perhaps something they've worked on and have a little bit more confidence, but more than likely just feeling so good about the scoreline, just not even worrying about the fights they're taking. So a plant goes down for NiP. That's going to allow Get Right to get the bonus money despite living past the round timer. And also, that $800 is going to go a long way to making up for the Tech 9 armor investment.
So now here on to this next one, the NiP players are just going to be splitting themselves up as per usual here. That nade going into the back is perfect. Makalele.
Automatic's damage per round in this game is going to be off the charts. His ADR is just going to be sky high.
Not only has Makalele been hit by that grenade too, but Exist has been dinked down to 48 HP when he tries to peek out of the tunnels into the B-bomb site. That damage, I believe, coming in from Stewie. A little bit of it was returned onto him, but still, Makalele doesn't even know what to do with himself. That movement out towards mid was noticed there. It's crazy just how much Cloud9 are getting to read into NiP here, although Freiberg does grab that first kill into nothing.
Yeah, Automatic's ADR right now, if I trust the in-game statistics that we have going on, it's 150. So he's being a monster. But again, the A-bomb site is wide open for the taking. This time, this should if you look at it, with no armor, with only the one Tech 9, with two Deagles, this should be a little bit easier than even last round was. But Cloud9 is a man down, and there's Freiburg on the lurk, so that's a good pickoff. So this is a little bit more doable for NiP. They're making this work, but still the hit coming in from long, the retake. Shroud, he only has a UMP, and he's just trying to cross, and he can't do it. And all the kills go NiP's way. No one falls for the NiP side. They start that round with Deagles and one Tech 9, and they get their 5th, and they keep it alive just a bit. And Stewie, I mean, he doesn't want to mess around. He's just going to call pause right off the bat.
Instant pause there, if at the very least momentum breaker for the NiP roster, and just a breather there for Cloud9, as that was not expected to happen whatsoever, especially with the way that one starts out, where they already dink down to, or they already pretty much knock off half the HP of 2 of the players from NiP. Then the mistakes made, though. Nothing, I think, is the first one to go down there. A little bit of an aggressive battle that's taken against Get Right. He gets that first kill there, and off of that one, the Ninjas just skyrocket their way through. They snowball their way into that one, but the pause is quick, and we immediately get back into the action here, as it doesn't even look like Cloud9 is going to invest into this next one. They're just going to immediately take the save, as they can easily afford that with the big cushion of rounds that they still have to work with here.
Double op setup right off the bat for NiP. So while, I mean, it is easier to manage the economy, but if these pistols can do damage, if they take some ops away, that's a nice swift shot from Michael. Good flashbang over as well. But I mean, if these P250s can get some kills and put NiP in a situation where they can't recover the ops, that would actually be pretty detrimental to the NiP comeback in terms of denting the economy. But for now, it's well managed. Michael with that opening pick.
Now we take a look on the sites themselves here too. NiP yet to make a decision as far as where they're going to take the spread out across the map, obviously making sure that no one from C9 gets too aggressive and pushes into them. They isolate themselves into individual players in individual positions. It's very likely Cloud9 would be able to upset there and gain a little bit more momentum off of those frags itself. But Exist now going to push themselves to the mid doors, just clearing things out. Making himself the chance to take down Stewie. He spots him on the cross, but a little bit delayed on the reaction there, so not going to take him down this time. However, he's obliged at it, and just as he goes for the reload, Stewie's able to push himself in, gets right up in the face of Exist and takes him down. Nothing finds a second kill. That rifle is picked up by Stewie, does not net anything as Forrest is able to take him down. But nonetheless, it goes into a 2v3, and now Skadoodle going to push himself out. He's got the Deagle in hand, but he backs up pretty quickly and he's being chased. And with that, the distraction allows nothing to sneak in by the mid doors here. Catches one against Forrest. He too is going to fall away from this one, and now they've got it even.
This is what we're talking about. 2 members left. You can't have an AWP. You have to have at least one AK in this kind of a situation. So they're going to abandon the other one. They're going to hit into this B bomb site, but look at the read. Cloud9's going to be here. This is going to be so dangerous. And are they just going to hide or are they going to take the fight? Nothing. Biding his time inside the site. When does Skadoodle peek with his Deagle? And it might have to be now because of the smoke. There he is trying to come through, and he can't find it. He does. Nothing does the damage with 3 bullets left. He's got to reload. One-on-one with Get Right. He gets the dink immediately. Down to 8 HP. Nothing. He pulls off the miracle for Cloud9. A huge round to win with nothing brought into the round. And that's 14. NiP, they get torn apart.
NiP steal one away from the Cloud9 roster, but then they repeat the feat right back, causing the reset against the NiP roster. Now, they're going to force directly into this, though, and this pie is not going to be all that great at all. There's a Deagle in the mix, or apologies, there's an op in the mix somewhere. Looks like it's going to go into the hands of Forrest here. Deagle for Freiburg along with Makalele, and Get Right and Exist having to force up into whatever they could. Exist, the only player here with a really great buy to himself, full utility kit and an AK. Get Right's had to go down to a Galil, and he's already used the bit of utility that he's been able to buy, bringing him down to just a single flashbang. And in the meantime, Cloud9, they're up to a double op setup now. Full utility, pretty much every single player, including the players that have bought ops, and the 3 rifles beyond that too.
Well, all right then. NiP put on the back foot. Hold off by the smoke on Catwalk for the moment. There's no one actually defending this whatsoever. It's just buying a little bit of extra time, just running the clock down a little bit lower. And again, I mean, it feels like such a broken record to say this about NiP in this map, but Cloud9 has done such a good job of controlling the economy. Look at the utility on NiP. A minute left, 2 smokes, 2 flashes. I mean, they basically have nothing to work with. They can't afford to really poke or prod anything. They can't really set up Force in any kind of position to get a pick. They just kind of have to execute with what they have. And now down to 1 smoke as Catwalk gets blocked off.
Slowly waiting for NiP to go for their execution here. Down to 45 seconds left on the clock. They will make a move soon, but it's going to very quickly turn itself into a direct A hit here now, which Cloud9 have to realize. They haven't spotted any of this yet. Good nade being tossed into the back, though, but it doesn't connect a lot of damage. Only brings Makalele down. About 20 of his HP eliminated, and they know he's sitting in pit here now. They've isolated him here, too, and Get Right just walks right into the open. Nothing, can't do anything to resist against that. He'll trade against Get Right, but Makalele immediately moves in there to find the next kill, and now it's just a walk in the park for these players players on Cat. They're able to move directly in. Shroud tries to kill the bomb planter when he goes for the jumping kill. Forest immediately denies, shuts down automatic. It falls to Stewie. He at least gets revenge for some of his dead teammates, but unfortunately he cannot clutch this one out. He needs to fall away and save and hand over a 6th round to NiP.
Good entries, good trades from NiP, executing out long, a catwalk as well. Shroud in a position where he couldn't really help out, so it's going to go on a little bit longer as NiP respond, and the money is hurting for Cloud9. They could actually buy him this next round. Nothing will be able to buy himself. Scoodle can drop an M4 over and have the AWP in Stewie's hands, and then Shroud and Automatic will be stuck on something pretty weak, but they could make it work if they want to. But again, I mean, we saw previously they played it pretty conservative with the economy. They have such a big lead. Might not even be worth that kind of a risk in this. And yeah, it's going to be the op and Stewie, and they're just going to play around it. Upgraded pistols for a couple players, but everyone being very, very conservative with the money.
Getting back into the action here now, of course. NiP still the default split. No direct movement towards either side of this one, but Stewie, look at how aggressively he's going to be playing this one too. Smokes himself, and he's got the edge on the Freiburg. Clips his shoulder off, takes him down, and already isolating this into a 5v4. Now, no one's going to be able to retrieve that rifle, of course. Dies way too far in the back, but look, get right. He's moving in for revenge. If they can box him out, they may be able to take him down, but he realizes how dangerous that is. He starts to fall back a little bit here too, and now Stewie's got the support smoke from a teammate, safely falls back outside, and they have 100% the 5v4 advantage.
Incredible play from Stewie. It's not just the aggression, but it's the patience as well in lower B to trust his teammate to be able to block him off with the smoke and fall back to survive. Really, really nice job. Scoodle even buys armor in case Stewie dies there. He can run out behind the cover of that smoke to pick up the AWP, but he doesn't need to here. So it's all about the read now from Cloud9. Oh, Stewie! All right then. Get Right's out of the fight. It's now a 5-on-3. Are they going to do it again behind the op of Stewie? He does everything for this team apparently. In-game leads, entries, rifles. And NiP's trying to make their way out mid, forced with the bomb going into upper B, but what options do they have?
And now he's positioned to counter out some of the mid-aggression here too. It's all about the timing though and catching this at the right angle. This one, NiP are not going to be expecting to find him here. They're going to start to smoke it, but there's Makalele. Finally shutting it down, of course. The players in the A side are going to have to quickly rotate in because all the defense has fallen to automatic, and he misses his first shot. Quickly, he'll be overwhelmed there with Makalele netting up his 2nd kill in this round. And things will very quickly shift back into NiP's favor because of that one. No one else has retrieved any additional guns here. Nothing tries to push up to the doorway. Doesn't work out. Skadoodle at 36 HP. Shroud actually finds 1 and 2 back over there, but Forrest trades it, so it goes into Skadoodle's hands. The 1v1, crouching around the smoke. He spotted it. 1 HP, and he switches back over to his knife. Tries to dive into the smoke, and Forrest will shut him down. NiP just barely closed that one out.
I think he ran out of bullets.
Yeah.
I didn't see it right at the end, but I think that was the switch to the knife, as he had no more ammunition, but almost stealing another one away. Cloud9 is just finding some, I mean, it's usually the NiP guys that we say have the NiP magic, but Cloud9's taken it. It's like a episode of Space Jam. They've come down, they've taken all the powers of their opponents. Yeah, I mean, this is a Cloud9 tactical timeout. So, I mean, going into the next gun round, they're not going to buy in this one. You can see the money. Oh, you can't see it right now, but the money is not good enough at the moment for them to purchase anything except for Scoodle, who has a massive amount of money. So one more save round for Cloud9. And again, I mean, why not just upgrade pistols again and get, if you can get have NiP again in a situation where if they lose a round, their economy is just shattered. So you have them in a situation where pretty much one win here with this kind of money built up for NiP, and you basically win the match.
Forrest is going to waste no time in trying to push out here and catch one of these players crossing over towards pit. He won't find it. Shroud's already got himself into pit and is going to instantly take the head off of Forrest there. Another good start for the Cloud9 roster, despite the fact that they are on a full eco for the most part with those little items here and there. Shroud goes hunting for a second kill on to exist. At the very least manages to force him back behind the dumpster, but that Molotov is going to push him into the open a little bit more not to the greatest extent, however, and I'm not sure if he spotted the second player. Freiburg hiding behind the barrels. They know he's here now, and he's going to get more team support. Shroud finds that second kill that he's been waiting for so much here, and that will end most of the aggression here, but as I say, that finally exists, is able to pick up a kill against Shroud. The bomb is still safely tucked away out of the doors, and they will be able to apply more in here. They're still sticking to this one, and obviously Cloud9 is going to bite on that all the way. They've started to push more and more of their players over towards long. They want to fight for it, and it seems like the Ninjas are going to oblige it currently.
Well, all of Cloud9 is here. This is a good read. I mean, there's one player in mid, but Michael gets away with one. There's another dink from nothing. He can't complete the kill, but look at this. Exist and Get Right are just, a strong gust of wind away from dying, but Exist finds it. Automatic being aggressive with that deagle, and it's all down to Stewie. Who better? He's got armor, he's got a pistol, he's on the flank as well, and there's guns down in this place. He can find an AK-47. Get Right, yeah, he's watching it, but he's so incredibly low. Oh, nice shot from Get Right.
Saves his own life along with the round for NiP there, and they pick it up again, but it's hesitant when you consider how low Exist and Get Right were and just how long they were isolated over there towards the long area, that staging area to push themselves into the main push up on the long there. If Cloud9 were able to find one or two more crucial kills, that round may have turned itself in the other direction. But now Cloud9 back on the buy here. The op for Skadoodle along with the 4 rifle buys. No double op setup is in the cards just yet. For NiP here too. Let's see what they have up their sleeve for the next gun round. Nothing out of the ordinary though. Still sticking to the same basic lineup, and I imagine this will lead itself into a group up over here mid. Turn into really anything, obviously, at that point. Cat hit or mid to B is what we normally see.
Well, Shroud's going to be in CT spawn. NiP taking this one very, very cautiously. Exists just going to peek out mid, see what he can find with a pop flash. So he's cleared out any early danger. If they want to fall back into a mid to B split, he's at least discovered there's no one behind that door. And really, with this kind of control, NiP's hoping someone from Cloud9 will come investigating mid, because Forrest was posted up on catwalk with that AWP. Now look, delayed walkout mid, so this is going to be an explosive tactic. They can op into CT spawn, they can drop a smoke very quickly as well if they'd like.
Forrest is going to find the first kill here against Shroud, though. Isolates the pressure. And is back over there, back inside of CT spawn. Now they move in, and Stewie has found 2 big kills, but he'll be taken down by Forrest here. Skadoodle trying to see if he can catch any of them above the edge of the smoke, but it is not to be found. And as well, with nothing way back over there on top, and unless you can get that kill in the Forest, this is just not going to be plausible. And more than likely, we'll see the save come out from the last 2 members on C9. I think good timing on the flashbang there. We push Forrest back in his side, and Skadoodle's going to get that kill, so hold on. The round may not be over just yet. They're going to push themselves up and see what they can do. Limited utility for them, that will be the problem. And Skadoodle, he was able to spot Get Right, but he's being sprayed down through the box. He responds, though. Takes about just as much life off, but when nothing pushes up to the window, he will be immediately shut down. Nothing, though, gets the kill against Get Right. He walks into the Molotov, and now it's into a 1v1. Skadoodle's going for this, taps onto the bomb. That's not going to bait Makalele out of it at all, and the missed shot, and he even misses the door too. Thankfully, we'll still be able to escape outside without taking any more hits. But this round is most certainly going into the hands of NiP.
You saw Skadoodle concede the round in the 1-on-2, and he was right to it. I don't think he had a chance of winning that. But the Molotov killing Get Right turns him right back around. So close for Cloud9, doing their best, but I mean, really, the opening of that round is what seals it. NiP with great tactic, and that's is what we talk about on the desk and analysts. I know Sponge mentioned it the other day, actually watching Cloud9, is how you set up an opera, and that walking out mid, clearing everything, having control, and throwing the Molotov towards CT spawn behind the box that forces, I believe that was Shroud, out into the open for Makalele to pick him off. That's how you set up an opera. Use your utility to get him a kill, put him in position, and find a way to flush out your opponents into the crosshair, and they did it beautifully that round.
It's another round for NiP, of course, with things being taken slowly, and Cloud9 back down onto another eco, but these ecos have proven rather dangerous, regardless of how heavily they have bought into them, and they've got the boost up for Skadoodle here now. Let's see if they can net anything with that, but it'll be a long time before we see anything coming into fruition. He's boosted up back over here, over on the cat area, and they've got 2 players watching out for any mid-aggression, too. Both of them posted up, that's nothing at automatic, working together to stop any of the pressure. They've completely abandoned B. for the time being now. Stewie sitting just outside of the door. He's able to help out, and there you go. There's the power of the boost up there. Immediately destroys Exist, and it's a bit dangerous too, because you can see Exist was waiting for that, but the shot doesn't come in quickly enough for him. Manages to take him down, and the guys from C9 once again have the 5-on-4 advantage.
Yeah, Scudo's going to have to be mobile with this AWP, though. He's going to have to be all over the place. Michael-Aile's going to be in mid. Stewie's pushing upper B, so look at the intel. I mean, you can see there's 3 players over towards the A bomb site. Automatic's leaning that way, just watching mid for now. When does he decide to commit towards the A bomb site? I'm not quite sure. Shroud's going to come back and meet up with him. They want to do some mid push. They want to have either a quick flank on Catwalk, but nothing's going to be spotting long, and it's going to be all on Skadoodle with the only AWP. And Michael-Aile watching mid. He spots Automatic, and he can't respond in time. Stewie's going to flank him. But it's really down to Skadoodle here as Michael comes up Catwalk. There's the peek, misses the shot. Shroud inside the smoke is delaying. There goes Skadoodle with 1 kill, but he falls. 2 players very low. Nothing at Stewie, each get 1. Again, NiP is going to fall to a very weak buy. Just pistols and 1 AWP, and Get Right has to get this bomb planted. Shroud is going to clean things up, leaping over the box.
And with that, another eco goes into the hands of Cloud9, having only the power of the op that was sitting on Skadoodle. He nets himself 2 kills on that round, one off of a very nice boost that Exist was not able to punish in time, and that is going to give Cloud9 their match point here. NiP, they've got enough cash to force into this one, but only 2 players really have enough money to go for a full buy here. It's about 3K or less for everyone else on the team. Michael-Aile is going to pick up a scout buy with armor, but for Forest and Freiburg, they can only afford Tech 9s.
I mean, NiP, when they look back at this VOD or this demo, they're going to be kicking themselves because they've lost both pistol rounds and still put themselves in situations to win this, but they've lost 2 or 3 rounds against just pistols. I mean, they clean that up. They don't lose those rounds, and it doesn't matter that they've lost both pistol rounds because they more than likely win the match anyways. Execution through the smoke, Automatic completely blind, but they have no idea he's here. There he is. He lurks so perfectly. He gets 2 kills. That's the bomb as well. 3 on 3. But Automatic has bought just a little bit of time.
Taking a nice hit the bomb one more time here. Skadoodle, he's going to find that shot. It goes down onto the ground again, and they've got to challenge Skadoodle once more. Seems they've evaded him a little bit there, so they will be able to get the plant, but it's going to be a 2 versus 3 to decide this map here and whether NiP gets to battle forward. They need to win 6 straight, including this one, to be able to take this into overtime. Now, Cloud9, they're knocking at the gates. They've still got smokes. The first one just being deployed. They're ready to already go back into this site, boxing themselves out, preventing the players on backplat from being able to do anything. There's no one there from NiP. They're holding close to the tunnels. That's Get Right's job, and Michael-Aile down below the box. He cannot watch out for the door pressure, and he gives himself away. Get Right, however, he's found the first kill. Shroud pushing back in. Him and Skadoodle are going to find those final 2 kills, and Cloud9 are going to shut this one down. 16-9 is going to be the final score, and they take this match going up 3-1 in the group.
Automatic with virtually a hard carry in this match for so much of it is at the end that everyone else kind of steps up. Shroud, Stewie have good games. Skadoodle even finding some impact there at the end, but really, I mean, you look at some of these rounds, this was much stronger as a team from Cloud9. The retake there at the end beautifully used their utility. 1 smoke into the B tunnels, 1 smoke into the back plat to prevent any opera there from having, or anyone there from having any impact, and a string of flashbangs over the wall to end it. So really nicely played match from Cloud9.
29-13 is the final KD from Automatic, sitting a little bit lower to that is Shroud at 21-14, and then it's a very short fall off from that for most of them. Stewie's at 20, Nothing's down at 18, Skadoodle down at 11, but even he had his moments too on the ecos there. One of the last ones, I think, just about 2 rounds ago with the op there. He was picking up those kills, able to use that with the boost, and then he picks up 1 more on the site. So even he's contributing a little bit here and there too to make sure that Cloud9 takes control of these very important matchups.
You know, there's two members of our desk that are going to be so incredibly tilted. That's going to be Yanko, that's going to be Sponge, the former professional players watching NiP drop 2 to 3 rounds against pistols. I mean, you're not going to win matches like that. And I know, I mean, that's a trigger point, I think, for everyone, especially someone like Sponge, who's a former in-game leader, is going to be so frustrated. And what's crazy to think about is NiP, when Threat initially came in, this was the team, this was the model team for how to play anti-ecos. At the time, they were barely losing any of them. They were being very, very safe in them, and they were just so good at maintaining all their weaponry, of not putting themselves in danger on those rounds. And here we just saw an utter collapse, the complete opposite of that.
All right, guys, well, looks like we have the analyst desk waiting to break down this game. Let's take it over to them to discuss a little bit more of the action.
Thank you very much there, the Bold Eagle and Little Old Blue. Here we go. It is going to be C9. Congratulations, Jordan, you loud man. YNK and Sponge resided to talk through this one, and I mean, yes, the night may be getting a little later, but still, that did indeed seem to have some sort of impact, as NiP did give us a little glimmer of the magic, unable to close things out, and I think we have to start with a 3-letter word. YNK. And it's not that one. It's ECO. Eco. What on earth is going on there? I think the casters suggested it or hinted at it already. You two must have been pulling your hair out watching some of those rounds.
Oh yeah, I was definitely very, very shaken by and very moved by those losses of ecos. That's something I really do not appreciate in the game of Counter-Strike. I feel those are the rounds where you actually just need to play disciplined, not anything too special, and you will take
we've
that
got some
one
highlights to
in
see
the
them.
bag.
Yeah, we get to see some eco
Yeah, this
rounds.
was even a 5v4, as you can tell. No armor, nice little flash. Stewie does just Stewie things, gets 2 kills. Still a 3v2, 2 ops, of course. You can just group up, wait for them to push. Obviously, they want to make something happen, but yet again, Skadoodle just poking and prodding, nothing. Utilizes the confusion, gets another cheeky kill. Now it's a 2v2.
No Kevlar at this point as well.
No Kevlar at any point. It's not like a gun, you can't pick it up, Alex. If they didn't have it, that's an eco round.
I mean,
getting hysterical,
as in
aren't
we
we?
saw NiP pick up a Glock round where they had 1 Kevlar as well. I mean, it went both ways.
This is not even the only eco round they lost. So combine 2 eco round losses, 2 pistol round losses, Alex, and your chances of winning the game are slim to none.
Some of the rounds, though, like, so some of them, they had saved orbs going into it, and Stu was able to grab a couple of picks with it, with Skadoodle getting it. So they weren't, like, full ecos in that regard, but it looked like NiP tried aggressive stuff, and then they still struggled, and then they did the discipline stuff, and they were also struggling. So no matter what approach they had, they were still being plagued by that aggressive pistol style and the orb saves from Cloud9, which, you know, it's good that they were making something of nothing, but that just shows to me that they were relatively in control of that game. There was a strong first half from them, automatic, putting up big numbers and getting it done.
I mean, the only 4 rounds that NiP won were all diffuses, so that tells you that it wasn't even a clean round that they would win. They had to fight for it till the very end.
Truly they did, and you can of course take an opportunity to appreciate this wonderful stage set up here in the Sao Paulo arena. You can even see that Cloud9 will be playing again, in case you were wondering. If you did enjoy some North American Counter-Strike, you're going to be seeing a whole lot more of it as they're going to be going up against Dignitas next. That's going to be our next game on the main stage. We're going to have 2 games played simultaneously alongside that on
3
broadcast. Well, 2 alongside that.
Oh, okay, sorry, Alex.
It's okay, Yanko.
It's getting late.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody's getting at each other's throats. Can we just be mates?
Yeah.
Definitely
As in old
not.
mates? Old mates?
Old mates.
Yeah, that's what they say in Serbia.
They don't say that
They
in
don't
Serbia
say
at
that in
all.
Serbia.
No,
Definitely
no.
not. Oh, there we are.
Hello.
I haven't looked this
like
good
this.
in ages.
Oh, we're having a whale of a time.
No, we are descending into darkness.
whale of a time.
We are actually descending into darkness.
29 frags
Hello,
for...
darkness, my old friend.
There it is. Mate, we got a button for you this time.
Sorry, I'm just in epicenter mode. All right, guys.
I want to be in epicenter
The lights
mode.
are back on, and we are going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, Cloud9 and Dignitas will be our final game of the evening. It may have been a long one, but there's no doubt that Dignitas are going to be chomping at the bit to show us what they're made of after conceding that loss earlier on today versus SK. We're back after the break to see more.
Get hyped.
Opens up the plant potential. Watch Kenny drop down. Hit 6 hits up. 1v1 spotted up. Oh, Kenny!
Once again, very quickly, they tried it before, then I picked shutdown time after time again. Automatic!
This ATV got 2. Goes for a shot. That's smart. Does get Skadoodle. Jumps up. Still a bit of time on this. It's going to be a 10-second defuse. He's got to hit the shot right now. Oh my God, Fallen!
Ooh, we're back. We're back.
Jesus Christ. All right, kid, go trick-or-treating. Cloud9.
Halloween's in 2 days, Moses.
Listen, Cloud9 is just going to no subtlety, no strategy, just a flat-out B-rush, and MSL handling it with Magis. They have 2 kills right now. They've slowed this down entirely. And now Rubino's in on the action. Shroud with the whip there, and he gets another one. There's some good shots, and he can't convert on the Magis. It's down to nothing. 27 HP, and MSL's not going to let him do a single thing. So good defense on this B bomb site. And I believe we've seen 2 Mirage matches today where the B rushes were successful, so it is good to see Dignitas stop it there.
Dignitas going to be taking control of things early on here, of course, and Cloud9 not even getting close to that one, of course. So in theory, we could expect the buy-up to come in on this next round, but it actually is looking rather light. At the moment, just the Deagle investments across the board, pretty much everyone, actually. So take a look at it there. Stewie, automatic, nothing, is buying up a P250 and a little bit of utility out of the mix there too, and Shroud going for the Deagle buy as well. So very, very, very light in this second. We'll see how it pans out, as it's pretty much going to be directly over to that A-bomb site.
Yeah, only smoke flash onto nothing, so he's going to be coming up. They want these Deagles to do some work. Magisk has got to be a little bit careful. He's on top of the whatever that's called. I'm losing it. He's right outside of Palace, and he's waiting around the corner. So Shroud and Skiddle here waiting for just a moment. Config and Cajun B here. This is a good read from Dignitas, but Stewie could be the one wrench in the plans, as he's going to be able to come up connector, and he's not been spotted yet. There's one shot. Now they know he's there. Automatic's falling, and Stewie can do nothing. The aim punch is a little bit too powerful. So Skiddle and Shroud held off by a smoke, so that's a good delay tactic from Dignitas.
Magic's Boy going to be wrapping around, and look at that aggression, just instantly shuts down the bomb. Nothing. Skadoodle tries to push himself out onto the platform there, and gets instantly wrecked by Config. And for Shroud, well, there's not really a whole lot that he can do here. He's going to just have to sit back and hope that someone comes in his direction, but more than likely that's not going to happen, and this is very obviously going to be an easy second round for the Dignitas team.
Yeah, and this is a phenomenal start, because we saw how effective Cloud9's force buys or pistol buys were in the previous match against NiP, winning about 3 of them. So here Dignitas at least starts out not losing a single member, no economic damage taken. So really, really nice, clean start from Dignitas in these first 2 rounds. And this time Cloud9, there's not really anything they can do. They don't want to invest too much. Skidoodle has 3,400 right now, so he's going to have the AWP in the next round. So it's pretty much save up and have something strong. But look at this, 4 smokes, 2 flashes. I think just 2 upgraded pistols, no armor. They just want to get the bomb planted. So that's the big goal here, that $800. And if they can do it, that would be monstrous effort from them. And actually, there's an opportunity, because it's only Magisk holding the site, and I mean that's a formidable single opponent to have to go through. But still, a little bit of a light defense here for Dignitas.
And Magic's Boy is going to be first up to bat yet again now as they all start to push him. But he'll have support from his teammates pretty quickly here too. Cajun already trying to watch out for some of it. Members of Cloud9's been tagged pretty heavily there, and down they go. Config and Magic's Boy just ripping him to shreds at this point. Skadoodle chopping him with at least 1 kill, and Shroud is hunting for 1 too. He actually edges off the headshot, and they managed to plant the bomb, so it's all not lost in this round. They accomplished quite a bit there. I mean, 2 frags and the extra money from the bomb plant.
Yeah, they accomplished everything they wanted to, which was that bomb plant, like we've said. 2 kills is a little bit of icing on the cake, but still not a huge deal in terms of the grand scheme of the economy of Dignitas. So here comes the first gun round. Cloud9 going to try and get on the board, but enough money has been built up for Dignitas. They have just a couple of rebuys, but they're still going to have a pretty strong economy, all things considered, keeping the UMP on MSL, the 2 Famas on Rubino and Magisk. So they've got players. I mean, Rubino is 7,100 right now, MSL is 5,200, and Magisk has 4,100. So no matter what happens, the next round there's going to be a decently strong buy out of Dignitas.
Now we are going to see Rubino again waiting himself out towards mid to see if we can grab it from C9 back beyond the smoke over here, but it's not going to be the case. KGB also starting to sneak out a little bit too, but nothing to be seen here. There's actually quite a large presence from Cloud9, but they haven't really moved in. But in a moment, of course, they'll still be going for this control. Stewie's pushed into the apartments, but we also do have Shroud, I believe, back down over here. Yep, in the underpass, waiting to get his chance to move in with these guys and get the control, which they can use to get really on either side here.
This is a good defense. Stewie finds that opening kill. That's on MSL. It's going to force Cajun back from Catwalk. It's going to alleviate some of the pressure. There's Shroud with a good find. He is traded off, but he's done his job. Cajun's got a lot of work to do. Automatic nothing. Skadoodle streaming up Catwalk, and he's out in the open. He's caught. Rubino's going to be rotating, but it's not going to be quick enough. And he's only got a Famas to boot anyway, so this is going to be a round for C9, especially there's the exclamation point. Skadoodle dropping Magisk. And Rubino's the last one left. Good round from C9. The opening from Stewie really opens up that B bomb site. So, I mean, that was actually an interesting round. I wanted to comment before the action started. Didn't get a chance, but we'll watch here. They're going to check this out. There's a good kill. Can Rubino get anything else done? Dropping that flashbang. Just Just going to try and save this AK-47. So an upgrade from the Famous. He's got nothing coming behind him. But that was a change up in the defense from Dignitas. When we saw them play phase on this just yesterday, it was much more that they gave up mid control pretty much for free the majority of the time. You know, we commented so many times that there was just a lot of respect being given, and FaZe could do pretty much whatever they want with that mid control. This time we see 3 players aggressively defending it. Now they do get picked off, they do get killed, but at least we're seeing a change in the philosophy of this defense.
Looks like Arena remains safe, so he is able to scavenge that AK into the next round, of course. But now we are going to have to see what else in the Dignitas guys can bring to the table. And thankfully, it's quite a bit. Their next investment is not a problem at all. Cloud9, of course, back onto the buys themselves. And they will be looking just as strong as they try to round this comeback and immediately tie it up so that they can take the lead away. Try to steal Mirage, who... Again, this has been an interesting tale over the past couple of months, too, with Cloud9. Just when you look at this map in general, go back to around April of this year and May even, this tended to be a pretty weak map for them, especially when it came to T-sides, but they've had this somewhat dramatic transformation, and it's almost gone in the opposite direction now to be a fairly strong one for them.
Here's that mid-control from Cloud9. 5 rifles on the board for Dignitas. No AWP. Shroud close up towards connector. Again, it looks like Cloud9 working this mid-control into a catwalk pressure, but Smoke's holding them off for the moment. The big scary part is config and how this smoke is going to affect it when it fades. He's just going to go right through it. That's a pop flash, but it's not that effective. Skittle's brought down to 8. So he's got to be a little bit careful, but he can stay far back with that AWP. He just needs to pass off the bomb so he doesn't risk getting naded on his way into the sights.
Now we are going to see Cloud9 with that control. They need to transition into the line of sights, but they're still spread out across the map. There's going to be the first ticket to it, though. Automatic moving in, takes out Rubino. That's ladder control that they've gained. And again, though, their ticket's open really to either side. And look at what this was Stewie, too, sneaking all the way out. There's no pressure at all. In fact, the closest thing we have to is Magic's Boy that snuck back out over here in a T-ramp, and Stewie suspects this. Doesn't mean he can get the kill, though. Magic's Boy and Cajun are able to hold things back over at the T-ramp and inside of the window room there. So all of a sudden, they put that pressure off of the A side, but Cloud9 are still gunning for it. They've sent another player into the ladder room, is going to push back in, but Magic's Boy, nicely done. 2 instant frags from him against Shroud and nothing, and it falls to automatic now on the 1v3.
Yeah, that's a beautiful play for Magic's Boy, and Cloud9's got to be used to this. This is what Magic's Boy does. He likes to get aggressive out of the ramp and find positioning, and it's a nice shot, but it traded immediately. We have a pause from Cloud9. I'm not sure if it's technical or tactical, but you know, this is something that all teams have to start realizing Magic's Boy is going to do. This is one of his big plays on this map, is getting down onto that ramp on top of that flower point immediately to the right, and you know, catches people off guard. He can get aggressive when he chooses to. He's gaining so much information for his team, letting them focus elsewhere, and Stewie gets caught off guard a little bit by it. So that's something that they're going to have to keep in mind next time they want to come back towards this A bomb site, and it is technical pause, not a technical pause.
Rip.
So all good things.
All right, guys. So we'll get that fixed, obviously, as soon as we can. But Cloud9 getting upset there after picking up their first round. Certainly not going to be looking good to keep themselves in good terms, of course. And after that one, money not really looking so great, of course. So with that reset just now coming in,
This is sick from Magic's Boy. This second kill is so wonderful, because you can see kind of like half peek, it's a little bit of a shoulder peek, and then he's finding himself in cover, and he still manages to get the kill. So it's a really low risk fight to take.
very little chance of getting knocked out there with the good angle that's being played. But then obviously automatic placing basically an impossible situation. So good sort of counter maneuver from those guys too. And Magic's Boy, who I believe was the player that moved out on the T-ramp too, wins that battle as Stewie tries to push himself over there and really allow Cloud9 to get full control. But it's that overextension, that overreach that ends up being the doom of them. As unfortunately, instead of letting those players sit in the back there and wait for the retake, they move out and so they weaken themselves. I don't even think they end up finding a plant in that one. Nah, they don't even end up getting a plant there. So Cloud9 will find themselves in a bit of an awkward situation as far as their buy is concerned here for the 6th round.
Yep, technical pause resolved. Cajun with the AWP in window room. There's that top mid smoke that's... Oh, wow. Stewie, nice shot from him. Drops Cajun. I believe that had to have been through the smoke, just knowing the angle. So really smart play from him. He gets the opening kill again for Cloud9. And can they capitalize? The last round they got 2 picks, and then they weren't able to convert that into a win. Kind of got peeled apart after that. Config, the next one up, picks up the AWP, and Shroud finds him. So, again, a 5-on-3 advantage. This time, Cloud9 definitely cannot let this one go. And here's the danger. Magic's Boy, again, aggressive on that A ramp, of course, all the way already in T spawn. And the bomb is all alone in B halls. If Magic's Boy goes up into B halls, he could end this pretty much before it begins, but he's got the flank mid, and he's not going to be able to find anything. They're all the way up catwalk. It's all on MSL. Who gets 1 kill? Can't get more than that in this flank. It looked promising, but the rest of Dignitas can't delay the hit long enough for it to come to fruition.
And also, too, he has the large chance of getting cut off by Shroud. Is watching for this exact maneuver. Very well played by him. Shuts it down, prevents any further losses on Cloud9's side, and they get through that one really clean, too, knocking out Dignitas, and I think that is going to break them. Yeah, they've got no money left to work with here, so they're going on to the save, and now Cloud9 instantly resuming their chances for a comeback off of that one as we go into an eco for Dignitas. As you see, not much investment on this round.
Yeah, I mean, they've just been a little bit, I mean, they're actually pretty, I mean, knowing that this is going to be a double save, they're actually pretty heavily, I mean, Cajun has decent money, 3,000, so he'll be able to have the AWP in the next one. Imagine at 1,600, but everyone else is pretty much bought out. They're going to get aggressive into Palace. 2 players here for Cloud9. Is the aggression actually going to come in, or are they just going to chill? Magus Boy on top of the balcony again. This time it's a little bit more of an aggressive angle. And he's going to walk right into Automatic, who cannot convert the kill. He gets taken out, but there's the trade. Nothing. There's one more underneath. He's got to be careful. Waiting for the rest of his teammates to go up ramp. Shroud got to clear underneath the balcony, and Shroud gets dicked immediately. He's taken out. Is the trade going to come in? Stewie does find one, but Cajun is still alive underneath until finally nothing and Stewie. They secure the site until one more kill for MSL. A nice shot with the dealer.
MSL still hunting as well for the players putting the bomb on the ground. Shots not hitting when they need to, and at this point, really looking for a Nuke crouch out from that left side of the boxes here, but it won't be found. And MSL, as he moves forward here, he'll have to watch out for the player on his left. He knows he's there, but he doesn't know exactly where he's positioned, whether it's in Sandwich or up on Tetris. Spots it, but it's a little bit too late, and nothing is going to be able to shut things down from inside of that position there. Cloud9 shutting down another round. Of course, still not back into this one just yet, as Dignitas have a decision to make in front of them as to whether they go for it here, but I don't imagine they're going to be doing so. Just half buys, and just why I think investing a little bit more as he can afford it at this point.
Yeah, him and Cajun had a little bit more money than everyone else, so he picks up the UMP, which can also get him some bonus money, and then Cajun needs 5-7 in armor just to see if there's anything that can come from this. Rubino gets tagged up, I believe that was from Skadoodle at top mid, and it was. This time Cloud9, 3 players going to come out Palace. Magus Boy again pushing A ramp. This is so many rounds he's done it, and again he catches him off guard, but the rest of the kills coming in for Cloud9. Stewie, nice adjustment. That's sick. He was about to fall there, just one more second, and he would have been a goner. But again, Magus Boy pushing down A ramp finds more success.
MSL sneaking out here to see if he can find any additional players, really just to pick off. There's not anything to be lost, obviously, by going down, so he'll make the attempt. A valiant one it shall be, but he'll go down pretty quickly there. Automatic finding the final kill, and Cloud9 is walking over that round. Stewie and Automatic picking up the kills once again, but now the investment comes back in. Interestingly, though, there's no op in play for Dignitas. Their money, as we saw just based on those last 2 rounds, is in a really delicate spot right now, so they're only going to be able to afford the rifles this time.
Yeah, no AWP, that's going to be tough. And only 1 kit as well, which, I mean, with Mirage, some of the strategy you can employ on the defensive side, the retakes are very popular and very useful at times, depending on the situation. So with only 1 kit, you have to be careful about committing to a retake tactic. This time, Cloud9, Stewie, I mean, they're really employing this 4-1, pretty much a high-density attack in 1 location and just 1 lurker. Stewie's going to be aggressive up mid, and it's going to be 4 Cloud9 members coming through Palace, and you've got to be cautious. So 1 to the right. Are they going to check an MSL? He gets the first kill. Continues to spray, hoping for more, and he does. He gets it. Almost a third, but can't find that. Stewie up catwalk, though. He helps open things up. Config's already here. This is the next danger, and he falls as well. Stewie continuing the pressure, but the remaining 2 members are here already.
Cajun B has been hit by one of the op shots coming out from Skadoodle there too. With MSL lost there, ran out of ammo completely, so wasn't able to hold inside of the apartments any longer. Now Cloud9, they'll get full control, and Dignitas, they won't be able to recontest the bomb site, so they're falling back, but at the same time, Stewie's aware of this. He snuck back over here inside of the connector now. He's going to try to challenge it, but Magus Boy holding back here. The timing on his peek is perfect. As soon as Stewie fires up a volley, it was exactly where he's positioned, so it's a free peek, a free kill. They knock on another one for the Cloud9 roster, although it's going to be a round for this T side here. The 2 still up and running for Dignitas will most definitely be able to save these rifles.
Huge impact for Stewie in that round with those 2 kills. And also, I like the decision a lot for him to chase. Keep going for more. I mean, they got to know that the Dignitas economy is so incredibly low. Any guns they can take away at the end there would have been huge. And you can't hunt with the AWP on Skadoodle. You want him to have that weapon, and you don't want to give it away. And Shroud had 10 HP, so Stewie is the only one who could really go chasing. Unfortunately, he doesn't find anything. And it's a tactical, not a technical pause that's coming out now. For Dignitas, as they find themselves in a hole pretty quickly. It was a 4-1 run for them, and now it's a 4-1 run, or a 1-4 run for Cloud9, or 4-1 run for Cloud9. That's a lot of numbers that I just mixed up.
It's way too late for that.
Yep. Yeah, and Dignitas does have this tactical pause. So we're going to, I don't know. The adjustment's going to be a little bit rough because now, I mean, they showed that they wanted to put some pressure on mid early on, and now, I mean, Cloud9 hitting each of the bomb sites from the extremities. That's gonna make Dignitas think a little bit. So, MSL always touted for his in-game leadership and his ability to lead this team in a tactical sense. He's gonna get tested here now.
All right, guys, we're back into things here now, and we'll take a look and see if Dignitas can throw anything back at the Cloud9 offense, which is showing up really strong now at this point. And again, we are seeing some of the members of Cloud9 find their stride. Automatic, not necessarily being the huge carry that he was to a certain sense in that last map, but Stewie currently leading the way for this team. Both Shroud and Automatic, who were obviously consistent fragging forces, also bringing their best to the table. Cloud9 trying to go for that fast top mid control, but it doesn't work out. Config in his position, back down below there a little bit. On the aggressive push out, is able to do some great damage, knocking out Automatic, and also from the window position, Shroud is brought down to 17 HP. There's been no response whatsoever from the Cloud9 roster, so with that, they're going to hold great control of the early round here, and there's Magic's Boy shutting out Stewie as he tries to push his way outside of Palace, and nothing if he proceeds forward too. And he also get knocked out in a moment here.
He's the only one really coming up A ramp. And there it is. Gets a nice pick, but he's got to do more. There's two players here. Oh, what a recovery. Oh, can't get the third, though. That's a little bit unfortunate. Nothing makes a huge play. Shroud coming up connector. He's got low HP. One on the other side. He knows that he's spamming through, but not dealing the damage, not finding the kill. Skittle with the ult. He can do nothing as Shroud is taken out from behind, and he misses that shot. Tech9 out. That's a nice little untap on MSL, but the rest of Dignitas swarms, and there's an AWP.
Are back into it immediately after that one now. Money for C9, though, Scootle's thinking like 10K. They should easily have enough to be able to buy back into this one. I don't think they're done just yet, and we'll go into the save, and that question will be answered very quickly, as you can see now by the investments rolling in there. So Cloud9 at least one more buy to put forward here to try and stop Dignitas from retaking control of the lead here. But a quick, close game, and this most certainly favors Cloud9 with it being on Mirage, of course, and with the CT side generally being favored here. If they can keep it as competitive as it is now, and of course bring as strong of a CT side as they did on the last map, then things are certainly going to look their way as we switch sides and go into that second half.
Cloud9 has had a lot of success coming up catwalk, hitting this B bomb site, splitting it. This time it's going to be nothing, a little bit more aggressive, and catches that flashbang with his teeth. Hopefully it's not an HE grenade. Using the Molotov, going to try and do some damage. MSL, as he likes to do, playing behind the smoke. This B bomb site. But it's mid-control for Cloud9, so the goal for them is what can they leverage from this? What can they make happen? They've had some success in the past. This time, though, it seems to be a different animal as Dignitas playing passive isn't giving them anything.
Cloud9 pushing themselves forward up to the cat push now. And we still have Stewie in the position in Palace, too, so nothing's been decided just yet, but they're all out of utility for the most part here now. Stewie and Skadoodle just have the two Molotovs left to work with, clearing out one or two spots on these sites. They have nothing left to really get themselves inside and make sure they find the plan. And after an initial peek from Skadoodle, they're boosted up on top of the rocks. They decide to follow back and go into the A site, but they don't isolate Rubino, so he's able to pick up those two kills, and Magic's Boy on the site hasn't been touched at all. Granted, he only finds one, but still, it's evenly traded. It goes into a 2v2, and there's fast rotates already on the way from Dignitas. Cage and B is trying to make sure there's nobody going for the peek back over there in the window room in jungle, and well, there is, so MSL is going to grab that kill. That's Skadoodle being knocked down by MSL, and it's just nothing here now in the 1v2, but he plays it aggressively, goes up on top, and that brings Cage and B down very, very low, just to 15 HP, but he now has to fall back down the T ramp and let Dignitas out a little bit here, see if he can edge out a bit of an angle advantage as these players, as they cross over to the site, but won't be finding it, gets the peek there, but little does he know, there's one already on the bomb, and it's going to be Cage and B himself that shuts things down and secures the round for Dignitas.
So good by Cage and B playing the bait. I love the decision from Nothing in that 1-2. Get aggressive. He had a chance to get that kill, a little bit more luck his way, and he does bring that into a 1-on-1, but either way, deals massive damage to Cage and B to get an advantage, at least in that fight. But Cage did such a good job of just baiting out the shots, peeking with his teammate. Really, really well played for him not to get picked off there. Cloud9 with that plant, they're going to have another buy. It's 3 AKs, 1 Galil, and a Tech9 on Skadoodle. Meanwhile, on the Dignitas side of things, the economy is still not strong, but they're able to bring out a good buy here.
Cloud9 are going to proceed forward a lot more aggressively over here into the apartments area, the back B halls here. At the beginning of the map as they have, and normally it's just been Stewie or one of the others leading the charge, but they've got 3 committed to it, and one of them is going to split up a little bit here. It's going to be Shroud heading over into the underpass, grouping up with the other two that are taking top mid control. And again, Dignitas as well, completely split away from it. They're focusing 100% on the sites. MSL and Rubino playing over towards B and almost entirely on the apartments there too. Rubino peeking back and forth to watch out for an Arches push over on Cat. And then the other 3 back over on the A site too, watching for aggression in there. But it seems like Cloud9 have not been met with any aggression. They've got an open field to choose either site here. It's about picking the right one and being able to isolate the rotations from either team here, especially with them being as split up as they are.
Looks like they're going back to, you know, what worked for them, a B split onto the site. Cajun finds a kill. That's from A, so there's still 2 defenders here. They've got to make do. Rubino and MSL, they have a nice crossfire setup. This is not going to work. This is a phenomenal defense from Dignitas, starting with Cajun and finishing with MSL. A nice hold, 7-5, that tactical pause. We mentioned it, MSL as the in-game leader. A lot of praise for him, and once again, he's made the necessary adjustments.
MSL is the only player that even really gets injured there too, down to like 50 HP, but beyond that, it's essentially a flawless round. So good stuff from them to close it out, and that puts Cloud9 onto a hard eco as it seems here. Some of them are able to afford up to a half buy at the last moment there. It's automatic mainly along with Shroud, but everybody else just picking up their pistol and buying little tidbits of utility here and there. But it's a very decisive round once again now. They'll all move in to the back B halls. It seems like they are going to try to push this as quickly as possible. Dignitas still only having 2 players here, and one of them flushing back over there to the cat area. So MSL is going to be the first point of contact whenever Cloud9 chooses to initiate here.
MSL has the information, a little bit blind, but at least he's going to get, I mean, he spots that from so far away. The rotations are going to come in. Either way, no armor, no real arsenal, no weaponry to work with. Cloud9's just going to get mowed down until Shroud silences him, but still, really not a whole lot left they can do. They would love to get, even if you could just do economic damage at this point, it's all gravy, but so far it's not looking like it's going to happen. Although Skadoodle does add 1 more, and Cajun almost gets brought down as well, but an 8th for Dignitas as they go on a little bit of a streak here, a 4-round run for them. And now we see the tactical pause from Cloud9. Finally, they do not have a tactical pause.
So, them finally using one of their tactical pauses here too. Clearly, they were using previously has not been the case anymore. And as we go into the last 2 rounds, they need to make sure that they keep it to the competitive degree as it was back when it was tied around like 5-5 and 1 up. From that point forward, it's been Dignitas just shutting things down. So if they can make this up to 8-7, it's still an absolutely phenomenal half from C9. But if this ends up going like 10-5 or even 9-6, it would be a very, very serious decline from what we were seeing even just a few rounds ago.
Yeah, I mean the tough part for Cloud9 now. This is where all the weaknesses come in, right? Without the experienced leadership, without a coach, is we've always talked about. You know, a little bit of a smaller playbook. What can they actually? They do a lot with that small of a playbook. But the big thing now is, you know, they started out with success towards the B bomb site. Then they've tried a little bit slower, some things towards A, and all of that got shut down. Now they've gone back to B, and that too is now stopped by Dignitas. So they really have to figure something out here. What it's going to work? How are they going to change things? Is it going to be more aggression from Stewie? Is it going to be some kind of a, you know, tell your stars to go make a play? Is it going to try and set Skadoodle up to find a pick? It will be interesting.
Well, we should be getting it unpaused here right about now as both teams are ready to resume the action. That has turned itself into a little bit of a technical pause there, but it seems like the issue
and everyone holds their breath
was fixed in under a minute. So I think it's the quickest one yet.
Not too shabby.
Better at it.
Plenty of utility on both of these sides, obviously. Dignitas just all the money built up And Cloud9 for the moment. Stewie alone towards the A bomb site. The bomb is dropped towards T-spawn as well. And Automatic and Skidoodle, it's going to be their job to get mid control. Config is here, but he doesn't challenge anything. As soon as that smoke at top catwalk goes out, he just falls away. 4 smokes on the map already, and that's just to kind of secure positioning for both teams.
We do have Rubino, of course, sitting up on top in the ladder room here, waiting to see if he can catch into that pressure moving in from underpass. It's a bit of a consistent theme with Shroud specifically moving out from there and slowly using that to gain ground, but he's going to be first contact again to try and stop some of that. Won't be present, though, since he's been smoked off, so he just kind of falls back over there towards the ladder room, and we'll wait Cloud9 to eventually make the hit happen. But beyond this, again, bomb still a little bit outside. There's Rubino, though. Quick strike as he has to change his position slightly, but it does net him the kill into Automatic, and I think that's going to completely kill the B-side pressure. They're immediately switching this over to an A hit, even sending Skidoodle all the way back over to T-spawn to group up with the T-ramp group here.
Not that we should be surprised, but Rubino in these past few rounds has a great impact. That kill there to open things up, and a couple rounds back, coming through that murder hole and getting a double kill as Cloud9 tried to stream up connector. So he's doing a very good job. Cajun's next one tested, and he wins it. Passes that test with flying colors, but he's got more. There goes Config. It's a 4-on-3. Dignitas trying to keep Cloud9 from entering into this bomb site, and look how passive Cloud9 is being. Dignitas is being just so patient with this, with the man advantage, but Shroud gets one more. There's Rubino. Manages still alive inside the bomb site. He can only get one. Good trading from Cloud9 as they enter in, and it's nothing again in a 1-on-2, but this time he's shut down quickly by MSL. And Dignitas are looking to end this half strong.
Good stuff from MSL so far in this match as well. It's a little bit, the config, I should say, has been a little bit more quiet than we've seen in some of the previous matches, but MSL stepped up to account for that in huge regard, especially over on the B bomb site where he has been playing out a little bit. Rotating in there, of course, able to help out with shutting down Cloud9 and being a big key component in ensuring that they keep this lead as strong as it is right now. Cloud9 on the last round, they're buying. Yeah, I mean, they're going to scrape together everything they can, of course, but nothing in Shroud along with Stewie, the only players that can even get rifles, and Stewie is just forcing himself up there. Automatic and Skidoodle, of course, can't even afford the rifles, so downgraded to pistols. This is going to be a little bit rough, and I mean, look at how aggressively, as we have it on the screen now, Magic Boy is up against the wall here on the T-ramp. He's just going to wait for them to go directly in and see what he can shut out. As soon as he sees the utility rolling in there, he's going to play a smoke, and that holds them back for a few seconds. They don't suspect a thing. One kill, can't chain the second one together, however, as nothing's going to be able to trade that back out. Shroud picking up a second as they move into the bomb site. All of a sudden, things not looking so great for Dignitas, but there's Config and Shroud. Instant taps on a Config. Doesn't even know where he found that from. They're moving into the site. Stewie, in the meantime, jumping into the smokes as he's known for. Takes down Cajun B. It's just left to MSL. He's rotated, but he's got such bad positioning to actually do any damage against these players. He's got one stuck back over there in the trip stack, but that means nothing, as there's still 2 more, one behind the firebox over there, the third just around the corner from the steps position. He's already been challenged with first, lost half of his HP, and Shroud's going to be able to peek out to finish the job. There you have it. Cloud9 down, but certainly not out, and they will be able to find at least a 6th round there.
Yeah, I mean, even Shroud with that kill through the smoke, even he looked confused about where that came from. So overall, not a bad half for Cloud9, but a phenomenal recovery for Team Dignitas.
And that is going to conclude the first half. Ladies and gentlemen, stick around. We've got more action here at the ESL Pro League Finals coming up in just a few moments. Okay, looks like we're back, guys. Welcome to the action once again as we go into it. We've already got the bomb on the ground. We're in the pistol round, of course. Team Dignitas has found it, but Cloud9, they barely contested it. Nothing's only down to 51 HP, but now, as they move themselves into it, there's a big stack of C9 players wrapped over here by Ticket. They're trying to remain quiet as long as they can, but they can't do it any longer. They've got to push themselves into the site. Stewie's up to bat first here as he looks for his kill, but they've also got flanks coming in, and what is Dignitas doing? They're not resisting this at all. There's the kills, however. Magic Boy along with MSL, and Magic's again finding kills, but Shroud tapping away at this one, trying to keep it back alive, looking every which way, trying to hold this off. They've been forced off the bomb, however, and there's no more time. Even with that kit in hand, Config's going to be able to hold the line, and Dignitas keep their lead going as they win the pistol here in the second half.
Yeah, we've talked about, I mean, it's when you win 2 pistol rounds, your odds obviously increase astronomically of winning this match. So Cloud9 at a severe disadvantage here. Good start for Dig. And there was just really nothing they could do. Shroud was trying to be as big of a hero as humanly possible. He was hitting some nice shots with those 3 kills, but just too many different angles he has to cover Skadoodle from. Now it's going to be a little bit tough for them. They do invest a little bit into smoke-grenade pistols. No utility for this CT side, so hoping that this Deagle, the CZ, something's going to come. A little bit of magic that they had against NiP to win some of those force buys.
Slowly, however, with Dignitas, just waiting to see if Cloud9 are going to try anything cheeky here now with their aggression. Automatic specifically, I think, would be in the best position to do that, but still just stuck over here inside of the ladder room, mainly watching out for pushes from top mid over onto Cat. We won't be seeing that with how spread out Dignitas are playing. They've yet to make a decision as far as where they're going to take this hit towards, and Cloud9 are trying their best to get intel, but it's going to be hard to do that with the minimalist buy they currently have on the second round of the half.
But Dignitas, and we saw in the first half, they were very, very good at avoiding damage in these kinds of rounds. So still on the T side especially, you can sit far back, you can take things slow. At the moment, they haven't encountered anyone just yet. They are running a little bit low on utility. They got to be careful. I mean, they only have 2 smokes. They have some flashbangs and a nade, but if they run into some trouble, it could be a painful route for them. So smoke goes up in winter room. There's automatic, completely blind. That's a nice flashbang. It does decent damage. MSL down to 10. Rubino at 50. Shroud of the sight. Stewie, nice kill from him. Shroud's got to do a little bit more, though, and they're not exposed to him quite yet. There's Stewie. Needs to hit something miraculous there, but it's not going to happen. It's all down to nothing. Speaking of which, there's nothing he can do. I'm sorry for that. I'm so sorry. I apologize.
Well,
Lord forgive me.
Cajun B is just going to wreck him. Do a nice little backflip there to end the round as well, and Team Dignitas will be closing things out as expected. And as we go into the trash round for Cloud9, this is going to be a bit of a daunting task now for Cloud9 to be able to climb back, as Dignitas, realistically speaking, are going to more than likely double the scoreline of Cloud9, assuming they don't have any problems with this round here.
All pistols again. This time, though, at least Cloud9, I mean, last time with the Deagles, with the CZ, they spread out a little bit, and we're trusting that the little bit of extra power in those pistols could pull them into something. But here they're stacking this A bomb site. So 5 players here. 1 flashbang out of nothing, and he's the one farthest away in jungle. So the plan is, obviously, if they hear some noise coming up Ray ramp, or if they see the smokes or execution, a flashbang right in front of the top of that ramp. And everyone pounces and sees what they can find. Hopefully something comes from it. But at the moment, with how slow and methodical Dignitas is being, it doesn't look like they're going to fall into it. And in fact, they haven't even really scouted for information. They're just kind of, this is like a blind call away from the stack. So a little bit of a coin flip. And at the moment, it turns out in Dignitas' favor.
And everybody here on Dignitas stacking away from that A-bomb site too. Nothing trying to rotate into it, but unfortunately, he's not going to find anything on that B side either, as even Dignitas have just started to group up over here towards mid in the event. Things work their way over to the other site where the CT's here, but not finding it. Nothing getting a little bit curious, though, as far as what exactly is going on back over there on mid. Are they actually moving into Cat, or are they stacking connector? And I think he spotted something to indicate this, so more rotations are going to be on the way here. Trying to hold off any rotations back over from the connector itself, but the Dignitas members are already well on their way up to the side. MSL is going to destroy nothing. Not a whole lot he can do to resist that, and they are methodically clearing things out at this point. There you go. MSL leaping right in there, getting some nice kills. At least Stewie has something to net into this round, but he'll miss the jump, and that will kill any position he get out. But actually, it's a nice angle here against some of the players that are trying to push back out on Cap, but still goes down before finding anything else. MSL survives that round with just a single HP, but he does get 3 kills to show for it.
Now for the gun round. Let's see what comes from this. Skadoodle with that AWP. Cajun has his as well on the other side. Good utility as well on the Cloud9 side. Despite having smoke grenade pistols throughout that, as Cloud9's been doing recently on the second rounds. I mean, they're getting these Deagles, they're getting some of the pistols and utility, but they're not really buying armor. So they are left with like an extra $700-800 than $700 to $1,000 than most teams who are buying on that second round. So not too shabby for them. Nothing inside of connector. And mid control for Dignitas, and at the moment no one wants to challenge it. Skadoodle playing pretty passively over towards jungle, and he's just going to fall right back.
Dignitas still holding that area over here towards top mid now, and are going to slowly start to sneak up again as the time gets lower, but much more passive play to this one as Cloud9 are going to have much bigger guns to play with, of course, and they're already trying to actively prevent any control from happening back over here towards the window room, and of course with the position in ladder room there too. That's automatic, giving himself a very big role to work with, but also having the support from Shroud. He's not necessarily alone here. Oof. An unfortunate angle though with that Molotov, and it does end up getting wasted. The timing has been off there. So goes to the ground. That's where he starts to come out a little bit there from the CT side, as I think they spotted a player connector, and the bullets almost connect to a big degree. Not the case though, and now as they push in, automatic able to handle the first kill. Config trades in a Shroud though, and now he's still stuck inside of that room.
Yeah, nothing's in a really awkward spot. He's got automatic covering for his boost, but 35 seconds left. There's still some time to play with on the Dignitas side of things. There's nothing swinging out. Good kill from him. Nice timing. Automatic still alive. When's he going to make his move? He's got to be a little bit cautious with it, but just now he's peeking. Sees one of connector, sees another beneath him, and he just gives up the fight. Not enough HP to take it, but Dignitas have to get into the site quickly. 17 seconds left on the clock, and still Dignitas is just getting whittled down, trying to make their way in. And there goes Magisk. Nothing has 4 kills in the round, and it's a huge stand for him.
And with that is going to be a big round from Nothing, of course, there. Bringing out the heroics for Cloud9. Able to hold the jungle. Very important, too, considering where Dignitas were trying to send that pressure towards, but it doesn't really end up panning out for them. And off of the heroics of Nothing, it saves Cloud9 from going into the brink there. They are able to buy back into this one, as is Dignitas, though, very importantly. They're going to have to force themselves up a little bit here, as we can see the guns being spread around. Ends up with 1 Galil, but it's not too bad. I think utility is obviously going to be their biggest issue. They got the basics, 4 smokes across the team here, and 2 Molotovs there. Not flashbangs as well, so not necessarily missing a whole lot, but we will wait and see if that ends up affecting them later on in the round. It's much more decisive stack than in this round compared to the more spread strategy we had been seeing before this.
Well, this time it's not Skadoodle with the AWP. They make him. They change his position. He's going to be over at the A-bomb site. Last time we saw him pretty passively in window before falling away, and this time they want to try and mix things up, see if Dignitas will get caught off guard. But again, it's a 3-man control of mid from those top boxes. And Magisk, as we've seen him do, he did this against FaZe as well. Every once in a while they call a round where they just say, all right, Magisk, just go do your thing at B. Just see what you like, do whatever you feel like, see what kind of play you feel like making with what you're presented with. And this time he sees nothing. He doesn't really hear anything, doesn't have any information. He doesn't want to take the fight this early in the round, so not too bad. This is a very important round for the Dignitas economy. Very, very low. Same with Cloud9. And Config is in position to be a lurker or cut off rotations, and it's going to be an A hit.
Wrap themselves around. Config looking for this player, but it's a nice bait as Nothing's able to push directly back outside with that. Shuts down Config. The attention was drawn perfectly, and now Cloud9 have the edge once again. Skadoodle waiting for that peek. KGB tries to surprise, but he's waiting for it. Picks up that kill. Looking for the second one. It's going to be a little bit harder, however, as he misses the shot. Trying to spot players pushing up Tetris. Won't be catching that either. And Stewie grabbing that kill under Rubina. Whoa, no. MSL tried to go for the plant. Stewie leaped across. He saw it, but he wasn't expecting the re-peek there. Decided to stick the plan, and that is the ultimate mistake. Now Magic's left alone, and Shroud is going to be able to close him out before he gets any more kills.
I'm not going to lie, it doesn't feel like Dignitas in these past couple rounds have really done anything. The strategy they're coming up with is default across the map. They're being very passive, and they're not really pressuring anything until less than a minute left in the round. And even then, I mean, at times I think that execution is closer to like 35, 40 seconds left on the clock, and by that point, it just seems like Cloud9 has so many opportunities to be aggressive. When you mentioned Nothing with that peek in window, Stewie was there as well. So I mean, that was a double peek. That was great teamwork, and it grabs information. They're able to rotate from there. So Dignitas maybe needing to be a little bit more aggressive, I think, in my opinion, at some points earlier on. And Shroud, I mean, speaking of aggression, Shroud's got some a wild Magisk in his face, but he wins that fight all by his lonesome.
And Nothing is also going to grab the kill back over into mid there, too. Skadoodle's here. It's just a shooting gallery in this one for Cloud9. No struggles at all. Just a couple taps there onto Nothing, and Shroud is the only damage that's done by Dignitas. But overall, rounding it up pretty quickly there, and now putting Cloud9 within 3 rounds of a tie game here. Also, as far as the money is concerned here, too, building it up quite nicely. Everybody is good for a full rebuy, and some are good for 2 when you look at players like Shroud and Skadoodle are now at like 6 and 7Ks. That's quite a bit of cash they've been able to stockpile off of just, I believe it's only like 3 rounds straight that they won for themselves here, too. Dignitas will put themselves into a dangerous situation if they do not correct that soon. At the very least, start doing some damage here against C9, if not outright winning the rounds.
And this time, giving up that full map default, and now it's all 5 members of Dignitas lining up for an execution at the safe bomb site. Waiting for that smoke to fade, and here comes the execution. Wall of smokes on top of the stairs over towards Jungle Molotov out. Skadoodle, though, he's at triple. That's a good fight. He burns the other one. MSL falls. Config lucky to get that spray, but Sui even luckier in the response. Oh, and a second one right through. 2 kills. And Sui has shuts him down blindly. That is disgusting. And Dignitas, I mean, it's just Magus Boy at this point. And he's just got to fall away.
Minute on the clock, and obviously nothing that he can do, though, in the 1v4. However, nobody from C9's rotated yet, and I imagine Magix is going to go directly over through mid here to try to get himself onto the site, but he's even expecting a little bit more resistance in this regard, so if he'd gone directly through, he's actually a large chance he might have been able to get to the site and find the plant, but now he's been challenged, and dirty little peek out there from Automatic is going to put a close to things before Magix can get any further with that. Cloud9, these are looking like very decisive rounds, and again, as you mentioned before, Dignitas just not finding any impact at all here.
Yeah, this is, I mean, we see it now, these A executes at times. I mean, teams have gotten so good at defending against them at the moment. And still, I mean, obviously it's a little bit unlucky on the Dignitas side of things when Stewie gets 2 kills through the smoke. Like, that just doesn't happen frequently. But also, I mean, a good initial hold. On executes like that, it is all about those first kills. So Skadoodle getting the opening too, that really takes a lot of the danger out of that hit because it's that front line that can get so close up to CT spawn, so close up to jungle quickly. That can really screw things up for the defense. So when that's eliminated, it gets a lot easier for Cloud9.
Now again, the rest of Team Dignitas are going to try to flood in here with these Tech 9s, but it's just being shut down again and again and again. 5 kills straight for C9 and not a single point of damage until after the round concludes. Goes on to anybody from C9, and a most needed pause is now going to come in from Dignitas.
Yeah, I mean, pistol round was won by Dignitas in this half, and they haven't won a single round since. It's been 5 straight for Cloud9. There hasn't even been a plant in those 5 rounds. So phenomenal effort out of Cloud9. I mean, and look at who's showing up. Often criticized by myself included. Shroud, 22 and 16 for him. It was Automatic in the last map. Shroud this map leading the way. He's had a lot of action go his way over towards the B bomb site. But I mean, even guys like Nothing has had phenomenal rounds. Stewie's had a couple phenomenal impact in the mid rounds on the CT side. Skadoodle as well with that op, wherever he's been positioned at that A bomb site mostly, he's found the opening kill. So it's really good defense all around, all across the map. Dignitas can't find a single weakness.
Dignitas, especially on these ecos, again, just not being able to find anything to punish against C9 whatsoever here. No one really showing up to the table here too, even for Magix Boy. Like, he's not being left with a lot to try and do. As he tends to be one of the players that plays more into the back in a lot of these takes, especially when they're the more direct ones. And unfortunately, if we go back like 2 or 3 rounds where they try to push the A side, everybody just gets killed like within 5 seconds of them initiating the hit. And I mean, what's Magix Boy going to do? It's not like he can carry the whole team in that sort of situation there. He has to fall back. He has to try and change the situation up a little bit there. And there's just nothing he can do in those sorts of spots. And especially with Config being a little bit more absent in this match, him still sitting a little bit further below at like 13 and 17. It's certainly hurting the Dignitas roster at this point.
So where does Dignitas go from here? 5 AKs. They've done the mid control. It hasn't worked. They've done the A execute, and they've done the B hits. Oh, and that's a good find. Sui just spamming through and throwing the nade. He's getting a lot of kills through smokes, and that's got to be frustrating if you're a Dignitas player or fan tuning in. Nothing. I think there might be a gap around this smoke. They've got to be very careful as they come through. But it's Magix to find the entry, and there's Shroud. It's going to be a 4-on-3. It's going to have to be a retake. And Dignitas is trying to find the best positioning to defend against this.
Shroud starts it off with another kill again here as he picks off one of the remaining members from Dignitas, and more importantly, it's Magix Boy that gets knocked out here. They try to wait for it, and Shroud just rounds out in the connector, absolutely destroys Cajun B's entire existence. Rubino has this good flank spot over here in T-Ram, but he's not being quiet about it. And oh, gets that first kill, tries to go for the spray transfer, but he's not going to be able to get it. MSL strikes back, but look at Skadoodle. He's in the smoke, and he's going for the defuse. He's just going to steal it away completely. And although MSL takes down Shroud, it's too late. The round's already been won, and Cloud9 have tied it up at 12 rounds.
All right, well, this is just a game that Shroud is really, really feeling at a quick, swift headshot in middle coming up that connector. But then as well on top of that, he makes the smart play while Skadoodle While he's in the smoke, Shroud's getting aggressive. Shroud's occupying MSL's attention that whole time, so MSL can't even attempt to spam into that smoke to stop the defuse. So it's so well done from Shroud in that previous round, and he is doing a phenomenal job. This is the level of Shroud that we want to see on a consistent basis.
And now Dignitas again will be on another gun round here, but they need to try and find something different that works for them. At the very least, they finally were able to get a plan onto the ground that time, but now they actually need to finish the job off here too, as it was very sloppy, especially considering the post-plant situation. Lost like 2 or 3 players on the way into the site, and then there was no follow-up at all, and now Skadoodle, he's just allowed to get these fadeaway shots.
There's that tactic again. It seems like whenever Dignitas is feeling a little bit stuck, they're just saying, all right, Matt, just go, you're our star. Go create something. And that time, maybe expecting that flashbang to be a little bit more effective, but the lack of response from Automatic there. Seemed like it, actually, no, it wasn't a lack of response. He actually legs caging, excuse me. Apologies, Automatic. Nice attempt. But Skadoodle definitely with that opening kill.
He's down to 16 HP, but the shot just rings true a little bit further there for Cajun, and actually Shroud is going to back out from the ladder room there after feeling a little bit safe with his position and config. Dangerous Molotov, but I think he should be good. Already spread once, and unless it goes for it again, he's going to be able to stay in that position there and maintain as the rest of the team slowly starts to push himself back up. Nothing's going to directly contest, and oh, the crouch throws him off there, and Stewie just wraps back out to bring it back into the control of Cloud9. But there's Rubino taking the edge off, shuts down Stewie, evens this out into a 2v2. However, reinforcements are on the way, and the setup could prove dangerous. Look at Shroud just walking right up there, and Cajun's going to get the trade. That allows Skadoodle to pop out from Ticket and shut down the round for C9.
I don't think Cajun was expecting Shroud to just crazily run through the smoke like that and kill the planner, but he misses the shot that would have saved his life. This is getting crazy because Cloud9, I mean, their players, their guys are making all the plays at the moment. Some of these hits seem to be very, very promising for Dignitas when they're entering the site, but again, Stewie with a phenomenal 2K. I mean, no, I'm sorry again, but Stewie he's had multiple rounds with just 2 kills, whether it's through smoke right there, whether it's just swinging out and just taking the fights. He's just winning them at the moment, and this is slowing Dignitas down so much when they're trying to progress upon the bomb site.
So another tactical pause coming in there from the members of Team Dignitas. It should already be expiring here at any moment since they are rather short now with their duration, and we will get back into the action. But this one is going to happen on what I believe is more likely going to end up being just a half-buy round for Dignitas, and no, it does not appear as though that's the case. They buy up into this one, and it's going to be rather forced due to that. As we take a look at the buy again, 2 AKs for the team, config. Taking a look at him now, 3750, so we should be able to afford a Glil if they want to go down that route, but they may need the extra utility, in which case he would go for, they have some G-Buy here, which he's going to pick up. One of his other teammates also going for that as well, so we'll see how this works out for them.
Well, they've got to start getting on it, because this is now, what, 7 straight gun rounds for Cloud9.
And the double op setup comes in from Cloud9. Interestingly enough, it's not Stewie picking up the secondary op, it's going to be Automatic this time, wielding it as he goes and plays over here in the B-bomb site. With Skadoodle obviously taking the more traditional route that we see these primary operas go towards. He'll be trying to contest some of that top mid pressure, but Team Dignitas look to want to very quickly set this up for a B hit. The bomb is already with it in the apartments there, and more moving in for cat control. They're trying to smoke this off as quickly as possible, but nothing's watching for it. He spotted both of them. Doesn't look like he's going to get either of these kills. However, Magic's Boy takes the duel, and that's going to give nothing the kill. Config a little bit of a dip in there, and Connector, he finds it, but then he goes for a long-range duel. That's where Stewie's going to punish. Shroud's able to hold outside of the apartments, takes one of them down. Rubino finds a kill, as does Cajun here. So again, things are not done over, as we do see this being brought into a 2 versus 2. Shroud and Skadoodle the last 2 alive, and with some good damage to the Shroud, it's essentially even. That's a big miss on Skadoodle, though. Now they know where both these final players here from C9 are going to be at. But Dignitas, their hand is forced. They have to go into this fight, and well, certainly it's going to work out great for them to start things off here. Rubino finding Shroud. It's just Skadoodle, but he's playing it aggressively. He's moving forward now to try and stop them from getting back bomb control. Trying to take these duels one by one.
Yeah, but Rubino's taking another route. He's going to go back up into these B halls. So Stu's got to get aggressive and find it, and there it is. Assertive is Skadoodle with the AWP and a 1-on-2. But now, does he realize what's coming? He senses it! What a shot! Rubino saving Dignitas from a disaster! And you can see the sigh of relief on Cajun. That is incredible.
You're not going to expect that jump right there, and it ends up working out absolutely perfectly for Team Dignitas, shutting it down. An incredible shot against. It's going to look like he had full control of that one. He has that one shut out, and he's got the last 1v1 all to himself there, essentially, but makes the mistake, goes for the jump up on top of the apartments, and with that, that's going to end it. Dignitas able to steal that round out of the hands of Cloud9. It ends the streak. Cajun moves in. He almost gets the shot onto, I believe it was Stewie over there. Just misses him on the cross, however. And the rest of Cloud9 are going for heavy mid-presence on this round, just as Dignitas may be going away from it a little bit. It depends on where these 3 that are shifting away from T-spawn head towards here.
little bit more pressure on mid this round from Cloud9. As nothing is pushed all the way towards top mid, but Cajun and MSL, they're going to be so calm and calculated. After that kind of a round, you can't give this one up, and you can see they want to be very cautious in how they take it. Nothing's been playing very, very well, but a little bit more work to do here. Flashbangs come out, nothing wins that. Cajun does pick off Skadoodle. And there's Automatic watching his teammates back. Good teamwork, and they both are able to get away. Don't re-peek into the op. Don't give up the advantage you have. And you can see from the Dignitas side of things, they're all split. One in Palace, one in mid, and one in T-spawn at the moment. So advantage for Cloud9. They even have a good read, starting to cheat a third player over towards this A bomb site.
Rubino's got to be a little bit careful too, because he has allowed Stewie to navigate underneath of the platform, and obviously his intentions are going to be revealed in just a second. But at the same time, Automatic backed away. He's no longer able to assist over here in the A bomb site, and obviously Nothing is watching out for that connector pressure here too. So Stewie's got a large chance of getting pinches. He doesn't get the support soon, but he takes the initiative. He goes out in the open, is able to find that kill, ducks away. Automatic's now back for support, and just as he has the expiration, the flashbang come out there, he's able to readjust his aim and take down Cajun, who tries to push the steps. Beautiful hold again from Cloud9, and they've got the lead once more.
Shroud and Stewie leading the way for Cloud9. This is huge, and this is the nightmare. I mean, a brilliant clutch in round 26, but now the immediate follow-up from Cloud9. They're looking like they're going to end this quickly. Desperation from Dignitas. They buy out into this round. It's a Tech 9 buyout, but how many times have we seen this successful? Automatic and Shroud surely about to get tested here. Here comes the execution.
And they're going to move in, and once again, very quickly, they've tried this before, then it's been shut down time after time again. Automatic absolutely destroying it. 4 quick kills for him. Shroud chimes in for 1 as well. But Team Dignitas, they've tried that strat so many times, and every single time, it's failed miserably.
I'm telling you, Dignitas, they've just run out. Nothing has worked. I mean, they've only got 1 round, and it was a miraculous shot to do it. It wasn't really tactical. So, I mean, they have no idea how to break this defense of Cloud9. It just appears that there's nowhere for Dignitas to go to really have any kind of crazy. They've only had 1 plant throughout this entire T-half in the gun rounds. The Pisseron had a plant on it, but outside of that, it's only been 1 other, which was defused. So this has been a disaster of an offense for Dignitas, or a miraculous defense for Cloud9, whichever way you want to look at it.
Well, now we can see Dignitas are going to go for their last strat here, and it's with all the Eagles picked up. They're not even checking Sandwich at first. So config goes down. Rubino is available for a trade, but up comes Stewie. Peekaboo, 1 kill for him, is able to dive away and keep himself alive. 4v3, and there's Skadoodle chiming in with the op. Shroud burning another one alive, knocks out Magic's Boy. Unless KJP has an absolute miracle, this game is over, and Cloud9 are going to take control. 16-13 will be the final scoreline.
A back and forth affair in the first half, but the second half, all Cloud9. We saw Automatic hard carry against NiP earlier today in a win. Now we see Shroud for most of the match, but I think in terms of sheer impact, Stewie, for me, in the middle of some of these executes was phenomenal with multiple double kills, with a couple triple kills, but just getting them in the right moment when they're about to lose control of the round. It was Stewie who showed up. And I also want to point out, I mean, this is a Skadoodle that's been often criticized, has had a lot of bad games, and fairly so. But this kind of game, if he can put just this kind of performance out on a consistent basis, like that's all they need out of Skadoodle. This was a phenomenal game from him, I think, in the context of everything. Hitting some great shots, having some impact kills with that AWP, finding picks, and that's what they need from him.
And with that said, Cloud9 certainly showing up here to the big arena. They will close out their day, I do believe, anyway. We don't know yet, but soon to find out.
Yes, the waiting game begins, doesn't it? Yeah, so I mean, we'll have to see what the other match is looking like, but for the moment, if there's no tiebreakers, this would be the end of the night. Cloud9 showing strong, so not sure how all that's going to go.
I think that depended, I'm trying to remember for myself, but I think that depended on if SK lost, and I think they won their game.
I imagine they won. Who are they playing against? Energy?
I saw a tweet from someone at Energy, and they said they lost.
Yeah, so SK beat Energy 16-10. NiP beat FaZe 16-7. I'm so afraid for NiP. If this is two events in a row where they go out in a round-robin group stage, that would be so depressing.
Yeah, but Cloud9, I mean, that's dangerous too. I think, especially as we move into the semifinals and whatnot, we're going to end up having like 3 really big fraggers for them. And to talk...
Oh, I was going to say, you know who would know? It would be our phenomenal experts on the desk who are bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to explain all the different circumstances that these wins and losses would mean for each team. Take it away, Alex.
Thanks, gentlemen. Indeed, I will. We've got it all locked in here. Don't panic. Don't worry. calling us bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Absolutely spot on. We are feeling fresh and ready to go ahead and give you a 45-minute preview of tomorrow. I'm joking.
Fantastic.
I'm Alex Machine Richardson, Yanko Chad. One final game to go ahead and understand, and of course it is going to be Cloud9. Oh. Excuse me, my lungs are giving out. For now, though, we can clarify that it is all locked in. I just had the admin run over, and we're going to be having a North American derby tomorrow. It is going to be SK first in Group B, and following that one, we're going to be seeing Cloud9 second and NiP third. So no, as the casters were asking, we're inquiring whether or not we were going to be seeing NiP fall in a very similar fashion to what in Epicenter. Not this time. The NiP will be making those quarterfinals, and those are how the scores are on the doors. That is actually incorrect. No, they're not.
SK is first.
SK is first. Cloud9 second, and NiP.
Yeah. So NiP playing Envy, Optic playing Cloud9, SK and Mouse in the semi-finals. Let's go.
SK in the semi-finals, and I mean the fact that Mouse Sports have made it as well. That's not something you see every day, is it, Chad?
No, they've their group was significantly easier on paper. They had to put in a good performance though to get there, beating Envy. Envy looking hot though, you know. Thanks, man. It's nice and warm in this bad boy. You can get this one on the ESL clothing store. I don't know what it's called, but you can find it.
Raffle.gg.esl.com.
Yeah.
God, they turn the lights on? God, you know, it's like when they play us out the music. Now, this is like the venue's way of telling us we should go. Yeah, you know what?
They could start playing the music now.
It's evident that it has been a long and enjoyable day. One final reminder, you know what it is. It's the Score Esports application. If you wanted to go ahead and understand and kind of absorb everything that did happen, of course, we started around bright and early at 10 o'clock this morning, and we're finishing the next day. So do be sure to go ahead and just get all of that in one place at the Score Esports application on your smartphone.
But if we started yesterday and finished today, and we start today again,
it's not
did
tomorrow.
We actually finish?
We never finished. We just took a short break. One of my favorite words. All right, guys, we're going to take a short break. We'll be coming back in about, what, 8-9 hours time with more CS. In fact, it starts with the Brazilian finals, then we move on into our playoffs. We're going to be seeing, of course, that North American derby, as well as EnVyUs going up against the boys from NiP. That's coming up tomorrow as well. All right, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. If any of you did make it all the way through, you are incredible. No matter what they say, you are the real MVPs of today. And we hope to see you tomorrow for more of the same. The playoffs kick off here in Brazil tomorrow, and we will definitely be seeing all of you there.
Counter-Strike is sharing incredible moments with us and will return to a memorable place. Get your tickets now at proleague.com/Dallas.
Well, we start our playoffs, our quarterfinals, NiP versus EnVyUs. It's a classic matchup. And NiP has been on the rise, of course, didn't make it through in Epicenter at a 3-3 scoreline in their group, but this time they slipped through because of Cloud9 beating Dignitas, and the champions of Epicenter do not move forward. So it's an interesting back-and-forth affair in CS as of late.
Absolutely. It's kind of funny to think almost the same outcome happened to them. Just getting through by the skin of their teeth there. 16-14 between that game towards the end. You saw the reaction video. Did you catch that, Matt? You can see Get Right on his knees watching as the result came in. They did make it through the group. But yes, what a tantalizing game we're coming in. EnVyUs, a team that's been in a slump for the last year. On the ascendance now since the addition of Sixer. They've managed to get the monkey off their back and looking a lot stronger here. NiP as well. Lots of storylines there. Michael still the mercenary technically. We're not sure what the future holds for him ultimately, but they've won tournaments now with him, and they're looking to get better. Unfortunately at Epicenter, but this is going to be a really good series. We kick things off with Nuke, moving to Dust 2, then Cobble if required. But the first one, that's what interests me the most. It's interesting the fact that EnVyUs, a team that hasn't played this a tremendous amount, is allowing NiP to get this one, who are actually one of the strongest Nuke teams in the scene right now.
I think that's absolutely true. They put a lot of time into the map, and I'm curious to see how EnVyUs battles in this quarterfinal. It looked like they would actually advance directly through to the semifinal until they played Mouse Sports, who ended up beating them. And then because they both had one loss, the head-to-head was the factor, and because of that game, therefore, it was Mouse Sports that makes it in. So it's interesting to see them here. Yesterday afternoon, I would have thought that they would have been all the way through and not playing today. But start things off. Here we go. Nuke it is.
Nuke indeed. And we'll be live right now as well. We're going to be kicking things off with EnVyUs here on the T side. NiP starting on the C2. We'll have a look at the buy coming in. It looks like 5 sets of armor for the terrorists as well. We're going to see whether NiP can hold them off. T-pistol, so lucrative. If you can pick that up, it puts you on such a great start here. Most teams do favour towards the ramp. That's what EnVyUs will be bringing to the table as well. There is going to be a challenge here from Forrest, who nails the first headshot as well. Looking for more, but taken down as he tries to find his second frag.
Lovely shot, Sixer. To follow it up. It does get Forrest back, but Michael is going to follow that by getting Apex. Sixer jumps back in, finds yet another 2 kills for him. Down to the 3 versus 3. Happy posts himself inside of the hut. Get Right's on top of it, trying to fight beyond the yellow crossbeam, and he gets caught by Sixer, who's got 3, but he's going to have to get all 5 because he's lost Happy. He's lost his other teammate that was coming in through from heaven, and he's going to go try and bait this plant. May have been best suited to just try and stick it, get money, because chances of winning it now is very slim as Michael slips in.
Well, there it is, towards the ramp from they go. It was Forrest to open things up. They have a nice headshot taken down. It was a bit of a brawl. Like I said, most teams favouring that ramp area because normally there's only 1 CT challenging there, maybe 2. Good rotations from NiP mean they could actually challenge that position as well. Sixer with a great job there with 3 frags. Like you said, 2 versus 1. Might have been better off to get the bomb down there, but he went for the glory. Fake plan in, hoping to bait some CTs out with the knives up, potentially try and stop him. Can't find the headshot there with low HP, and the bomb is not going to go down. 1-0 in favour of the Ninjas here. Great start on the CT here, but a force buy coming from EnVyUs, a team famous for this sort of buy. It's a Desert Eagle in the hands of Apex. We know he's deadly with this weapon, and his teammates holding towards the lobby for now, doing a little bit of damage to Get Right. He's got the scout. That's quite standard for now from the Ninjas, but Apex goes under 31 HP. In terms of grenades, got 6 on the smoke. Apex with a flashbang as well. They'll just be trying to poke them out for now. Check towards ramp, the huts, squeaky door, see if there's anything available for them, and then group up together with the 1 smoke and flashbang. A lot of teams will try and jump down the vents as well, so that's definitely an option.
Happy going to rotate back around, potentially try and spot over top of Twinkie. Exactly that. Triberg's inside of main to watch if they push through Squeaky. The smoke's now gone on top of the upper side. It's going to be Forrest and Michael playing together at ramp, so an early rotation coming in from Forrest could be beneficial. He gets taken down immediately. Again, Sixer looking solid to start off this game. He'll get traded back, and because his teammates were on the other side of Flames, he was left to his own devices. There's Michael down below, but with Forrest gone over toward the turnpike, it's a full wrap. Potential to split on the upper side as well. And they've pushed Forrest so far away. Oh, that bounce nade doesn't quite get down, but it does do decent damage when it fell, so it did bounce once and then go down and hit Apex for 15.
Well, it's an unequal situation, but still, 30 seconds remaining, and EnVyUs need to get the bomb down. That's a good kill from MBK, though. Actually gets towards heaven as well. Still got a plan there. The CT presence in the upper bomb side. It's a 3-on-3, but look at the HP. Exists down to 1. Michael low as well. Still a chance here for the defense side, but need to act now. 15 seconds remain.
Nyberg with 2 with the angle from below. He's going to close it with the 3rd as well. MP7 on all the kills. Lots of money made. Michael Ailey found one of the UMP, excuse me, as well. I would expect, although we still know they like to switch up the op a little bit, that he'll be grabbing that at some point in time. 4-0 for Michael Ailey.
Yeah, Forrest is known to wield on this map as well, but primarily it's going to be Michael Ailey. So there it is. Although EnVyUs do get 3 kills, there's no bomb plan. Some teams would force into this round after getting the plan down and making it so close. That's just not an option here. Going to have to take the full eco on the chin. And NiP live to fight another day here. 2 M4s. 2 SMGs and exists just the USP. That's fine up against unarmored heads. He can shoot through those in some long-range situations. Where the T's going to be focusing towards? Looks like outside here. Staying as a unit, trying to go on the catwalk area as well. Faster towards main. It's Forrest who spots him first. Bit of damage. Exists finds a first kill with that USP.
Forrest was waiting for the angle, but it's Get Right instead that finds Kenny. Pop back down, headshot found. Lovely shot as well into Sixer. Drops the bomb and drops down happy as well. Little shake of the wrist. Not quite the same flick he wanted, but it was a shake of the wrist to make sure the aim's still there.
What's interesting now is after that force fire, not getting the bomb down after the pistol, Kenny can bring the AWP out, but it will be a glass cannon. He's still contemplating it. Is it worth it? Apparently it is. I don't think it's such a big deal on Nuke. It's normally going to be very long-range duels against AWPers as well. So regardless of armor or not, you're trying to get the opening pick for your team. It's not like you're going to be influential throughout the entire round, right? If you can open up the map for your team, get the bomb down, at that point, his job is done. Let's see whether he can actually find anything here. Going for the outside face. Could be Forrest to the AWP on the CT side. He's more defensive towards CT spawn, pulls the trigger but can't find that first shot. It's going to be Get Right though to find Apex crossing. No smokes deployed. He's trying to go very quickly there towards secret area, but loses his life in the process.
Apex down, happy door blown out, is going to try and spot toward the bigger garage. Needs to be a little bit careful of his position. Smoke now. Oh, deploy in front! He didn't have the lineup, and still Get Right gets found as he taps through. That's a big kill to find because it pulls it back to 4 versus 4, and the smoke was thrown correctly to allow Get Right to move inside of the upper site.
4 on 4 now. Plenty of time to work if it exists. Going to be flashed in towards HUD as well. Just trying to get some information here. See if he can find any terrorists with nades in their hand, holding tight angles. The fact he has control of HUD as well, that's beneficial. But Happy, very defensive, looking for any more aggression to come in. If Exist goes any further than this, he's dead. No way he can get that kill. It's such a strong angle from the terrorists at that point. Forrest, more defensive now towards the heaven position. We'll have a look what's available for the T's as well. They actually got the AWP still in the hands of Kenny S. He's still looking towards outside. Still time to play with it, and smoke's available if they want to go towards lower. But for now, just trying to find that first kill. See if anyone will dare challenge. In this equal situation, Forrest goes for it. Kenny finds him, and that's going to be the cue to get down towards lower. Freiberg's waiting for them. He goes down as well. This should be a round for EnVyUs at this point. Smokes to deploy on the lower bomb sites. Up to Michael Ailey with the UMP and Exist with no nades to try and defend it off.
Kenny already inside of the vents down below, has MBK clearing out decontamination, but Kenny gets found. Exist with a fast play to get inside of the vents behind him. Watches as well for Happy, who drops down. Good awareness from Exist. Bomb gonna have to be planted inside of that smoke. It does go down. Exist can't find it, has to reload, so Michael's got to hit the shot on Sixer, or he would have been a sitting duck, but that's exactly what happens. And NiP is going to go up 4-0 after the first gun run. So EnVyUs, we talk about this still on Nuke. Without getting that T-sided pistol round, have a lot of work to do, and that body is going to have some radiation poisoning.
That was a 4-on-2, Matt, and EnVyUs there with lots of time to work with in terms of when they're actually going for the lower control itself. Interesting enough, though, Kenny gets in the vents. You could see Exist gets a drop in just as he takes his attention away as well. Surely it's more beneficial to get towards a window room, perhaps, just to have more vision and actually be able to set up as a turret while his teammates actually plant that bomb as well. I think that was a bit of a bad move on his part. He has no armor at that point, and that's when it's actually a massive problem at close range. Taken down, the bomb that's get planted there, a 4-state loss bonus. So they get another buy here coming in, but we've stopped the game. Must be a technical issue. No kills or damage has been exchanged, so that's fine. Yep. Well, we can slow things down. 4-0 for the Ninjas here. We do say still, although Epicenter looks a little bit more balanced going forward, we did have some big score lines there overall, but still it's actually starting to get to the point, especially like teams like NiP, Virtus Pro, they're showing us the depth you can have in the terms of the tactical game on the T side. So far so good for the Ninjas. First gun round eludes EnVyUs after getting their initial man advantage. 4-on-2, and Michael Ailey saving the day with the UMP as well, Exist doing a great job to take the attention away. And we did see the buy coming from EnVyUs. There was a range of AKs and Galils. That suggests to me they'll try a set piece, maybe towards outside, get those smokes we haven't seen from them yet, or maybe just straight in towards upper with the flashbangs and smokes towards main entrance, heaven, and try and see if you can just take the jewels and potentially find that first round. I'll have a look at what the issue is. It looks like Freiberg needs to reset his sound card.
Lovely stuff. Either way, it is an interesting proposition how much work EnVyUs going to have to try and do to win this map away. Again, they found the good equaling kill. A little bit of luck for Happy as he fired into the smoke and Get Right crossed in front, but luck is part of Counter-Strike.
Well, this is NiP's pick, remember, so we move on to Dust 2 as well. So this series, in terms of the maps I wanted to see, I'm actually really happy. It's quite cool to see Nuke actually coming in more and more now. I think a lot of teams didn't want to adopt it when it first came in, understandably, that the event schedule is so stacked. There's not much time to actually practice and get really proficient at these maps, but now, after a few months, we're actually getting to see it pretty much every tournament. I think Epicenter is one of the 3rd most played maps, in fact. It used to just be like a pocket pick for some of the lesser teams in a veto system, but now actually the top teams are bringing it in, and it's actually getting quite entertaining to watch to see what kind of execution we're seeing. NiP, I've talked about it before, I think they've got some great stuff on the T side. My favourite one they do is their drop down towards lower from the vent as well. It's a real nice little set piece they have there with coordinated flashbangs and smokes with Freiburg getting down there. Look out for that in the second half. But we're back into it. Not too long. That forward. It's going to be round number 5. As I said, a couple of Galils, 2 AKs, and Apex on the Tech 9. 6 up, going straight towards that squeaky door. Forrest back on the AWP. More aggressive angle this time. Probably knows an AWP won't be up against him, so probably toe-to-toe he's not going to be as strong as Kenny S, but when he knows there's no AWP available, he can actually take a few more audacious angles, I would say.
Flash is over. Good shot from Forrest. Remember, we did say it would be him. You mentioned it. He likes to still play this weapon on this map. Wrap back round. That's Get Right inside of main. That's going to shut them out again. Kenny. He's going to try and use something from Squeaky. They've got a split on Get Right. Good read. Dodges the flash. Takes down Happy. And now knows the bomb dropped towards Secret. Or rather, excuse me, Squeaky. And Exist is there waiting for Kenny to walk through. Ninjas of Jeb is looking very good toward the squeaky door in outside positions. I was impressed with EnVyUs' ability to push back Michael and Forrest, to be fair, in one particular round at ramp. So I'm wondering if they're going to try and go back to something along those lines.
Well, maximum loss bonus has been obtained. That's $3,400, but after the force buy in the previous and no bomb going down, a little bit of a partial buy here. Not so much in terms of armor. They've got 2 players on head armor, but just a couple of flashbangs to make 2 grenades. Deagles in hand, a team at one point known to be some of the best pistol players in the world. That's not so prevalent right now, but as I say, Kenny S does find Freiburg towards the main entrance, so they got the man advantage. Looking for kills towards ramp as well, but Forrest finds one in return. That's Apex dropping.
As you say, with Apex down, pulls this back. Freiburg caught that time slightly unaware, but there's no guns in a position where they can be grabbed still for EnVyUs, and Kenny's going to try and go back up and potentially go toward the Twinkie. Happy's gotten quite far up at the outside position, but he's found Forrest, well aware of the fact that he's in behind the red crate. Good awareness takes him back into the grave, and it's going to make it now 3 players left for Envy, walking now toward the ramp. This is the play where I think they've gotten the most amount of map control.
This is fine, though. So Michael's down playing by himself. He's just doing the safe bet at this point, right? Obviously, it's quite a lucrative part of the map for EnVyUs to pick up, but him falling down with the information, Forrest can rotate as well. He's actually in a great position here to continue fragging. He finds 2 more. He's actually on 4 kills this round as well, looking for the 8th, but Michael comes and backs him up and finds a 5th kill. Only dropping 1 player there from the 1 dig of Apex, but still, round number 7, I should say, it's 6-0. And we do have another bargain from EnVyUs. Still, this is a very CD-sided map. It's not the end of this by any point by EnVyUs. They can actually still find a few rounds here or there. To be fair, the money's getting reasonably strong now for NiP. You can see 10k on Forrest, 8 for Get Right, so they've got a few rounds in hand. So problems for EnVyUs, they need to start winning rounds convincingly. They need to keep players alive and avoid that full reset. That's a very big possibility right now. So Kenny S on the AWP. We'll see if we can find anything. Straight towards Squeaky Door, fires a shot. Just to the right there, the main player. So doesn't manage to get anything for it, apart from a bit of info as to what position he's been playing. He's going to be going back towards outside, maybe from silo. But this is more of a pit game, another default for EnVyUs. Is absolutely fine. Just try and bleed out of CTs, but look at the aggression for this. You see Forrest baiting in a player towards that silo area. That's going to be Get Right. As soon as Forrest fires a shot, you know he's going to be striking. He's actually going to push a little bit further. Here we go. This is good from Get Right. Great timing.
Yep, this is very, very good. Spots one. Easy shot.
Fall back at this point. No need to overcommit. Got the man advantage. He's staying alive. They can't get the reactive frag. He's fallen back. Great work by Get Right.
And there's something else that was telegraphed by this. He saw a player sitting for a nade through the skylights, which could indicate they're going to upper. So he's going to rotate back in toward main and cover that off. Freiburg, he's not far off that position as well. Down and actually above the vents. He's at the top floor, behind the closed vent, the second vent. Meanwhile, though, Apex trying to take back Get Right's position. He's going to rotate all the way back into the outer position where he's already given up. Going into Secret, they want the ramp. Again, they've had the most success distilling Michael. Like you say, he's playing it conservatively. There's nothing wrong with that, but it is giving them a bit of room. And that kill onto Michael is going to open up this lower site. It pulls Get Right back, but he finds a kill immediately before that on the low HP player that was trying to push in. Now down ramp, he's set for position on the left side. First shot's very easy. Knows that they're on the right. Lovely shot, and Get Right with the ace.
Unbelievably sick there from Get Right. That was so good. He starts the round off by pushing towards outside, completely out positions them. They have no idea he's there. I said it was great play. Don't overcommit. Get that one frag, reposition yourself, and what a reposition it was as well. Back towards the lower bomb site, gets the kill there from Secret, and then goes to ramp as well. He's just everywhere for EnVyUs. They're trying to stay away from him, and what a hold towards lower as well. Powerful position. I was about to say before it happened, if he just gets 1 kill here, round 1, he finds 3 more and ace. Sick stuff from Get Right. Very, very nicely done. This replay alone, how perfect is that? It doesn't get any better. That's just beautiful CS from Get Right, looking like he's in the zone right now. And we have got a tactical pause coming from EnVyUs.
Yep.
understandably so after that sort of decimation there from one of the all-time greats, Get Right. So, just to be clear, after yesterday's confusion, we do have 4 pauses available for either side. Regardless of the half, you can take 4 in one half if you wanted to. So just so everyone knows, it's a different viewing experience, but the teams seem to like it in terms of like they like to have the option in these big games. But
you say that.
the spectator experience obviously is a little bit different.
I spoke to a few players that also thought it was a bit silly, and that no matter what happens in a round, you call a timeout or they call a timeout late. I won't mention who I spoke to, just for the sake of them saying it to me in private, but I'm not sure everyone's in agreement with that. But either way, it's going to be Get Right with Kenny down. He falls immediately after from Apex. He spotted up that shadow, but Apex getting a better position. Either way, it's good information for us to take back to Valve. I know ESL's been in talks with him, tries to spray down 2. This Freiburg, he hits the high HP player in the corner, MBK, but then Sixer's able to repeat before a bullet lands. This is better from Happy. Now they've got something to work with, and perhaps the goal was to try and get control of Catwalk and get a better position on outside. Forrest, low HP down below 15. AWP tries to fire at the door. I mentioned his low HP. I haven't talked about Apex and Sixer, who aren't much better off. 19 and 7 for them, and they're going to go back toward Michael on the upper side. He's got the M40. Here's them going. Oh, 56 seconds. They're going to try and commit to this so early, and bomb denied. He's got position down.
Where's his teammates?
Very questionable. Happy's missing his shot, the one that was above, and Michael Illy with 3.
Shocking from EnVyUs. What are they doing? They've got a minute to play with that. No one's even backing the bomb up. They're not even thinking that could be a possibility. Michael walks in, free round. Yes, it looks good from his point of view. Shouldn't be that easy, though. EnVyUs, they're dropping the ball tremendously. Have that man advantage.
And I have to say, it was Happy at upper in heaven that made Sixer commit to the plant, thinking, all right, you're there, no problem. And he looks away at the wrong time and then gets caught out missing a shot. That's huge.
It's shocking. That shouldn't be happening. That's just a complete misplay from EnVyUs. No way, Michael. Yes, it's a nice read from him. Great timing, but still, there should be a return frag there. They should be considering the bomb's going down. It needs cover. Had a minute to play as well. It's not like they have to rush that. Anyway, let's get into round number 9. 8-0 here. NiP now starting to run away with it. It's going to be another partial buy for EnVyUs. Deagles, Tech 9s, no nades. Looking for that first pick once again. They managed to do it with the Deagle before. MBK challenging. Michael again wants towards the ramp, but actually they have him in difficult position. Could find this frag, and they do as well. Take him down. They managed to pick up a rifle as well, but Forrest, he's doing work on the other side of the map, finds 2.
So NiP trying to bring this map back into their pool. And are showing off good form here.
Previous iteration, probably the greatest team on this map.
Unquestionably, I think. VP was in that mix as well, but it's going to be Forrest again, taking down Sixer. As Get Right waited outside the whole time. Kenny wraps around through Turnpike and from the crate near CT spawn. Get Right finds him. 9-0, not much to report. And now we'll get Kenny onto his AWP, but they need to find openings big time. And Sixer, okay, it's going to be AK full utility perhaps. He's got a lot of money left over. No nades coming out until now.
I think we need to go back to the basics here for EnVyUs. all the smokes down. Let's try and do what all the other teams are doing right now. We haven't seen too much of that. They're challenging with frags and sometimes getting them short, but let's get some position towards Secret and be challenging Freiburg. Then it's going to be KennyS once again going for that frag outside. Forrest, though, will he be going for the fatal return? He's actually towards Catwalk this time, changing it up. I like this a lot. Looking for that first shot, nails it, job done again, fall back. Unfortunately for him, though, Get Right drops from main entrance. Maybe an overcommitment from his point of view, but still Forrest in contention to find another kill here. As KennyS boost up, Freiburg doing some work. Manages to find Apex there. 4-3, still in the favor of the Ninjas.
Good positioning from Forrest behind this new
smokes.
AC. There's a massive gap toward the stairwell directly. He missed the first player going by due to timing. It's Kenny that's the second. He's got an AWP.
Just gets by. Forrest had him in the crosshair there.
Very close indeed. It's Freiburg. Good position at decontamination. We talked about this. Drops bomb down as well. Nade's going to go into his feet, but flash back up. Trying to spray through those stairs. I'm sure we need Anders here to tell us the damage potential through that second step. I'm sure the top one's completely clippable. As Kenny's getting closer. Scoped it already. Freiburg. Oh, head was showing. Kenny tries to get away the only way he can back inside the vent. And Freiburg takes advantage. Forrest is in a little bit of trouble, so he'll need some help, and he'll get it. It's Exist to close up the final round. This round, 10-0, and they get rid of the second off.
Maybe another pause required here. EnVyUs look a little bit lost on this map, Matt, I have to say. As soon as they lose the first frag, people are overcommitting by themselves. That it's panicking with the smokes. Flash and just trying to get down towards Secret after losing the man advantage. And like you said, those decon steps and the window room steps are so difficult to challenge. You need to be there with a unit. You need to be able to refrag or use some utility to actually find the frag there. Freiburg running away with it. KennyS had a chance to take him down, as couldn't land the shot there. Another force buy from EnVyUs. Yes, to get the 4 AKs, but KennyS now no open hand. Just a Tech 9. They've got a bit of utility to work with. And then we'll be trying to work towards the ramp from for now, but smoked out of position. MBK will be sat there waiting for that to dissipate. Michael though, no wall for the CDs this time, interesting enough. They must have lost their weapon towards the end of that round. So 5 rifles. It's not necessarily a bad thing, means you can have more crossfires. We'll see how this works out for them.
Interestingly, they did throw away that op at the end of the last round. They elected to go with all 5 on rifles for NiP in this one. MBK with flames in front. Go back toward the lobby. So here we go. It's going to be another wall set smoke. They're in the positions to do it. Apex, interestingly, throws his front of a main, but there's still massive opportunities for vision. Now that's taken away. I think these are perfect. Yeah, there's no gaps in that. That's the 3 smoke setup.
Keep it basic at this point. Get some map control towards outside. He can go towards Secret if required as well. Lovely smokes, like you said. Can't do anything about those, but Get Right. You know he likes to push these sort of plays. Not going to be committing just yet. He's going to get an inkling. They've made it there, though. So successful so far. All 5 players alive. This is what we wanted to see.
Keep in mind Freiburg's position, because if he slows them down, Get Right is close enough that he can rotate him behind, but Freiburg goes down immediately, and as a result, only getting 1 kill. Get Right can't quite capitalize, so he's going to wait to try and push in slowly, quietly, and surely, as it's going to be Forrest next to be confronted. Crossfire set in the vents. Good spot as MBK inside of the site is found, and bomb goes down. It's Kenny to fall. Forrest with that kill as well. Only 1 so far coming in from Sixer. He's dropped, and Happy dropping down into the vents makes a ton of noise, and Get Right's already there.
So they did kind of what I asked for there. They got towards outside. They're successful towards the Secret steps, but unfortunately, Freiburg finds that first kill, and it's pretty chaotic once again. Not very methodical in their approach. As soon as they lose that first kill, they're rushing it. They're trying to separate it as well. They're actually not as a unit at that point. Six is making a lot of noise towards contamination, and then they're committed towards the ramp, and they're actually looking at the vents at all. Forrest just outreads him completely there from the vents. He gets 3 frags. He's actually just looking from the vent. They're not even staring in that position. He just gets 2 kills for free, and then there's only 5 seconds remaining. Happy had no chance of winning that one. Another force buy here. Need to start posting some rounds. 11-0. This quarterfinal hasn't really lived up to the hype as of yet, I'm afraid. It is NiP's pick. We move on to the Dust 2 next if required, but in this one, I'm not sure how EnVyUs can really get into this one. Get Right, I think that's through the smoke. I'm not 100% sure. It looked like it from the other side of the map. He gets the first kill, and now it's a 5-on-4. He wants more out of this, though. Doesn't quite pull the trigger correctly there. It's going to be Happy and MBK finding frags, and Forrest, he goes down as well. Surely a chance to post on the scoreboard here for EnVyUs. 3-on-1.
They're trying to convert it, and they do. Sixer gets it. Now the French. Finally with around 11-1. We've seen that scoreline 3 times now in the stadium, twice yesterday and once today.
Problem is though, Matt, I said it before in the early stages of this half. A lot of reset potential here. A full buy coming in from NiP again. They'll opt out once more. If EnVyUs were to lose this round, after the reinvestment, they have to eco, or force buy of Tech 9s. It's not going to look pretty. And now it's a full buy from NiP, the ult back out. They haven't got the ult on the T side. This could be a round of falls away from them. Need to win this really to have a chance on this map.
Freiberg is going to be in a position to try and watch off Squeaky. He's got a hole in the door as well, but right now with this, Kenny's still waiting for any pushes outside. And MBK in a position where he might come under threat here. Michael close, they flash him and he crosses over. That's not going to be good enough. I'm gonna take it back, it's a smoke, not a flash. So he doesn't go all the way through it, but he does get NBK with the spray down as he overcommits to trying to hunt him in return. It's a massive problem because it's 11-1. They finally win their first round. Thankfully, they do it with 3 players left alive. Anything less, it would be catastrophic if they get a reset here.
Lovely work from Michael Elliott there. Spraying the smoke, finds the kill as well. A lot of work for the T's to do at this point. Apex trying to get towards main entrance to see if he can actually get there. Successfully does it, but Freiberg seems aware as he drops down towards the vents.
And the way they're throwing smokes, it's careless. It shows a little bit of a lack of map detail because they bounce a smoke outside right now. It does allow Apex to wrap into main, but it leaves a massive gap in Forest. Oh, timing slips by Apex. So Apex is over toward locker windows. Forest is going to be peeking outside. This is going to let Apex actually have an advantage because they're not going to call that he's in there. Freiberg finds Happy, but look at Apex position. Forest hits Kenny down, and now this pulls him back. Now Apex goes for Forest, but now he's got to make the play himself. Sixer finds one inside, and Apex goes up to heaven, found immediately. That's Kenny getting caught entirely by Forest.
Yeah, the P250 no less as well. Kenny's got the AK in hand, has to drop on Forest as well. He heads to the AWP shot, misses it, pulls the P250 out and takes him down. That's such a massive frag, and I'm sorry, Kenny, you have to be nailing those ones. Big round for EnVyUs, we said it was, and unable to get the picks there. Nice aggressive play from Michael Eddy towards the ramp. A bit lucky with the kill through the smoke, but still, it was calculated all the same. And like I said, that would be an eco in return from EnVyUs, with only $1,400 coming in next round. So 12-1. The Eagles across the board, no nades. It's hard to think of a world where EnVyUs can pick this one up. Fast towards outside, no smokes deployed. Actually successful, I say successfully. Don't even get towards the secret steps. One player's made it down, but the bomb's dropped in front of him.
Right, with Kenny found again. It's taken down by a Deagle, but this is looking the same results. 12-1 is going to be 13-1. MBK's trying his best to change that. He's got 2 kills now, as he does pick up an M4, but sitting duck in the open as Freiberg rotates around into secret a little bit later on, and it's going to leave bomb down in the hands of the CTs. Tough half. Envy does not look organized on this map. I'm not seeing anything convincing. You said the wall of smokes. Okay, yeah, that does seem to be the default, and it seems to be fairly convincing. But you have to know how to approach it, when to approach, and there's got to be something else to it.
That's only a means to an end, right? You can get towards lower with that. That's the idea. It doesn't win you around. It actually just gets you access to the lower bomb site. Then you need to have the same sort of approach to actually get the bomb down there. We know NiP are great at that. They're smoking at the squeaky doors. They're good at taking those steps towards Deacon in the window room. Didn't see that from EnVyUs. They look completely lost in terms of the way they actually get the bomb down here. I think it's only gone down once so far. And that was the round where, what was it? It was like the 4th round, I believe. Something like that. So 13-1 here. EnVyUs, they need, it goes without saying, they have to win this last round, otherwise this map's just over. NiP very good on the T side. It's not a mess from what I'm seeing right now from EnVyUs. I actually interviewed MBK before this game, and they said they don't put too much work into their opponents. They actually just focus on the game half an hour before, work out the game plan. Let's get into that later, because Kenny S does find an aggressive kill, coming to life now finally, as he takes down Forest to the AWP before anything really happened there, so that's good work from him.
Get right, finds Apex immediately back though, AWP. Gonna be happy though with 2. Now they've got something to work with. Michael, Get Right, the only 2 left on the NiP side, and Get Right's trying to rotate back around that outer. He's gonna be found by Happy. You said they needed this round, they might just get it. Bomb gets planted, Michael gets baited out by Kenny, and he'll come back in quick as always to make it 13-2.
Well, 13-2, I thought this quarterfinal was going to deliver a really tremendous game. That hasn't been the case so far, but you have to say EnVyUs, they don't really look prepared in this round. I'm sorry, they don't have the executions there. Didn't have a mix of execution base and default. Even when they got towards lower, it looked a little bit reckless, I have to say. So, still not out of it just yet. They win the pistol. We've got to grind it out round by round. We've seen some big defeats here after these sort of score lines. So, we'll take a quick break now. But when we come back, let's see if this one heats up and whether EnVyUs can get back into the game.
SK must be outside. Well, it's been all NiP on Nuke. Perhaps not a little bit surprising considering their history on the map. Obviously a different iteration, that goes without saying. But EnVyUs only managing to pick up 2 gun rounds. They didn't pick up a T-sided pistol. So if NiP can do the same right now and actually accomplish that goal, they could put this home very quickly at 16-2. We'll see if EnVy can do anything to stop that.
The thing is, though, we've seen some throwing games here with this sort of scoreline before, even at this event. Yanko put it quite nicely on the desk the other day. It's never over until you get to round number 16, round by round, boys. If you lose the pistol, there's always a chance. You can't get too comfortable here. Can't get complacent. You can't start rushing and giving frags away. You need to keep your head inside the game here. We'll see what happens on the T side. If NiP win the pistol, pretty much GG. But if EnVyUs do win it, we do have a game on our hands. Trust me, it's going to happen. So, 4 sets of armor. Lady utility player. He's got the smoke and 2 flashbangs here. Aggressive play from EnVyUs. What we wanted to see. Assertive. As he's going to be Kineas. And they fluff the smoke towards the squeaky door as well. NiP normally so good at that. They can't actually get towards... Freiburg still can, apparently.
Freiburg got down there, but only hit 1 good shot and then tries to get away. Unfortunately, they lost control. MBK, he's going to get dropped by Michael Haley. This could give them control room back, but they've got to get by Happy first, and he's going to go hunting. Finds Michael. Good timing. Headshot from the USP, and it's a 3 versus 2. Slammer's been dropped as well, but Exist hits a lovely shot to start it. Catches a not aware bomb.
I'm not so sure that was so much lovely. It's just Happy jumping out of the vents looking towards Secret. He had no idea players could be towards lower and gives his frag away now to 2-on-2. 1 minute remaining. And Forrest made their way towards window run. The CTs, though, they'll be working together. Both at the ramp room for now. They're not going to be watching the bomb.
And the bomb, yeah, exactly that. Down in the site. Has a player coming through the vents and Exist.
You can see it now. Kenny's has checked up.
Forrest as well is in control now. He's going to have to get pushed back. They're playing either side of the garage at lower. Good shot from Exist again, and he's going to close it out himself. All 3 of the remaining kills in the 3 versus 2 go his way. Never mind the bomb plant. NiP pick up the pistol we talked about.
Yeah, I have to say, I'm not sure we caught it on the screen, but I saw it from my point of view. Happy there, after they had that advantage as well, he runs out the vents and towards Secret. Just completely throws caution to the wind at that point, gives his frag away. And then Exist, the team leader, manages to hold the vents and the 2-on-2. The CDs were watching the bomb as well. What a glorious couple of headshots that was from the vents. Looks very, very on point right now. And we go to the second round. Like I said, if NiP pick up the pistol, that's pretty much it. There is a force back from EnVyUs. It's a last chance, really, as we go to round number 17. Oh, almost blowing his teammate's head off there. There's some decent damage being done towards Freiburg. Not a tremendous amount as I look at it. It's only going to be like 19, so don't worry too much about that.
Yeah, I won't, Henry.
Down, this is better. Look at this, though, from NiP. If we just go to their point of view, you'll see how they actually approach the lower step situation. They're going to get control of that. They're going to go together, make sure they're refragging, check every single angle. They use utility towards us as well, and they'll concentrate on one area to